Welcome back to the Blue Chip Scouting live NFL draft coverage. I am Dante Collinelli, joined by Nick, Mike, and Austin for day 3 of the NFL draft. My guys, how are we today?
Everything is delicious. I am exhausted, though.
Fantastic. I'm here for it.
I'm swell.
Swell. That was a good Nick response. That was very on brand. All right, guys, we got a packed day today. Day 3 of the NFL draft is, honestly, this is where good teams make good picks. They've round out their roster, a lot of value, a lot of really, really good players on the board. If you take a look at our beautiful ticker at the bottom, we are using Mike's board because Mike's board is the best board. And we have his best players.
I just have more players. It's not the best board.
It is the best. If you have more players, it's the best board at day 3. That's where we're at.
Good point.
So let's start. Let's go with Nick here. And Nick, you can go off of Mike's board. You can talk about any player you want. Who do you think are some of the guys that are best player available as we get into day 3?
One of the guys I kind of want to talk about especially is J2 Fele. I think Mike has him down here.
Yep, best player available.
He's someone who, over last summer and into the last fall, he was getting round 1 talk, or it sort of transitioned to early day 2. And now we're sitting here on, the start of day 3 and he hasn't been picked yet. The defensive tackle class has famously been kind of the weakest part of the entire class, the 2021 group as a whole. So I'm not entirely shocked, but I am a little surprised that he's still sitting here.
Yeah,
I thought that was Jarrell Casey. I'm shocked he's still here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tufele for me is has a high second round grade on my board. I really liked his film. He's a top 40 player for me still on the board. So I agree with that one. That's a big one. Mike, is there anyone you want to add to that isn't on your ticker?
That isn't on the ticker for me. Let me pull up the rest. Darius Washington, a big Blue Chip Scouting brand guy. I thought Brevin Jordan, the tight end from Miami, would have gone just because of the way the NFL is going. He's not known for his blocking. He is a kind of that slot tight end. But he also didn't really test all that well. Quincy Roche, another Miami kid. USC and Miami haven't had as many guys go as we thought. I don't think there's been a single Trojan selected yet. And then Deontay Smith, the ECU tackle. He's a bit of a developmental guy. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that none of those guys have been taken. I think that there's going to be a steal. Also, Trey Smith. I know he's just actually the 6th best available player on the board for me. I know it's due to health, but I'm still a little surprised because his film was dominant. And we're talking round 1, round 2 film that's still on the board here beginning day 3. Landon Dickerson was the same way and more injury prone, had more health concerns. I'm a little surprised that Trey Smith is still out there.
Yeah, Trey Smith's a big one. He was almost a first-round consensus guy not too long ago. So very interesting to see that he's here on day 3. Austin, anybody you want to add? Anyone you want to talk about?
I do still have a second-round grade on my board. I knew he wasn't going to be taken that early because he's 5'8", but Mike mentioned him. Darius Washington, boss man Tyler Browning, safety 1. Really good player. Hope he's a Cowboy by the end of the night. Jabril Cox, linebacker from LSU, probably the 2nd best coverage guy in the class at the position, maybe ahead of JOK as the 1st. His run defense isn't really there, but he's fantastic in coverage. Who else do I want to add? Marvin Wilson, someone I want to mention. I know his film was bad this year, but he was getting top 10 talk in the summer, and his fall from grace is astounding. I'm excited to see where he goes today.
Yeah, those are all good names. I think at some point we're going to get a run on defensive tackles. We saw it a little bit last night with Alim McNeil coming off the board, Levi Onwuzurike coming off the board last night.
Both to the Lions.
Yes, both to the Lions. Lions having a sneaky good draft, and I guess we can transition real quick just to kind of recap a little bit of day 2. What were some of your guys' favorite hauls from last night? I released an article on bluechipscouting.com highlighting my favorite 5 hauls from last night, not accounting for day 1. So if you want my opinion, go and check that out now. But we'll kick it to Austin at the back end, and we'll work our way back. Anything that really stuck out to you last night? Any really, really good hauls, good fits that you like?
I've been very vocal about the Detroit Lions winning this draft so far. They grabbed 3 of my top 35 players through the first 3 rounds. Penei Sewell, Aleem McNeil, and Afatu Melifonwu, as I've now learned, were all in my top 35 players. And Levi Musarike is a big brand guy here at BCS. I was a bit lower on him personally, but I think I may have just missed something that I should probably go back and watch. The Browns got an excellent haul as well. Greg Newsome in the first round stole my 9th rated player, Jeremiah Wosu-Koromoa at 52, and Anthony Schwartz just looking for major speed there on the receiving core. You don't really get that with Jarvis Landry or Odell Beckham Jr., so that's a fantastic pick there as well. The Browns are looking like a legitimate Super Bowl contender in 2021, in my opinion.
Yeah, that Browns draft was awesome. I had them as an honorable mention last night. I'm a little bit lower on Schwartz than consensus, but getting Newsome and JOK are 2 top 20 players on my board, and they really needed that for defense. Mike, any day 2 hauls that really stood out to you?
It's a shame that the Chargers, in my opinion, reached a bit on Trey McKitty. I think it was about a round too early, but I really liked them coming away with Asante Samuel and Josh Palmer. Those are both brand guys for me. I love both of them. Obviously, I'm a little impartial to Josh Palmer because he's from about an hour away from me up here in Canada. But he is a really good player. I think he's going to have a much better pro career than he did in college, because I don't know if this is a shocker to anyone, but Justin Herbert is a much better quarterback than Jared Garantano. Just putting that out there. They're one that's really impressed me. The Panthers coming away with Brady Christensen in round 3. I thought that maybe he was going to go in round 2. I had a 4th on him, but I know that the league was much higher on him than I was. That's someone that, I mean, they could start him over Greg Little. I think that they probably should, given that he's an older rookie at 24 years old. And Terrace Marshall, that was some impeccable value.
Yeah, I agree. The Panthers were one of the teams that I highlighted in my article. I mean, getting Terrence Marshall, assuming he's healthy, right? Because he had the leg red flag coming from the combine medicals, and that's why he fell. But getting him, and then I'm a big Tommy Tremble guy. He was my T3 in this class. Really, really like that pick. I don't think that he was overdrafted, which makes me feel significantly better about that. He's kind of going to come in and, I think he's going to do a lot more blocking while he, builds out his route tree and such, but he's a good athlete.
And he's better already than Ian Thomas is. And Ian Thomas is just not worked out for Carolina. So
yeah, we're not clearing a high bar, but I definitely agree. Nick, you're up, man. What did you like last night?
I kind of want to shout out what the Washington football team did yesterday. Samuel Cosby, getting him there at 51, he's going to be your starting left tackle most likely, because I don't think Cornelius Lucas I think that's the guy that.
Yeah, it's Cornelius. Name. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he's your option there long term, so I think that's nice. Personally, I thought they reached a little bit on Benjamin St. Just, the corner from Minnesota, but he's a kind of a sort of that high upside guy. I think he could grow with Fuller and. No, Fuller's on the Chiefs again. Never mind.
No, Fuller's. He is a Chief.
Yeah, so he can kind of consider and grow. And of course, getting Diami Brown at pick 82.
That was a steal. I had him in the second.
Yeah, I think Diami was like in the 40s for me. That is beautiful value. Good compliment to Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, Washington was an honorable mention for me as well in my article. I feel very similar to you guys. Love the value on Cosme. Love the value on Brown. I was not a Benjamin St. Just guy. I just his film scared me. I get it. He's big. He's long. He can run. That's cool. But ball skills are a problem. Route recognition's a problem. So that was a big reach for me. But
he's incredibly raw.
Yeah, they definitely have had a good draft. Even though I didn't love the Jamin Davis pick, I think Ron Rivera knows significantly more about linebacker than me. So if he was going to go anywhere, I think I'd like that fit for him. All right, we've got about 5-ish more minutes before the draft officially starts.
Can we talk about the drafts we don't like?
I was literally about to say that. Yeah. Let's flip the script, and let's go right back to Nick here. Nick.
Chuck it and fuck it. Yep.
That's great. Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. Let me tell you, it's going to be a ton of fun. Nick, some drafts that you did not like.
I'll be quite honest with you. I have literally less than no clue as to what the Rams are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, Tutu Atwell at 57 is suboptimal. He was, I think, 196 186 on my board.
I was 182 on him. I'm in the same
Yeah.
boat. Dante, I think you were in the 200s on him, weren't you?
Buddy, I seem to be the lowest on every damn
Where was he
player.
on your board? I want to know this.
I'll control F it. Hold on. 2-2 is 122 for me, so not that low. I had a
Okay.
4th on him.
I had a low 5th. And then they, again, not to cut you off, Nick, but they were going to be my team as well. Ernest Jones, no one on the panel had watched him.
Yeah, I mean, the only person I know who like actually watched him and was relatively high was Matt Miller
And Joe Marino. That's it. That's
Joe
all
Marino.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, like so.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, but no, yeah, like Atwell. He's obviously they drafted him as a speed guy who's not exactly speedy for his size. Yes, Harbaugh. Good old Brandon Stevens. Something I do not get. But you know what? I will try on if he pans out, if he's like the L'Jarius Sneed of this draft, I won't care. But at the same time, like I need more tape of him. I need to see him. Anyway, Mike, transition to you.
Another one that I was going to mention, the Seattle Seahawks. They only had one pick, but I don't think that they utilized it the best way. Listen, Dwayne Eskridge is a brand guy for all of us, right? It was not the right pick to make there. They have much bigger needs. I mean, it was being talked about that, oh, well, this is a great weapon to pair with Tyler Lockett. Well, he compares a lot to Tyler Lockett. He's 24. They needed to help Russell Wilson on the offensive line. This is a team with only 3 draft picks, and there's no offensive line help. If I'm Russell Wilson, I'm not sure who's angrier right now, Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know if Austin's going to go with this one because I think I know which team we're going to say for last. Another one that I just don't get, the Bengals. Jackson Carman at 46. They're announcing that he's probably going to be a guard, which is the bigger need on their team, but you're now having to teach him a new position, and he's also just not great. I had a mid-third on him, and it was all projection, and he got benched a lot at Clemson. That's not worthy of a top 50 pick in my mind.
Yeah, the Bengals one is pretty interesting. I can't decide if I hate it or not because like if Carman comes in,
side, which helps,
right? Like if Carman comes in and he's a starting guard, like I mean, damn, the Bengals needed a couple of those. Like I know it's a bit of a reach, but I mean, even if he's just solid, that's a nice upgrade for them.
You could have gone with like a Creed Humphrey to play guard or a Wyatt Davis.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. That's what makes it tough, is if you feel like they pass on some better players. Yeah. Same thing with the Rams, man. How did the Rams not draft Creed Humphrey? That's a big one for me. That is just like, I mean, I could peg a lot of teams, the Dolphins. Why didn't they draft Creed Humphrey? But man, the Rams, that one just makes a ton of sense. I mean, that's about as good as scheme fit gets, in my opinion. Austin, any head scratchers for you yesterday?
I think I know which one he's going to talk about.
Before I address the elephant in the room, let's talk about Vegas.
Oh, that wasn't the team I thought you were going with.
Okay, I like this.
Aside from Trayvon Merrick, which saved the draft from being the worst so far, in my opinion, because Leatherwood, I believe, was a reach. You took Malcolm Kuntz at 79, who I didn't end up watching, but even our guys who like him, Nick, said he's a 5th-round guy. And then you took Divine Diablo, linebacker, as a linebacker safety hybrid. You took Tanner Muse to play that role last year, and I know Tanner Muse is bad, but I just don't know.
Diablo's not much better. I had a 7th on him.
I don't know what the Raiders are doing. And for the obvious elephant in the room, can I go off here? Am I allowed to go off?
Please.
What the fuck are the Dallas Cowboys doing? What the fuck are the Cowboys doing?
I've only ever heard him cuss on stream now. This is amazing.
Okay. So Kelvin Joseph, I get it. You needed a cornerback, but your top 2 picks have serious off-the-field concerns. Then you go take Osa Odighizuwa, which I have not watched, but everyone actually told me was a pretty good pick. You're sitting there.
He's the best of those picks, I think, comfortably.
You're sitting there at 84. You take Chauncey Golston, another guy I didn't get to watch, and a guy that Mike and Nick both said is bad. And then you get to 99. You've got Fatima Melifonwu and Elijah Molden, who went the next 2 picks in reverse order. The Titans took Molden and the Lions took Melifonwu. You take Nashawn Wright. Who? That's literally what my reaction was on stream.
Yeah.
6'4" corner. He fits the Dan Quinn mold. I get it. But you could have gotten him a lot later, I think.
I do love the confidence of Nashawn Wright saying he's a more athletic Richard Sherman when his RAS score was 2.74 and Sherman's was like 7.39.
You still haven't addressed one tech. You still haven't addressed safety. Stephen Jones is sitting there after the draft joking about the safety position still not being addressed. What the fuck, Dallas?
Can we talk about the worst overall draft though? Because at least they nailed that. You know, they did get good players with their first couple of picks.
I don't know.
Can we talk about the Jaguars?
There it is.
That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
Jesus.
Walker Little.
Listen, I know the league was higher on Walker Little than any of us because he's all projection. He hasn't played in 2 years. He, I believe, tore his ACL against Northwestern in the first half of 2019, and then he sat out 2020 due to the pandemic. I understand it's not that he's been injured for 2 straight years. However, if you go back and you watch the 2018 film on him, it's still not good. I've seen people say if he stays healthy, he could be a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro tackle. And I would like the drugs that it takes to say a statement like that with a straight face. Because Notre Dame, I've made this joke several times. Khalid Kareem, Jerry Tillery, and Dalen Hayes ought to be sending him flower baskets every 2 months because he single-handedly made the money. Khalid Kareem, if you only watch the game against Walker Little, looks like he should have been the first overall pick. He destroyed Walker Little on a play-to-play basis. It made him unwatchable.
Can I say something that my brother said about this draft when I told him that Urban Meyer's draft strategy is take former 5-stars?
Mm-hmm.
My brother told me that Urban Meyer still thinks he's in college. He's drafted 5, if I'm not mistaken, 5 former 5-star players. Etienne may have been a 4, but I'm not sure.
No, Etienne was a 5.
So
Etienne was a 5.
Maybe Cisco. I could be wrong. I think it's 5 former 5-stars.
And the thing is, Cisco is
their second best pick, injury prone, and opinions very split on him.
Yeah, I think that this is a weird draft, and I was kind of doing some math there is why I was quiet. Walker Little, 227th overall player on my board, a 7th-round grade. That's a negative 182 value against Jacksonville's draft class.
I had him at 210.
Yeah, and my thing with Little is, like, we've been hearing about him for about, I don't know, a better part of almost 3.5 years now, about him and his potential and what he can bring to the table. And you know, we see this a lot with 5-stars, and typically with these types of prospects, you know, you at least see the potential on film, right? Like here's my thing with Walker Little. Dude's never been good. Like, I just don't know where this good film is.
I think his freshman season was his best year, and that was 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago.
You know, I did not like his 2018 film. The Notre Dame game is the lowest rated single game that I handed out this year as far as grades are concerned.
Was that the game that, obviously from the interior, was that the Jerry Tillery 4-sack game that I remember?
No, that was the Khalid Kareem and Julian Okwara 4-sack game.
Yeah.
Where they murdered KJ Costello for 4 quarters. That game was just absolutely brutal. That was the worst tackle film I've ever watched in my entire life. And I just don't understand. And that is literally just a factual statement for me. It is the lowest grade that I've ever given a tackle game. I
made a thread of that game.
It's just, I don't understand. Now, here's the thing is, are we bashing on Little probably too hard? Yeah, maybe. But, you know, I think this is a guy who hasn't played in 2 years, and he wasn't good the last time you saw him. And you're a team like Jacksonville that needs to hit on these picks, and you took him in the top 50. So very, very weird draft. But good news, the commissioner is at the podium. The draft is about to begin. The Jaguars are about to be on the clock. We have some fans up there with him. So I want to pivot to start talking about these picks. We can come back. We'll have time to fill for day 2 if we want. I want to get your guys' thoughts on Jacksonville. Obviously, we were just talking about Walker Little and their draft as a whole. What are some spots that we think they still need to fill, assuming that the players that they've drafted are going to be guys who play? So let's not draft maybe another tackle just because we think Walker Little's bad, even though that's fair. First pick of day 3, Brevin Jordan.
I can see that. I think that's actually going to be the pick. I think they should have gone with Freiermuth yesterday because I think he's a better tight end, but they wanted to go with Tyson Campbell. And I was watching a bit of the Bleacher Report stream last night. Naqib Talib said that it's actually not that bad of a pick. He had him in the 70s. So did Connor Rogers, but they had him as their next corner after Asante Samuel, who they thought should have been the pick. I think that this is going to be Brevin Jordan. I'm a little surprised he's still there. I think with the style of offense that Urban Meyer runs, it would make a lot of sense as well. You're going to have him kind of play that, for lack of a better comparison. You're going to have him kind of play that Aaron Hernandez type role.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. My money's on Jay Tufele. I think they need another defensive tackle to really round out that front. I mean, Joe Cullen's a guy who, coming from the Baltimore, they love to rotate in and out their defensive linemen. So I think that's smart.
Was Marvin Wilson a former 5-star?
Yes, he was the
Marvin
second.
Wilson.
The top 2 players in that recruiting class, Austin, are still on the board.
Who was first?
Trey Smith.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be Trey Smith. Pair him with Walker Little.
The top players from that recruiting class overall were Trey Smith, Marvin Wilson, and Isaiah Wilson.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man. Recruiting rankings, man. Tough gig. Really tough gig.
That's a real tough racket.
They're going to take Marvin Wilson here. That's my prediction.
All right, so we got Marvin Wilson, Brevin Jordan, and Jay Tufele.
Where do you
like
think?
that bunch? I think I'm going to lean Brevin Jordan. And I remember I got crapped on for having like a 4th round grade on Brevin Jordan. So I feel incredibly vindicated that he's still on the board here. And that Long and Tremble went before him. Really, really good athlete, really good yak player. I'm just not sure. I don't think he has good hands. I don't think he's a good route runner.
And he didn't test all that well, if I
and he did not test. So you have a player who's billed as a good athlete, right? Like that's supposed to be the biggest strength of his game. And he did not test very well, almost similar to Gregory Rousseau, the edge out of Miami, just at tight end in some ways. So the Jaguars, I believe, are officially on the clock. Yep, clock just started. Right. The Jaguars are on. We have about 4 minutes. I will tip picks if I get them beforehand, but if not, we'll let the clocker roll and we'll just kind of go as they come in.
Now, a little bit behind the curtains right now. We don't have producer Harbs for the first half of today. He will be on the round 6 and 7. So I will be trying my best. I'm not going to have the on the clock. I'm just going to have the picks when they're announced. Because I also am updating the BPA board ticker as well as my BPA board. So if I am behind, it's because I'm trying to juggle 3 or 4 things at once. I will try to also give as much analysis as I can. But thankfully, we have the 3 guys at Blue Chip that watched the most players. Nick had 270, I had 287, and Dante, you were in around like 250, 260 as well.
95.
You had school, so
yeah. Imagine having school and watching players. Could not be me.
Dante, you remind me of a younger me.
Yeah. Jaguars have not made their pick yet. I'm interested to see here. I don't know, man. I feel like they might go with like a Trey Smith type player, even though they drafted Walker Little. I don't know. I mean, he's former 5-star, big athlete.
Need a guard.
SEC pedigree. They could use a guard.
AJ Cann's 29 years old, turning 30 over the offseason. We mentioned that on Thursday's stream. I could definitely see it being Trey Smith. I actually think he's a good fit in that style of offense.
Yeah.
It's all about medicals for him. I mean, if it weren't for the blood clots, he's long gone by now.
Yeah, I had a 2nd round grade on Trey Smith. Just off film, I don't factor for injury. I just think that you get a mauler, really, really good athlete. You just have to get him to be 100% the whole time.
He's 60th on my board. He's literally right after the top 5 on ticker.
I just saw a tweet from Zach Hicks saying he thinks Trey Smith is awful and undraftable.
Interesting.
That's
okay.
All right.
I mean,
agree to disagree, mate. But
his 2020 film was not as good as his 2019 film, so I understand that take.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's pick is in, according to NFL Network. I do not have a tip, and it has not been announced.
Okay. NFL Draft Diamonds just tweeted, and they've been very consistent thus far.
They have.
It's Jay Tufele.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Awesome.
That's a nice pick.
Tufele. Nick, you led off the show talking about him, so you want to give me a breakdown why you think he's good and what you think about this pick?
Well,
it's pick 106, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Tufele to me, I think he showed you good power at the point of attack. I like the use of his hands. I think laterally speaking, I didn't think he was the greatest mover, but I think he's good. I think he can slide in there and be that like ideal 3 technique. I mean, he has good athleticism, but it's not fantastic. Hold on, I'm blanking. Sorry, it's day 3 of the draft.
It's okay. Don't worry.
But no, like I said before, like I think this is a great pick for Jacksonville because, like I said, Joe Collins is their defensive coordinator now. He's coming from a Baltimore-like system. Baltimore loves their interior defensive linemen. I mean, God, like in 2019, we had Brandon Williams in there, Justin Ellis, Mike Pierce, Michael Pierce, and then God, what's the guy? He played for the Bengals for 10 million years.
Geno Atkins?
Domata Peko.
Oh, Domata Peko.
Yeah.
I forgot he was still in the league, to be honest with you.
Humongous guys just come, going in and out, keeping them fresh. So I think it's a great pick.
Yeah, I really like this pick a lot. Just pulling up my personal board. I mean, Tufele was incredibly highly ranked for me. Yeah, 30th overall player in this class, a high second round grade. I love what he brings to the table on first and second down. I think he's a really stout run defender, good hand usage, extends his arms, makes good use of his length. He has good core strength, good upper body strength. I think he's got a nice bull rush. I think the only part missing from his game right now is pass rush moves. We need to get a consistent pass rush plan. He's one of those guys who just runs in and hopes something good happens. In that defense, though, I mean, that is essentially the entire D-line class this year, extending that to the edge players as well. But Jacksonville with Jay Tufele here, they have yet to announce it on NFL Network, so we are already kicking their butt. Jay Tufele off the board to Jacksonville. Anyone have anything else to add about Jay Tufele?
I love him. Again, he was my number 2 defensive tackle in this class. I had him ahead of Levi and Wuzurike, only by just a touch, though. I comped him to Jarrell Casey, another former Trojan, a little bit more undersized. I know Jarrell Casey's like 6'1", 6'2", and Tufele is about 6'3", 300-pounder that you're just going to line up. And his whole thing is he goes too fast. He needs to actually slow it down at times because he's trying to do too much at once, and at times he can take himself out of the play. I think that if he hits the ceiling, though, Jacksonville might have gotten themselves an 8-sack-a-year guy from the interior at 106.
That's their second best pick of the draft, easy.
Yes.
Hands down. It's easy.
Yeah, excluding Trevor Lawrence, it's the best pick of the draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, and I may have had him over Travis Etienne. We are being joined from the golf course by producer Harbs.
I only missed one pick, guys.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Well, are you trying to actually do the producing from the golf course?
Oh, I'm not doing that. No, that's your job, then, Mikey.
I was gonna say, I'm like, what are we on about?
Oh, I just got the Jets pick.
Oh,
hit me.
what do we got?
Running back, Michael Carter.
Hey, wow.
Dolphins Twitter is about to burn.
Dolphins Twitter will explode.
All right, who wants to talk about Michael Carter going to the Jets?
This is one of my guys and has been since the summer. I've loved Michael Carter since I first watched him. He's not really great at a lot of things, but he's good at a lot of things. He's got solid burst in the open field, solid burst through the line of scrimmage, solid speed. He's just solid. He was my 4th best running back in the class, 3rd round grade. Love the kid.
I had him at 69 overall. Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, Carter for me, man. I think he's a really, really good complementary back. You get him in on 3rd downs. He's going to catch the football for you. He's going to make plays in the open field. You get nice little swing routes. It's going to be a nice check down for Zach Wilson. Go ahead, Harb, since I cut you off.
I could be wrong. No, yeah, you're good. You can ignore the voter here. I liked him a lot with Javonte Williams. Obviously, when you watched North Carolina, you noticed him. I believe he was my 5th running back. Like, I absolutely love Michael Carter Williams, point guard. Michael Carter. So, for the Jets, that's what I tweeted out today. Him, Kylan Hill, or Kenneth Gainwell. Because, I mean, they've addressed everything for Zach Wilson except running back, and now they have. And with LaFleur there, I think that offense is going to be very, very interesting.
I had him RB4. This is a fantastic pick. I had him ahead of Trey Sermon, who went last night.
Yeah, he was my RB5. I think my only concern with Carter is the breakaway speed. Does he have a second gear? I don't know that he does. And when you're a guy who's that short, sometimes that is very helpful. Harb just tossed his phone into the grass.
Yes, he's actually coming to us from the golf course.
Yeah, he is literally golfing right now. Imagine golfing instead of doing your job, Harbs.
I know. We're about to be out on the 4 o'clock.
I respect it.
Yeah, no, I respect it. All right, so on the clock now is Atlanta. They're breaking down the Michael Carter pick. The Falcons swing back up here.
Kenneth
Anyone pop out for Atlanta at this selection?
They haven't got running
Anybody?
back yet.
Kenneth
have they?
Or
Gainwell.
edge. They need an
Kenneth
edge.
Gainwell.
Kenneth Gainwell.
We like Kenneth Gainwell. I
Or
love
if
Kenneth
the-
Gainwell.
or
I think
if
I'm
they
probably
go
high
edge-
man on Gainwell.
If they're gonna go edge, my two best that are available right now are Quincy Roche from Miami at 77 on my board, and Jordan Smith at a nice round 100 overall.
Where you at?
All my edges are gone.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Roche didn't go yesterday. I thought he'd be a late day 2 guy. So
You're the Temple guy. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I think I'm lower on Roche than some, but I have the pick.
what do we got?
It is we'll have to see if somebody watched him. Falcons take San Diego State cornerback Darren Hall.
I
to
did
this
not.
selection.
Did not.
Do we have
not watch him.
anyone on the panel who watched Darren Hall?
did not watch him.
How do you spell it?
It is Darren Hall.
Okay.
I'm not telling you how to spell
Perfect time
Hall.
for me to bow out.
No.
guys. I'll
I
keep
because
watching.
I thought it
Have
was R.
Bye, Harbs. Thanks for joining. He's gone.
So he's a corner from San Diego State.
Yep, corner from San Diego State.
I do know that he was high school teammates with California corner Cameron Bynum. That's the extent of my knowledge on Darren Hall.
All right,
I
I got his RAS page up, so
What
we
do
can
we
talk
got?
about measurements. Came in at 5'11 and 2/8, 188. Ran a 4.46 40, 3-cone time of 7.12, which is not great.
not
Broad
great.
jump of almost 11 feet, though, which is great, and a 38-inch vertical. So seems like he's a slot guy.
explosive, but not very good in terms of change direction. I think that I was going to say the exact same thing. As soon as you said 5'10", I went slot.
Yeah.
Because they're starting Kendall Sheffield, AJ Terrell, and Isaiah Oliver. I wouldn't be surprised if Isaiah Oliver is a player that gets dealt today.
Right.
I'll take him in Dallas.
Yeah, I'd take him in Philly. I think
So-
Philly needs a corner as well, and they haven't gone that direction yet, and it's kind of infuriating.
Have our first trade of
What do
day
we got?
3. The Titans have traded up with Carolina. So
Okay.
Carolina really loving the trade downs right now.
Yeah. So NFL Network still showing the Titans on the clock, but there is a trade, so we will get a different team picking.
So wait, the Titans traded up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe so. I believe the Titans traded up with Carolina.
Did the Titans go wide receiver at any point yesterday?
They did
No.
not. No,
Tylan
three defenders
Tylan
they've
Wallace,
taken.
I think.
I
They
hope
need
so.
someone outside of AJ Brown.
Tylan Wallace is a big brand guy for a lot of us, so
Yes,
I
he
think
is.
that would be a good one.
58 overall on the big board. He is the third best player remaining for me. He should not still be here.
Mm-mm.
Agreed.
I think it's because he's come. Like people are worried about it, about the injury history. He tore his ACL in 2019. Correct.
Yes, he did tear his ACL in 2019. And I think, honestly, it's a fair thing to be upset about with him just because he's not the most explosive guy in the world. So already getting that knee injury on his resume is definitely not what you want to see. But I think we all agree. My thing with Wallace is like, honestly, he's like a B- version of Jamar Chase. He's a smaller guy, but he wins like, crazy.
ESPN is playing the wrong highlight package right now.
Classic. Classic. They probably
You're
didn't
not going
have
to get
any
that
on
here,
Darren
but you're not
Hall.
going to get video packages.
Yeah, no, we don't have any video packages, guys. It's just
You
us.
might get some misspelt names, though.
Yes, a BCS staple. Misspelled names.
Hey, I
But-
thought Jalen Phillips was EN until like March.
Yeah, he has a weird spelling of that name, but I think I've got it down now, and he's a Dolphin, so I better get it down.
Yeah, you better.
You're
getting
gonna
paid
cover
to
him for the
talk
next
about
couple
him.
of years. Still
I had the
waiting.
Dolphins
Oh,
pick.
we got
I
the
had to take-
pick.
I had to
You
take
guys
the
were
pick.
right on the position, but the Titans select Louisville wide receiver Dez Fitzpatrick.
Wow.
They traded up for
109th
him?
pick. They traded up for him. They take him over Tylan Wallace, over Amon-Ra St. Brown. I did not do a full evaluation of Dez Fitzpatrick, but I do have two games of notes. All right, Mike is a full evaluation, so I want to hear from him. But
So it wasn't until I did the recheck on Tutu Atwell that I bumped Tutu Atwell above Dez Fitzpatrick. I think that says He's up there with Tutu Atwell, and we all talked about how Tutu Atwell was such a reach. We had him in the 180s, 190s. I think Dante, you were like the highest on him in the 120s. I think he's an overall okay player. Reminds me, honestly, a bit of like Ardarius Stewart, who the Jets whiffed on in round 2 a couple years ago. This is still a little too high for me. I'm just finishing up the graphic, and then I will check exactly where I had him on the board.
All right, well, real quick, we can talk about the trade compensation while you do that. The Panthers traded 109 for 126, 166, and 232. So Carolina's stockpiling picks here on day 3. They got 3 picks for that move.
I had him at 198, and the wide receivers ahead of him, directly ahead of him in that range were Trevon Grimes, Damon Hazelton, Tutu Atwell, who went yesterday, and Josh Imador-Bebe.
Can I just say that I love everything Carolina's doing?
Yeah, Carolina's stockpiling picks. They're definitely all in on this rebuild. Scott Fitterer doing the opposite of what Seattle is doing, because Seattle has 3 picks, and Carolina's just getting all of the picks.
Yeah, I like what the Panthers are doing as well. I'm a big Matt Rule guy, obviously, for incredibly biased reasons.
That's fine, man. I'm a Matt Rule guy too. So
yeah, I very much appreciate Matt Rule and what he's building in Carolina. I think they've had a nice draft. We'll see what they do with those picks. They are about to announce the Des Fitzpatrick selection.
I think
so
it's
that
a little
brings
rich.
us.
Again, there are a lot of wide receivers I have left over him.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a reach, I think. He had a decent Senior Bowl. I think he showed up okay there, so we'll see what they want to do. He's in the mold, though. If you look at the size, I think he's, we were kind of mocking Rashad Bateman type players. I mean, he's 6'1" and 3/4, 208, so I think that he's that type of big crossing route running receivers that they're going to like.
Similarly built guys that I have ahead of him, Marlon Williams from UCF, Daz Newsome from North Carolina, Austin Watkins from UAB. Those types of guys I would have preferred over him. I don't think he's a bad player. He's going to be a rosterable player for years to come. I think he's like I said, an improved version of our Darius Stewart, who was a big whiff. I just don't know how high his ceiling is.
All right,
for a team that needs wideouts.
Let's pivot to the next pick. Cleveland is on the clock, so our resident producer Andrew Harbaugh, your team's about to make a pick. I do not have it tipped yet. Cleveland's draft, we all really like it. Are there any holes that we think that they can still fill here with this selection?
Oh, I had the pick actually.
Oh,
this is
even
better. This is fascinating. The Browns are selecting offensive tackle James Hudson, the third.
Whoa, I like
Cincinnati.
that.
Interesting. All right, so James Hudson off the board. A little bit of background on him. Was a defensive tackle at Michigan 2 years ago. Came to Cincinnati as a transfer. Sat out 1 year. Started in every single game last season. Did a really, really nice job protecting the blind side of Desmond Ridder. Who wants to break this one down?
I actually like him in a situation like this where he's not going to have to start right away. He is very much a developmental tackle. There was talks of him possibly going in round 2 in that same area as like Jalen Mayfield, Brady Christensen, and that's where I was out on him. He is all athlete, no refinement because he's still learning the position. I thought the Georgia game exposed a lot of holes against him because fortunately he had to go up against Azeez Ojulari, who's a different beast. And there are some plays even against like the second and third level where he was struggling. He got put on his ass by Tyson Campbell, who went 33rd last night. I think he's a good player. He needs to be taught the position, but at least he doesn't have to start right away. And he's got some good players there in Cleveland to help him.
Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Connor Hughes from The Athletic.
He's been fantastic.
God bless your soul, man. You know what? You deserve a raise. I don't care whatever you're making right now. Just add like another 20 to 30%.
He's a Jets guy, if I remember, because people always get him and Connor Rogers confused.
He is a Jets
Connor
guy.
J. I like that pick. That's really good.
Yeah, I think this is good value against my board, if I remember correctly. My big thing with Hudson is that this is a player that I don't have a big sample size on. He was my 99th overall player, so this is definitely solid value. Not a lot of sample size, and he's raw. And those two things worry me. But he's a developmental player. Like you guys said, I think he's going to get an opportunity to work and develop in that line. And I think that's what you want with a player like him. So We've covered that one pretty well. The Bengals are the next team on the clock, and I already know the pick. The Bengals select Tulane defensive end Cameron Sample.
Oh, let's go. That's a brand guy for us.
That is
I
a
like that.
BCS brand guy. Me and Devin Jackson, who is unfortunately not with us this time of the
That was
year.
the Bengals?
Yep, to the Bengals. He is the pick. Cameron Sample. He's a guy that I wrote about in December for BlueChipScouting.com. Really, really like his length, power, versatility up front. He can play 4, 5, and 3 tech, in my opinion. I think you can bounce him around. He can be a stand-up outside rusher if you really want him to. Good length. I think he's got nice hand usage. I think the only thing you worry about with Sample is bend and speed around the outside arc. He's much more of a power rusher, a guy who's going to attack inside gaps across the face of offensive linemen. But really like that pick for the Bengals. Sample's a player who I just think is going to be solid. I'm not sure he's going to be someone who's going to be flashy, but a very, very solid player on that defensive line. Anyone with anything to add?
Sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm going to say this, since he seems to be loving stacking all these edge rushers, because they did this last year. They got Khalid Kareem. They brought in Trey Hendrickson. They still have Sam Hubbard. Like I said,
Sam Hubbard's due a payday next year.
Yeah, so they may just say hey. Oh, they also got Joseph Osai last night. I mean, it's perfect. They're throwing 10 million edge rushers at you at one time.
They're going NASCAR packages at some point next year. They're going to have 4 of these guys. Sample has inside-outside flexibility. I was admittedly a little lower on him. He was at 158 overall. But sometimes, I feel like my grades don't exactly reflect how I feel about a certain player. I really liked him. I thought he was a little bit more scheme dependent, and I wasn't sure how much of his success was going to come away from the fact that Tulane had another really good edge in this class and Patrick Johnson across from him. Yeah. But he's landing in a perfect situation. He's not going to have to be overly productive right away. They're loaded on edge. And again, this is a depth guy with someone like Sam Hubbard due a payday next year.
Well, I think it's also kind of reflective of the fact that both Pittsburgh and Baltimore kind of had seen some major shifts on their offensive line in recent years. So they're maybe hey, they're going through this transition period. Let's just see if we can, annihilate them. But the thing about even with Osai, Osai has experience at linebacker, off-ball linebacker. I mean, that's valuable.
We have someone on the ticker off the board with the next picks. The Lions select USC wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown.
The
Lions finally getting a receiver that they so desperately needed, as they had checks notes, absolutely no one playing the position next season. Let's talk about this one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a guy who was
available
on our board. Yeah.
I love what the Lions are doing. They are killing this draft. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a guy I actually got to watch, so can I talk about him?
Go for it.
Fire. Let's go.
Is a guy who I kind of struggled with at first because despite the fact that he's a smaller guy, I didn't think he was the best separator, in my opinion. But he is, interestingly enough, a fantastic contested catch guy. I remember watching I want to say it was the 4-touchdown game. I think it was Washington State this year. He had 3 touchdowns in the red zone in jump ball situations. He's great as a contested catch guy. He has great hands. He's got solid enough speed down the field. I remember there was a play that he just was running up the seam and he beat the entire defense for a 91-yard touchdown. He's a good receiver. I know Tyler Fornes said he's the lowest rated player on his board. I love the pick. I think that's a great value.
It's funny that we just had a USC player taken, and in his place in the top 5 available comes another USC player, because I really like Talanoa Hufanga. I think I'm higher on him than anyone else in this chat. I don't know.
You definitely are.
Yeah, I like his upside, and I think that he's going to be someone that's very much a kind of hybrid safety / linebacker that can create turnovers.
That's a good.
So play. I know that Dante and I are we have a lot of the same guys in our top 10. We're just vastly different on the ordering of it.
Yeah, this safety class is weird, man. I'm not surprised that my rankings are not what has happened. I'll just put it that way.
It's funny. So your number 10 safety was my number 2, and vice versa.
Oh wow, that is interesting.
Yeah, there was another one where it was I think our 5th and our 11th were the same 2 guys as well, whereas we just flipped on each, because you had Wiggins at safety 2, right?
I did have Wiggins at safety 2.
I had him at safety 10, and then you had Holland at safety 10, and I had Holland at safety 2.
Okay. Yeah, Wiggins is going to end up going undrafted, and I'm going to cry.
No, he's too good to go undrafted.
I know, but dude, there is absolutely negative hype about this guy.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
I wrote that.
So the Lions traded up with the Browns, and they've made their next selection.
Wait, they're on 113 as well?
Yes.
It is
They're
just
gonna go,
traded
they're
up.
going to get Tyler. Tylen.
It is Purdue linebacker Derek Barnes.
Oh, I like him too. I think this is a bit of a reach, but
I did not watch
sort of.
Derek Barnes.
Yeah.
Nick, give me the lowdown, my guy.
Good mover. I think he's fairly comfortable in short zone coverage. I think he fits what Detroit's ultimately want to do, and because their linebacker situation is kind of shoddy. I mean, Jelani Tavai, just you don't know what
this means goodbye, Jelani Tavai.
Probably.
He's really good in coverage.
Yeah.
One of the more underrated linebackers. I got to him late in the process. I had him at 208 overall. So again, this is a bit of a reach, but this fits a definite need. He was one of the better coverage linebackers available. Obviously, I think the best one available is Jabril Cox, and he seems to be falling. But
he was flagged with medicals for coverage.
Okay. And then I also like Tony Fields in coverage more than I like Derek
Here's
Barnes,
an interesting tidbit. The Lions have no more picks in the NFL draft. That
Whoa,
was
they're
their last
done.
pick.
They're going to try to be trading players, I think, to get more picks.
They are done.
Yeah.
So their
They're probably
class
just
has
on
been rounded out. I love it personally.
Fantastic.
I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised for the Lions if we see. Is Jesse James still on their roster?
No, there's no way.
I don't think so.
If not, he could be a guy that they trade for like a 7th. I could see Jelani Tavai getting traded, and I
think
could
they
see
deal Deshaun-
Deshaun Hand getting
Yeah.
traded as
I
well.
think they deal him.
Deshaun Hand, I think, is going to get traded based off the dearth of defensive line depth they've brought in.
Yeah.
And they can get a couple of picks for him, I think.
Yeah. Also, another thing about Barnes I want to add to, he has experience at edge. For a while there, he was like serving as an edge rusher for Purdue.
Mhm.
I think he had like 8 sacks in like 2019 or something.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
got moved away from the edge because of George Karlaftis, who I think is going to be a
have-
first rounder next year.
The next pick, and it is almost a brand guy for me. He was my runner-up. Drew Daleman, the center from
Ooh.
Stanford to the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
They need a center. They lost Alex Mack, and they like Matt Hennessy at guard. So
Yep.
Oh.
So Daleman comes off the board here. I watched Daleman.
Okay.
I really like him. I think that he's a good day 3 pick at center. I think he's a developmental guy. Perfect zone scheme fit. That's what you're going to want from him. He's not, he's not big enough. He's not strong enough to survive in a man scheme. His anchor's a little bit light, but he's incredibly smart, has a good get off, positional mover, very, very smart player, knows how to use what length he has, good hand placement. I don't think that he has a high ceiling. He's probably not a player you want to be a starter for a long time, but I think he can be very, very good in that scheme and as a guy that we see get reps early in his career if needed. Kind of like what the Falcons are doing too.
yeah, I said zone scheme, starter upside, not long term. So his upside is kind of low end, replaceable starter. I had him at 190. He was my highest rated of the Stanford trio on offensive linemen.
Me too.
So yeah, I think he's better than Walker Little, who went 45th yesterday. I think he's better than Foster Sorrell, who might get drafted, although he probably shouldn't. I like this. Again, if this either means that they're not that sold on Matt Hennessy, or they want Matt Hennessy to stick at guard and have Dahlman play center.
Yeah, because don't they also have they drafted Jalen Mayfield yesterday too?
They did. He's going to play right guard, it looks like.
Yeah, because so what are they going to do with Lindstrom then?
Isn't he right tackle?
No,
Lindstrom's that's McGarry.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
sorry.
McGarry. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Dahlman could just be a depth guy for all
Could be
we
a
know,
depth
but-
guy. I mean,
Yeah,
if one
the
of those guys
Falcons
goes
have
down.
a swath of young offensive
They
linemen.
do. But the thing is, McGarry.
Oh,
Austin.
this is an
Austin.
interesting pick.
Austin.
The Cowboys
I'm okay with it.
select Jabril Cox.
Coverage. We have coverage in our
Sorry, I almost said
linebacker
cornerback,
core.
but linebacker LSU, Jabril Cox, finally coming off the board. One of the guys on our ticker. Let's hear from our resident Cowboys fan. Break down Jabril Cox for me, my guy.
Probably the best coverage linebacker in the class.
Like, not just available, period. We're
period.
talking.
Like, I knew they liked him. I thought it might be the pick. I am very okay with this. He doesn't have much experience in run defense, which is why he fell. but he is fantastic in coverage. He's a guy who you can put on the field. He's going to take away tight ends. He's going to take running backs out of the flat, and he can stick with slot receivers if he needs to. He's a good coverage linebacker, which is something no one in Dallas can do. This seems to spell the end for Leighton Vander Esch in Dallas to me, because you drafted Micah Parsons in the first. Jabril Cox is the guy who you're going to want in coverage the most. He can be the quarterback of that defense. I see the writing on the wall for Leighton Vander Esch right now with this.
Yeah, this says to me they're worried about Vander Esch's health. You mentioned it on Thursday. They irrationally love Jalen Smith. I'm sorry, I don't.
I love Jalen Smith.
That comes across as mean, but I'm not here to mince words and protect people's feelings. But yeah, with them, if they're really concerned about Leighton Vander Esch, who, if I remember correctly, LVE is not the greatest in coverage anyways, and neither is Jalen Smith. He was before his knee injury, but that's really hampered him in coverage. Jabril Cox, with the 1 year sample size against good competition, being at North Dakota State and then going up to LSU, he was serviceable at LSU, but I didn't think that he would blow anyone away. And I guess the NFL agreed.
I'm okay with it.
I like this pick. I like the fit. I like everything about it. This is probably the Cowboys' second best pick.
Yeah, I was going to say, somebody, Arif Hassan from The Athletic, just tweeted that the Cowboys have now made the best value pick in the draft with Jabril Cox versus the draft Twitter consensus board, as well as the worst valued pick in the draft with Nahshon Wright last night. So Dallas very, very much
good
bouncing around.
That's the duality of man right there.
Yeah.
Good start to day 3.
I'm incredibly curious how they're going to figure out that linebacker room, because you've got, I know you talked about it, Austin, but LVE, Jalen Smith, Micah Parsons, a bunch of players that, I mean, honestly could be on the field. I've got the next pick as well. The Giants are drafting defensive end Ellerson Smith from Northern Iowa.
Okay, do we have any Ellerson Smith fans on the stream? Because I was not one.
I kind of like him.
All right, Nick, we'll hear from you first, since you kind of liked him.
So you and I guy thought he was going to transfer to Iowa. Big upside, long, tall. I think he's like 6'6", 6'7", big guy.
Yeah, 6'7", I believe.
Really relies on his length and athleticism quite a bit. He can play stand-up edge, which he's going to do in New York. I want to see him improve hands. I think he does a solid job overall with with maintaining gap integrity, but I think he's going to be a designated rusher early on in his career, and then they're going to truly slowly mold him into a potential starter. I like the pick.
See, here's the thing. I think that this is going to be an indictment on O'Shane Ximines, who's playing that same kind of role for the Giants right now. I like Ximines a lot more than I liked Ellerson Smith. Ellerson Smith came in at 218 on the board for me. I just thought that he ended up on his back too much at Northern Iowa. He had a really good Senior Bowl, but how much weight was I going to put in 1 week at the Senior Bowl versus what I had seen on tape? I think he showed a little bit more burst at the down in Mobile as well. I don't know whether it was you and I playing him out of position or what. It just, when I watched the film of him, especially the All-22, I sat there just wondering where the hype of him came from. I get he's big. I think he needs to fill out his frame a little more. He looks a little lanky. Then that might just be because he's 6'7". But he got to Northern Iowa at 6'7" and 213 pounds. I think he's up at around 260 or 270 now. Maybe his best position would actually be more of a 3-4 D end at 6'7", 280.
Yeah, I think he's a stand-up guy. You got to stand him up.
I don't know, man.
Here's an interesting tidbit. 9.72 RAS score for Ellerson Smith.
Yeah,
great broad jump, great vertical, really good 3-cone, ran a nice 40. So he's definitely a good athlete at his size.
He's just raw. I think he's too raw for my liking, though.
Also, I do want to say this on stream. My boy Felix from With the First Pick is obviously a Giants fan, but he's a massive Ellerson Smith fan. So he's probably
going to be very happy.
He's probably doing circles around his house right now.
We do have the next pick as well. The Rams select a player that I I think is decent value here. So good for them. Texas A&M defensive tackle Bobby Brown.
Oh, I
is
like
the
that.
selection for the
Good.
Rams at pick 117.
I know. Our former boss Dalton is very not happy because he was a big Bobby Brown guy, if I remember correctly.
As am I. I kind of wanted for both.
You want to talk about Bobby Brown then?
Yeah, we got to talk about him.
Okay, so right off the bat, big nose. He's probably be a nose tackle for them. Really big nose. He's like I don't want to say bull in the china shop because it's kind of a cliche when you're talking about defensive tackles, but it's literally what he is. Really good in short area. I think he's can be a little undisciplined as far as a football as far as an instincts thing goes, but I think he wins a lot with power. I liked him in this range anyway, so it's good value.
I believe I had him in the 6th. I had him at 190 on the board. Keep in mind, the Rams did trade Michael Brockers to get back under the salary cap, so they need that kind of big space eater at defensive tackle. I actually don't hate this pick at all. I think he's a really good player. I think he's a really good scheme fit.
Yeah, I like Brown. I think he's got a little bit of upside. I think there was some juice to his game. I think he could maybe even get in there as a one tech and do some good stuff. I think that, there's a lot of potential. There were flashes of him. I mean, the
Lions got pick 257 back in that trade, so they're not done yet.
They are not done yet. All right.
I believe they have Mr. Irrelevant.
They get an opportunity to continue building out that draft, but Bobby Brown's a guy. I mean, you saw him beat up Deontay Brown a good bit and even give Landon Dickerson some problems in that Alabama film. So I think that is a solid pick for the Rams. So we are currently 2 picks ahead of the NFL broadcast. I don't know where we are on ESPN, but we are definitely plowing through.
Who's on the board next? Sorry.
So for us, it'll be the Chargers. Yeah. And I might have just gotten the pick. Nope. Yep. Chargers on the board. Next, I love their first 2 picks. I did not like the next 2.
You're not a Josh Palmer guy?
No, I didn't finish my evaluation of him, but I did not think that he was a player that I would draft until the 6th or 7th round. I just don't think he can separate.
I had Josh Palmer. Why can't I find him on my positional? Because that helps. I had him as a day 3 guy. I had him as the 22nd ranked wide receiver. It was a 4th round grade. He was my last 4th rounder. He basically, I think he's actually my last 4th round grade overall, and he's 1 spot ahead of Austin Watkins. But yeah, there were better receivers available, like Tylan Wallace, similar player, even Daz Newsome. It was a bit of a reach. He's a brand guy, but again, I thought it was a bit of a reach. I've liked their class overall, though.
The Chargers should take Trey Smith here, but they won't.
I like that. I mean, they could use all the offensive line help that they can get. Obviously, I think you get a steal Rashawn Slater there at the top end of the round. But and I love Asante Samuel Jr., big brand guy for me.
That was a great value pick for him.
I love that pick. I really, really liked what they were doing. I just, that Josh Palmer pick and that Trey McKitty pick. Trey McKitty going before Brevin Jordan.
The McKitty one was too high for me. Way too high for me. I didn't like this tight end class after the top 5.
Connor Live says very happy with the Jabril Cox pick. Quote, that's a damn pick in all caps.
I just saw that one.
I have the Chargers
Dallas's best pick.
What do we got?
I have the Chargers pick. It's from Bill Rossetti tweeted it, so I kind of trust him. He's been consistent. It is Chris Rumpf, edge from Duke.
Oh,
okay. Interesting pick,
That's
Chris.
fun.
I like Chris Rumpf. And you know what? There was talks of him even going top 100 and going last night, which is a little rich for me. I got to watch him over the summer. I came away pretty impressed with him. He just didn't have a great 2020 campaign. Then again, Duke in general didn't have a great 2020 campaign. He's definitely a stand-up guy. He's 6'3". He bulked up this year to 235. He was playing last year at 215, 220. His dad is the outside linebackers coach for either the Bears or the Texans. Again, not like a blow you away type athlete. He's a very smart player, high football IQ, good against the run and against the pass, well-rounded. And that's where these types of guys go. He might even be able to help you on special teams as well.
Yeah, the thing with Rumpf is like I had him. I didn't have him ranked him as an edge. I considered him. I graded him as a linebacker because I kind of considered him.
I had him at 159.
Yeah, I kind of considered that more that like Belichick, New England type player, somebody you kind of move around all around the front because Duke kind of did that. They had him like off the ball. I want to say like almost stacked like behind the defensive line. I think that's where he could really be his bread and butter in the NFL, and it's kind of like in that similar mold to like Uchenna Nwosu's sort of.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good comp.
He's in this like the same like ballpark of like player as Rumpf. So I mean,
I think that's a solid one. I think with Rumpf, the thing that was so appealing about him to me was just like this is an incredibly intelligent player. I mean, just smart, really, really good pass rush counters. One of the few guys in this class that I thought had a good pass rush plan on the edge. I agree with
smart player.
Yeah, I agree with Nick. I think he's a Sam linebacker in the NFL. I think that's where you're going to get the best value for him. I really liked his pursuit skills. He was able to run around the field and make some plays as a backside guy, tracking the ball carrier, making tackles down the field. So I really like that. He's going to be interesting. This is betting on an outlier. His weight is suboptimal, and he does look like a pole on the field. So you're going to have to kind of push with that. I believe I just got the next pick.
Before you announce that, it's interesting that Nick brought up Uchenna Nwosu. He's a free agent after next year as well for the Chargers. So if they feel like he's out of their price range, they just got his replacement with Chris Rumpf.
All right, we got a running back off the board here, someone that I did not watch, and it's an incredibly difficult name to pronounce. So
what is it?
It is Iowa State running back Kene Nwangu.
Oh, okay. So sorry, which team is this?
The Minnesota Vikings select.
Okay. Running back Kene Nwangu.
Yep. And then I also have the pick after that.
Okay. So let me. I actually didn't get Nwangu. He was the backup for who many think is going to be the top running back in next year's class, which is Breece Hall from Iowa State. This dude is a freakish athlete. I think he had like a 9 point something really high.
I'm pulling it up right now. 9.89 RAS score, ran a 4.32 40 and a 3 cone of 6.83.
That is insane. We're talking. There were talks that he could go high just based off of athleticism. I'm not sure. Is this an Alexander Madison replacement? Maybe. I'm kind of confused by this.
I think, honestly, this is just like we're going to get a guy who maybe he's the pass catching option, what I mean, to Dalvin Cook and Madison, because that was never Madison's game. And then, he could be a special teams guy, that speed, that athleticism, that screams like kick returner, gunner to me as well, which could be interesting. But I did not get a chance to watch his film. Austin, go ahead, my guy.
Keep talking about Nwangu. I just got the Patriots pick as well.
Yeah, I've had it for about a minute and a half. We're plowing through here. Austin, you want to announce that pick, my dude?
The Patriots dip back into the Oklahoma well, taking running back Ramondre Stevenson.
I like this. I comped him to how do you spell his first name again?
RHAM.
Yeah, and then it's Stevenson with a V, right?
So we got back-to-back running back selections here. I did watch Ramondre Stevenson. Austin, do you want to talk about him? It seems like you got something to.
I'm just curious as to what Kenneth Gainwell did to go behind these guys.
Same. Okay, let me talk about this because I'm looking at my running backs now. Ramondre Stevenson, I did have behind not only Kenneth Gainwell but also Kylan Hill. I comped him to LeGarrette Blount, and Belichick had a great pairing with LeGarrette Blount in terms of pass protection, that ability to catch out of the backfield. I'm a little surprised he went this high. He was academically ineligible. I think it was 2019 as well. And then I think he served a suspension as well in 2020. So there are some off-field with him.
Yeah, I believe it was an academic suspension, if I remember correctly, for Stevenson. But the second he came back, he was the lead back for Oklahoma. I think this is roughly where I ranked him as well. So good value here for the Patriots. Yeah, he was my 111th overall player, had a high 4th round grade on him. I like this for New England. I really do. I think that this is a a good value selection for them. They could use some help in the backfield. Sony Michel has 2 paper clips for knees now, so I don't know how much
He's
going to
not
be
panned
running.
out at all.
Yeah. Jacksonville is moving up.
I had him at 102.
Is the next one. So the Jaguars trading up with, I believe, the Rams, trying to look at the ticker. That would be the next pick that we do not have tipped. Mike, please send the link in the chat.
Oh, who's trying to hop on?
We have a special guest joining us on the show.
Give me 1 second. So
should be a good time.
Just DM me or just say it in the chat who I'm supposed to send it, because I don't want too many people joining at once. So.
Okay. I mean,
you know what I mean, though. You know why I'm doing this. You know why I'm being Hollywood Mike.
Yeah, Hollywood Mike. I don't know.
I should grab my prescription sunglasses and then we're good.
Yep. So we're significantly ahead. Rams did trade the pick to Jacksonville, so the Jaguars coming back up here to make a second pick.
Trey
Austin,
Smith.
You think it's Trey Smith?
I
It is
want it- I think it's
not.
gonna be
I
Trey
just
Smith.
got the pick. It is UAB edge rusher Jordan.
Oh, I like
Smith.
this.
At
Well,
pick
what's a Smith?
121, Jordan Smith goes off the board. I'll let somebody else break it down, but one of the most interesting red flags I've ever had to give.
Yes.
Evolved in
I'll
a
talk it.
credit card scandal
I'll talk
in
about it.
2017. Mike, give me the lowdown.
So again, kind of that same style. I thought that if you missed on Greg Rousseau because he went too high, you could come back around and get. Sorry, this is pick 121, right?
Yep.
You could get Jordan Smith in around this range. I'm at 100 overall. I thought that again, 6'7", 250, really good Senior Bowl, great player. Again, off field, got kicked off of Florida because of the credit card scandal. That was as a freshman, I believe, but seems to have really turned it around. Yeah, I like the player. I don't think he's ready to start right away. And he's going to be a rotational guy for the Jags, but he might be the best edge rusher that they have in like 2 years' time.
Ooh.
Big guy too, right?
Yeah, 6'7", 255.
Yeah, I liked his film. I wish he tested a tad better, I believe, but I think he's got solid film. And Devin, what is up, man?
Hey.
How are you?
What's up,
Dude is
guys?
here.
It's so good to have the big shots are reunited again. Oh, this is a good feeling.
Told you I'd join day 3.
Is this cleared or are we? Or we'll
Keeping it on the low.
so you've had some brand guys taken so far today.
Yeah,
We knew that you
Cam-
were going to have brand guy after brand guy taken.
Yeah, Cam Sample was a big brand guy. Me and Dante.
And for those watching, if you're wondering why Devin has so many brand guys this late, Devin starts with small school guys. He starts with the names you don't hear. He doesn't start with Trevor Lawrence. I believe one of the first guys I remember him telling me about was Cam Sample out of Tulane, and that was back in July.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have the next pick, and it is someone that I think a bunch of us have watched and going to be interesting because I think we'll have a good dichotomy here. The Cincinnati Bengals select LSU defensive tackle Tyler Shelvin with this pick. Tyler Shelvin off the board at 122 to the Bengals. I don't know. I know Mike hated him, so I want Mike to go last. Did anyone like him?
I did not watch him, but I've heard he's just a fat guy who's going to take up space in the middle.
Yeah, I would comp him to a 3x3 wall. If you try to go through him, you will have an issue. But going around him is okay. All right, Mike, I'll give you the floor since I know that you have.
It's not that I hate him. I had him at 184. So
Okay, that's not bad.
I have him higher than I had Milton Williams, who went last night. The issue I have, and Devin can attest to this, we spoke with Eric Edholm back in the fall, and he had said that the NFL was starting to maybe get a little concerned about Tyler Shelvin because the ability was there. It was whether or not he could keep his weight under control, because there were rumors that in October, November, Shelvin was walking around at about 385. I comped him to Casey Hampton, who used to play for the Steelers back in the day. You're getting almost no pass rush upside. The athleticism is limited and the conditioning as well. And don't get me wrong, I imagine it's hard to carry around 385 pounds at all times, but the conditioning is going to scare me. He's a 1 or 2 down player, depending on game type. I don't know if you can have him out there on pass rush downs.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when there was first round hype about him in the summer.
That could not be me.
From certain draft analysts who will remain unnamed on this show.
There are people that still have him in like round 2, round 3.
Yeah, I just think that, like, look, man, he gonna eat space. He gonna tackle people. He's a good two-gapper. I think he's a good run defender, but, it's a dying breed. The broadcast has actually caught up with us.
Are we we're at pick 123, right?
Yep.
So we actually haven't had any of our guys. Oh, it's Philly. Okay.
The Eagles are on the board. Resident Eagles fan Mike here.
I might love it. I might have a breakdown. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want here?
I need a corner in the worst way on this team. Avonte Maddox cannot be your starting boundary corner across from Darius Slay. Looking at who's left, Israel Mukwamu would be okay. I would also really like, in terms of turnover producing, Shakur Brown out of Michigan State. Led the Big Ten in interceptions. Listen, Michigan State's been horrible to watch for 2 straight years now. I like him way better than Josiah Scott, who went in round 3 of last year. He's not good.
Guys,
Shakur
remember Justin
Brown
Lane?
is. Yes, I do remember Justin
Lane.
He got arrested recently.
He did get arrested recently.
I can't remember what it was for though.
I think he had an illegal weapon, if I remember correctly off the top of my head.
Always good to have weapons charges.
Yeah.
So the Eagles, I need this to be a corner or a safety. Their safety room is pretty weak too. Rodney McLeod's getting older.
It's a lot of good safeties on the board, man.
Jamar Johnson, Tyree Gillespie. I'd like either of them.
Gillespie would replace Rodney McLeod perfectly.
That's a BCS brand guy, I believe. Gillespie,
Yes,
I think
sir.
a lot of us like him.
I have him top 100, so.
Yeah, he's like top 60 for me, man.
In
I really like Gillespie.
The
Eagles pick is in. I'm surprised it has not been tipped yet.
Yeah. Some people
Yeah, we'll have to see if Howie Roseman gets a fist bump this time.
That was the most awkward video.
Man, that was funny as hell, man. I was laughing so hard.
What makes that video amazing is Howie's reaction at the end. Like, he's surprised that everyone around just seems miserable.
Oh, it is a cornerback.
It
is Texas Tech cornerback Zac McPherson.
It's actually Zech McPherson. It's Z-E.
Oh, you're right. It is Zac McPherson.
Z-E.
Yeah, Z-E-C-H. My bad, Zach.
So I didn't watch him, but Joe Marino of the Draft Network is really high on him. I just couldn't get my hands on anything Texas Tech related this year. It was a nightmare trying to find their film.
Go ahead, Austin.
I live in Lubbock, Texas. I'm surrounded by Tech fans.
Oh, shit. I put him at Texas, not Texas Tech.
I don't know this guy, and I live around Texas Tech.
Yeah, no, apparently Joe Marino of the Draft Network likes him, has him as like a top 100-ish type player. Had him as
DJ has him at 85.
There we go.
Yeah, DJ likes him.
Again,
and so does Dane.
He was someone that I wanted to get around to, but finding Texas Tech film, even condensed games for Texas Tech, like condensed broadcast, was impossible this year.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that Texas Tech actually has defensive players. Like, it's just like sometimes I forget that they actually have defensive prospects.
So I mean, if Dane has him as a top 100, or DJ has him as a top 100, and Joe Marino has him as like top 150, I will gladly take that, even if I myself am unfamiliar with him. I think that anything is an upgrade over Avonte Maddox. They drafted Maddox in like round 4 when they won a Super Bowl, and I had him as a 7th rounder. So
I can confidently say it was a better pick than Nashawn Wright at 99.
There we go. The meme lives on, but no, I like this. The Eagles defense was just very unathletic last year. So even adding Milton Williams, even though I wholly disagree with the value on that pick, I have no issue with it. Just because they need better athletes.
AJ Schulte says he's one of his favorite sleepers.
Well, there you go. I also trust AJ's word a lot as well, and he's from that region.
Oh yeah.
Washington's on the clock.
I at least know who Zac McPherson is.
I know who he is. He was on the list of guys that I didn't get to. Devin, did you get him or no? You keep getting muted. Did you watch Zac McPherson at all?
I caught maybe 1 or 2 games, but
you caught more than I did.
Yeah, but from what I saw, he's one of those corners that he's just physical. Gets a lot of plays on the ball.
The
So
Eagles
if you're
gave up a
leaving-
lot of points
Yeah.
last year. So
Yeah, so if you have him, you know, in man situations, obviously we know rookie corners struggle, but I
I've
think it's
watched
a really
him.
good pick. You know, he's like you said, he's a borderline top 100 pick for a lot of guys, and he's one of those names you don't expect Texas Tech to have prospects, but you know we saw
least not on
it
defense.
last year with Seattle. Sorry, Ben, but yeah. I mean, he's a really talented guy. This corner class is incredibly deep, and you're going to find more corners go off the board probably in round 4 and 5. Definitely looking forward to
sorry.
Cam
We do
Bynum
have
and others.
Washington's pick as well. Sorry to cut you off, my guy. Washington selects Bates, tight end, Boise State.
Did not watch him. He
Brevin
was on
Jordan.
the group of tight
Well-
ends that.
Well, he's solid. He's
Very much
one of those tight end 2s, tight end 3s. He's not going to be the first option for a tight end. Pretty solid blocker in line. Doesn't have great speed, but has decent speed. So I think it's a solid pickup here for Washington.
Yeah, I didn't finish my evaluation of him, but I agree. I think, you know, you get a nice T3 here. You can kind of mold him.
You liked him in the Senior Bowl, no?
Yeah, I thought he was all right there. I think he looked okay. He held his own, and I wasn't really expecting much. So him just like showing up and proving to be an NFL player was good for me. I did like what I saw from him there. I think this is a little bit high, though. I think Washington could have got themselves a better player here with this pick, but you know, I get it. You know, they need some help at tight
That
end.
says to me that the league has no idea with this tight end class, which I would agree. I have no idea with this tight end class either.
Look, I just want to point out that I've been peddling the Brevin Jordan isn't that good train for months. Like,
You
I
have
think
him outside of your top 100, don't you?
I had him outside of like my top 120. If I
Remember-
correctly.
Do you guys remember when Blake Meek said he was the best tight end in the class?
No,
Yeah,
but
well,
wow,
I
missed me with that.
muted him
Well,
about 6 months ago. My life
I
is significantly
remember-
improved. So I'm gonna be honest.
You're not going to get that on ESPN or NFL Network, where we just talk some shit as well.
Yeah, sorry.
By the way,
Blake.
I love how fast this is going by. We're an hour in, and we've got through 19 picks.
They need to start speeding it up then. These
Minnesota's
rounds are
back
long
on
as
the
hell,
clock.
man.
And
You're gonna be on here till like 9 o'clock tonight.
Oh God,
Yeah, the pace they're going.
don't you put that evil on me, Devin Jackson.
Big brand guy for the Big Shots podcast, Cameron Bynum, off the
Oh,
board to
let's
the
go!
Minnesota Vikings at
Let's
pick
go. I love this
125.
kid.
I want to turn it over to the Big Shots boys because this is their guy. They got to him
We
early.
both
and they,
interviewed him.
Yep, and then they
Oh
both
my God,
interviewed
that's
him.
amazing.
So
The
talk about
Vikings
Cameron
with
Bynum, guys.
another brand guy for me.
Damn you, Vikings! But
Oh,
listen, you're getting a technician, man. He's probably one of the most technically sound corners in this class. You know, what he doesn't have for speed, he makes up for technique and ability to be physical at the line of scrimmage, and he tackles in the run game. I think that's an important thing for Vikings DBs. You got to be able to tackle in the open field, and he can do that. Now it's going to be interesting to see how they use him because I don't know if he necessarily has the speed to move inside, but in terms of zone corner, he's probably one of the best ones on day 3.
he was my Senior Bowl interview. I was so happy to be able to get an interview with him. Being a California Golden Bears fan myself, but I will take this from being more of a fanboy approach to being the analytical. I'm just bringing up my thread
Mike,
that I ran on
guys-
him.
We got
Mike,
two people
Devin.
freaking out. Go ahead.
Mike, Devin, the Panthers just selected Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, let's go! Let's go. Can I quickly just finish my thought on Bynum?
Yes,
And then
please.
I'll talk
We
about
have
Hubbard.
time to kill. So
Okay, so Bynum admitted to me after day 2 of the Senior Bowl that he got worked on day 1. Those are his words, not mine. He said Dwayne Eskridge, quote, worked him. So he's admitted that he was a little bit left out in the open on those one-on-ones against the speed guys. Said he was focused on becoming well-rounded in case teams viewed him as a slot or a safety, and it's positions that he's never played before. So he was working on that. Had no issue when talking about playing in a 4-game season because, quote, I've been staying in football already. 4 games is enough. I've played football all my life. Actually really enjoyed the process of having games like canceled. They were supposed to start against UW and then at University of Washington at home, and it got switched to a road game on a Sunday morning at UCLA the next day. And he said it was fun because it kept him prepared. And then my favorite one, if he could play for any team at the NFL level, who would it be? Did he have a favorite team growing up? And his answer was, I never had a favorite team growing up because I always knew I had what it takes to make it to the league. So as a businessman, I'd want to go to a state with low taxes.
And if you're wondering why Devin just left, he hopped out to break down Cameron Bynum's gain on climbing the pocket with our guy at the Real Forno. So Devin doing that analysis. We have to talk about Chuba Hubbard. If you do not tip another pick, Nick, we're behind.
Okay, sorry about this. I wanted to bring everything up for Chuba Hubbard. Listen, I know it was a bad 2020 season, and you have to wonder which Chuba Hubbard you're going to get. Are you going to get the 2020 guy that was like 3.5 yards per carry and got more or less benched towards the end of the season for LD Brown? I think there was a lot of issues, deep-seated issues with him and the coaching staff because of what happened with Mike Gundy. And the relationship that was fractured over the offseason. Again, this is a guy that had 2,000 yards as a redshirt sophomore. He should have come out in last year's class, and he probably would have been a top 50 or 60 pick. It's just all variable with him. Canadian speedster,
Nick.
though. Who picked him? It was the Panthers?
It was the Panthers that took Chuba Hubbard. The next pick is Kylan Granson, the tight end from SMU. Going to the Colts, I believe. Nick,
Yes.
Do you have another pick? Are we two behind?
No, I was going to say the Kylan.
You want to talk about Kylan Hansen as I get everything set back up because I'm now behind?
What did Brevin Jordan do?
Yeah, I didn't watch Granson, so if either one of you guys want to,
I watched Granson.
Yeah, you go ahead. I was low on him. I'll let you talk.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with Granson, right? He's a move tight end. This is an H-back player. This is a guy you're going to want to throw the ball up the seam, in the flats. You're going to want to let him get some yak. I think he's an average athlete with shaky hands. I thought he had a ton of drops. You watched the Cincinnati film, pretty up and down. He had a couple drops in that game, but I think he's a good move tight end. Kind of reminds me of Josiah DeGuara, who the Packers selected last year. I think DeGuara was better than Granson, but similar players, similar molds. The Colts TE room is interesting. They have a couple of good guys there, so I'm not sure if we'll see Granson on the field early in his career. He's going to have to work his way through that depth chart. But I think that it's a little bit of a reach, but, it's the 4th round. He's an okay tight end. This is a weird tight end class. But Brevin Jordan continues to fall.
Yeah, so just overall big boards, I had Chuba at 109. He was my RB10. And then Bynum I had at 147. So that's a good value on Chuba. For me, at least, I know a lot of people are really low on him. I wasn't sure if he was going to go this high. I wasn't going to be surprised if he went like.
Here's an interesting tidbit about the Cameron Bynum trade, and this makes
announced
me feel
as a safety.
Announced as a safety, which I projected him to go to. I did project that he will be a safety.
I thought he would be kind of that slot safety, and he had been preparing for it. Cam Bynum is another guy I'm really close with just because of the California connection. He interviewed with both Devin and myself. Great kid, really smart kid. Love the response.
Next pick as well.
So I didn't even make a banner for Kylan Granson. I apologize.
Yeah,
he's not banner worthy.
We talked about him. The Steelers take Texas A&M offensive tackle Dan Moore with this
like
pick.
him too.
Okay, well, you talk about him because I do not think he's good. So
I didn't watch him.
Here's the thing. I don't think that he's ready to start right away, which means that the Steelers are a bad team to pick him. I thought he had really good upside. I didn't see him make a whole lot of mistakes. He's a bit of a waist bender, which is suboptimal, not a lot of leverage. I'm just going to let Devin back in here just for another voice. But yeah, with Dan Moore, it's technique. It's some technique flaws with him, but I do think he's got really good upside.
Wait a minute. So Dan Moore just got picked
to the Steelers.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that a lot.
You want to talk about him while I get everything set up?
So I watched him twice. I watched him prior to the Senior Bowl, and then I did an evaluation on him a couple weeks ago. So what you're getting is another guy, and a lot of these round 4 guys seems like they're technicians, and Dan Moore is a technician.
161.
So he barely cracked my top 150, but he's really solid. He's not going to be a guy that blows you away physically. He didn't allow any sacks.
The Bucks are on the clock now.
This past season, protecting Kellerman's blind side. So I think he has some versatility to maybe swing inside a guard. I just worry about his lateral quickness in dealing with those quick twitch edge rushers. But in terms of what you're getting as a player, you're getting a solid potential rotational, potential star down the line type of player. So Steelers are upgrading their offensive line finally. So that's a good sign for them.
And here's the trade real quick.
The Kylan Granson big board number 261. That's a UDFA.
Yeah, I was considerably higher on him than you, but the trade was the Bucks traded 137 and 217 to the Seahawks to move up. So Seattle gets 2 picks.
They need those picks.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Do not have the tip picked yet, but interesting one. Really, really interesting.
What do we got?
The Buccaneers select North Texas wide receiver Jalen Darden with a trade up.
Yikes.
Very, very interesting.
Oh my God, Devin, this is absolutely your guy. He got me on him. I had him at like 111 overall. This is fantastic.
I just want to say I was one of the first on Jalen Darden.
You were.
I
can confirm.
I am devastated.
Saints fan Devin is going to have to... Dude, I think you're just going to have to hit up Jalen Darden and get a jersey. Connor Rogers had him as a top 100 player in this class. That should say everything.
Yeah, Connor was also early on.
I will be right back. I will be back in like 30 seconds. I'm sorry.
No problem. But yeah, Connor actually told me he saw my thing on Darden, and that's how he got turned on to him. But man, Tampa Bay, there's no reason to do this. You just took Tyler Johnson last year. You got Mike Evans. You have Chris Godwin.
Tyler Johnson.
It's getting scary.
They got OJ Howard's coming back as well at tight end, man. There's a lot of weapons. Good thing you guys have gone 3 defensive players down there in New Orleans. You're going to need them.
Good Lord.
Woo!
You might have to go ahead and get a nickel corner here in round 4 or 5 at this stage.
I agree, man. I like Darden. I think this is good value for him. I think a lot of people have a conception that he's like this burner, and he is fast. Don't get me wrong, but he's much more of a quick guy, right? He's more explosive than fast. Very, very interesting addition.
Are we still on Darden?
Yeah, we're still on Darden.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, very, very excited for Kyle Trask to throw him some balls this year.
Boy.
Yeah, the thing
underthrown
is,
by 20 yards.
The NFL missed last year on Darnell Mooney. We saw how well he did with the Bears. This is a very similar player, and the NFL wasn't going to let that type of player slip to round 5. I'm a little surprised he went before Tylan Wallace, but speed kills. My favorite play, I don't know if Devin mentioned it while I was off screen, was against SMU. He shook out 4 players with a half spin move.
Yeah. Go ahead,
deadly elusive. And punt return versatility as well.
Can I just say, I know that Dallas probably needs to take a safety and will probably take an offensive lineman. Fuck it. If Tylan Wallace is there in 10 picks, take him. You're going to lose Michael Gallup next year, and Tylan Wallace should not be here.
I agree.
Who is pick 130, by the way?
Oh, I had the Rams pick, by the way.
Thank you.
That is the pick. Go ahead, Nick.
It is Central Arkansas corner Robert Rochelle.
Okay, someone who's higher on him talk about him. I
think that would be Devin. I didn't watch him, unfortunately, because God forbid film is accessible. So go ahead, Devin.
So man, Rams got a good one. They're once again getting another secondary player that could probably start within 1 or 2 years of this defense. Really long, lanky corner. Really gets in your face, makes life difficult. Very physical at the line of scrimmage. Everything you want in what the Rams do. So I love the pick. I think he was one of those corner that were sleepers. Maybe a little bit of a reach. I probably had him around the round 5, round 6 range. But when you get someone that has upside like Rochelle, he put on a show. And I remember back in September, Jordan Reed and some of the other guys, some of the bigger guys, I believe Dane as well. They were talking about him as a potential sleeper in one of the first few weeks. So he's going to bring a lot of value to that Rams secondary, and they continue to add really quality depth pieces late in day 3. or on day 3, I should say. They did Jordan Fuller last year, who turned out to be a really good rookie. And once again, Robert Rochelle is probably going to be another one of those guys.
So I am currently watching a video of Robert Rochelle standing on the ground and jumping onto a truck because he has an insane vertical. So you can check that out on Twitter.
He's a really good athlete.
He's insane.
I was really upset that we did not get Central Arkansas Phelps. I really wanted to watch him. He looked like he was really fun.
He's really I think he's more of a projection guy.
Nick, the Ravens have selected wide receiver Tylan Wallace from
let's go. That could not be a better fit.
Fantastic.
The Ravens get Tylan Wallace.
It makes sense because you're not going to re-sign Sammy after this year anyway, so screw it.
No, this is your Sammy Watkins replacement
and Tylan Wallace?
Rashad Bateman and Tylan Wallace. That's nice, man. That's real nice.
Second best player available on the board. Not anymore. Davion Nixon. Who did he kill?
He apparently has some off.
He's got some character.
Yeah.
Is it maturity or is it like arrests?
I don't think
I heard it was like he just didn't interview well. That's what I heard. But
I mean, we heard that Darisaw didn't interview well. But so welcome to the top 5 best available players. A definite blue chip brand guy, Ardarius Washington, the 5th best available player on the board.
We got to talk a little bit more about Tylan Wallace, man. Rashad Bateman and Tylan Wallace.
You talk about him. He's going to be. I want a Tylan Wallace jersey.
So here's the thing: if Tylan translates, as well as he did, well to the NFL. I mean, Sammy's not going to get re-signed after this year. It's probably over for Miles Boykin. And then I don't know what they're doing with James Prochet, but he's probably going to maybe.
Well, he's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to keep Devin Duvernay because it's going to throw it on him, and Devin's the gadget guy anyway.
I have the next pick.
Oh, word? Oh, man, that's lovely.
Go ahead, Nick. Keep talking.
I'll let you finish, and then I'll announce it.
No, I was done anyway. I love the pick.
At pick 132, the Cleveland Browns are staying in state with defensive tackle Tommy Togiai from Ohio State.
I know Corey Kitten is somewhere cheering once again because
I believe Dane Brugler had him as a top 50 or 60 player.
He just missed my top 50. He was 56 for me. I really, really like that's good value. I think he's the best run defender in this class.
I had him at
80.
80. I had him at 80. This is a good pick.
Stout,
I will be right
really,
back.
really
I'm just
strong.
grabbing some food quickly.
Okay. Smart player, disengages from blocks. I think he's got enough juice to be a guy that you can put on the field in third down. Maybe not an upside guy on third down, but I think he can survive there. I love him in the run game, and I think I mocked him to the Browns, but I think I did it in the second round. But really, really like Tongia, man. It's a good pick.
Damn, the Browns defense is getting scary, man.
The Browns in general are terrifying.
Yeah, it's
so good.
Scary. I mean, I don't know which AFC North team is blocking this Browns defensive front, but certainly not the Cincinnati Bengals at this point.
Yeah.
Or rip Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Pour one out for Joey B, man. Woo. New Orleans is coming up here, Devin.
Okay. Here we go.
We're a little bit ahead of the TV broadcast. They have not announced the Ravens pick yet, but New Orleans.
Fornes is like Nick. I might become a Ravens fan.
Which player are they going to pick that's going to piss off Saints fans again?
Did they like their draft yesterday?
I loved it.
Did Saints fans like it? Because it was one of my favorite hauls from yesterday. They didn't like Pete Warner at all. They wanted Jabril Cox, who didn't go till today. But the Saints never take LSU guys. They never take them. So every time Saints fans have that kind of homerism, they didn't take Terrace Marshall. They didn't take Jabril Cox, so they're never satisfied. But listen, I was just happy because someone that was on this call doesn't like Pete Warner. So I'm not gonna say names here, but I wonder who it was just funny. He went. Yeah, it's ironic that the guy who doesn't like Pete Warner just happened to disappear as the Saints popped up on the clock. Very, very interesting.
Curious.
That he happened to vanish. Oh, he's back.
I apologize. Did I miss any picks?
No, you just missed us
nothing.
Slandering you for your Pete Warner takes.
I said yesterday on stream that New Orleans is the perfect landing spot for him.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
can
they
give it
made
to
Alex
Ty-
Anzalone work, so
I
Can I give it to
still
Tyler?
don't know how that happened.
Can I give it to Tylen real quick? Because
Yeah.
I wouldn't break down him as a player. Alpha. Lamar kind of threw some questionable 50-50 balls last year. I remember he threw one to like Marquise Brown against the Patriots. They got picked off by J.C. Jackson. Chances are Tylen makes that catch. I think Tylen, he doesn't have the greatest deep speed, which is fine. You don't really want him to be a guy running nines all the time. You have Duvernay and Brown for that. But I think he kind of does something similar to what Bateman does, is he can kind of be that alpha that you can rely on. So, yeah.
The Browns are having Andrew Berry announce their pick. That's kind of weird.
new
That's-
father Andrew
That's
Berry.
lit.
Yeah. We stan Andrew Berry, man. He's a great GM, man.
Brad Holmes and Andrew Berry, we stand.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they're killing
It's
it,
good
man.
to finally
I love
see some
that Lions draft.
representation, and we're showing this is a good show that we need more black GMs. We do.
Oh, yeah.
True story.
They've killed this draft.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
It's a
hire
shame
me.
Andrew Berry's
Bengals.
a Cleveland Brown.
Cincinnati, go ahead, hire me.
There it is.
Patriots, you know what to do.
Really though.
Still.
So who's on the clock right now?
The Saints, and we don't have
The
anything yet.
Saints, they are not tipping that
This is-
pick.
this is
They're
one-
keeping Devin in suspense right
This is
now.
133, right?
Yes, sir. 133.
All right. I needed food and I had no water, so
If the Saints
Listen.
take another safety in the 4th round that I really like, man.
Oh my god! If they take Gillespie or Wiggins,
Woo!
They'll take
it's going to be
Washington.
over.
Yeah,
Shut
I
down the
forgot
stream.
Devin is also a James Wiggins guy. I'm very happy about that. I was on an island.
Listen, I just don't understand how you can watch this film and not love him.
Right? I don't get it either. Usually I get it when I'm like when I love a weird prospect, but like Wiggins films is just straight up good. Like I don't understand. Oh, might have gotten the pick. Nope. Thought we got it, but no.
I saw
Still
a tweet
waiting.
that made me laugh, and it was the office memes with the guns, the finger guns. It's like Rashad Bateman, Marquise Brown, and Tylen Wallace deciding who gets 37 catches this year.
Nah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll actually throw the ball this year.
They needed
let
Lamar
big
throw the
body
ball around the
wideouts.
yard.
They needed big bodied wideouts, and they got 2.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
Jonathan
Honestly-
Adams around 7 to complete the full.
Oh,
wide
just
receiver.
the big boys.
Yeah.
So the Saints clock is running down. This is the first time the clock has really run here on day 3. The Saints are under 30 seconds. I have not
Devin,
gotten
who
the
would
pick
you
tip.
like at 133?
I would love a safety. Tyree Gillespie.
I think that might be who it is. I think it's going to be Gillespie.
Listen, I'm gonna
Should
be
be.
ecstatic because I was just talking about him a couple of weeks ago. His plays against Kyle Pitts. I mean,
Really
with,
nice.
with how teams are upgrading, you're gonna need a coverage safety, and he can provide that, especially with Marcus Williams. I think this is a contract year for him.
It is.
So,
He's on the franchise tag, if I remember correctly.
yeah, so this
Yeah.
it's gonna be big for him.
Oh,
For
here it
the-
is. Oh my God, Devin. Oh no.
You gotta be.
Oh no. The Saints have selected Notre Dame quarterback Ian Book with the 133rd overall pick
no.
in the 2020-21 NFL draft. Man, I just said the wrong year because I'm so
No.
surprised. Ian Book off the board. He goes to a quarterback room. He's the second running back in that room with Taysom Hill. Oh, man.
Oh.
Ian Book off the board. Let's hear from our resident Saints fan who has returned to his chair, Devin.
260 overall.
Didn't watch him.
Sean Payton has a type. He has a type.
Bad white quarterbacks.
Tommy Stevens, Taysom Hill, and now Ian.
What is this quarterback room?
Just bring in Nick Fitzgerald, and it's perfect.
You couldn't
Oh,
take
man.
Felipe Franks, Jamie Newman, somebody else? Like, oh my God, man. This is
That hurts.
Are we still in round 4?
Yes.
Yes.
Round 4. Round 4.
Told you guys he was getting drafted. I didn't think it'd be
Jesus
this early.
Christ. 4th round. I'm sickened.
I'm dead inside.
It's okay, 'cause we have
I'm gonna
this.
meme this. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm sorry, Devin.
We don't stand Jerry Jones. I agree. Wow, man, this is crazy. So the quarterback room for the Saints right now: Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, Ian Book, and
Tommy Stevens.
No,
I forgot who he was.
If Jameis Winston goes down, we're done. We're done. We're done. I mean, it's not even.
Devin, I'm sorry, brother.
This is pain.
Well, go ahead, give me the job with the Patriots. I'll just go and become the villain, man. I can't do this anymore.
Hollywood Devin
triple
did not
option.
last very long. So
See,
they got
listen.
they got two of Devin's favorite players in the class, in Pete Werner and Peyton Turner, and then they got a quarterback so bad that Dante couldn't even release his audio thoughts on.
Oh no, yeah.
This is an early Saturday meme. So Saints, just scroll through Saints Twitter, and you're gonna. It'll be a good time for y'all. Not for me though.
Man, this is so funny.
Oh, I feel so bad
Pull
for
one
him.
out.
Dude,
Pour
like,
one out.
Oh, hey, so from Arif Hassan, it's Janarius Robinson for the Vikings.
Oh, that's another brand guy.
Yo, Rip Devin, big Janarius Robinson guy with that
The
next pick for
biggest.
the Vikings. The biggest
Listen,
Janarius
Devin, would you like
Robinson
to break
guy.
down Janarius Robinson to feel better?
listen, this is like the number one guy, like of my guys. This is number one.
Robinson, right?
What'd you say?
Robert. Is it Robinson or Robertson? I'm now confused.
Robinson.
I thought.
So, man, first of all, dude has ridiculous arm length.
Sorry, that was the Vikings?
That's number
Yeah.
one. Viking. Oh my God, you got to be kidding me! This
The
is
Vikings
like,
are just getting all of our guys.
Yeah.
Like I
We
said,
got a couple
Arif
of my
tweeted
brain
it, so I
guys
trust
too.
him.
It just came in from Draft Diamonds as well. So it is
I
the
had him
correct
at
pick.
105 on the board. This is great value.
wow. This is amazing. The Vikings are literally having one of my favorite drafts because they're getting all the guys I love in this class. I mean,
It's interesting that they drafted Robinson tonight, but they got Patrick Jones yesterday. I think you could have flipped them.
honestly,
I like
I'm
both of them.
surprised at
They're
that.
both really good players.
Jesus. But yeah, so hold on. I'm gonna
Do you want to go hop on and talk on
Yeah.
climbing the pocket? All right.
Yeah.
I'll break them down if you want.
Yeah, I mean Robinson, big, long, athletic, doesn't have a pass rush move that he can repeat, in my opinion. But I mean,
Raw as hell, 1 year starter.
from a traits perspective, I mean, it's about as good as it gets.
And had a fantastic Senior Bowl week. Who's on at 135?
Titans.
The Titans.
Are they going wide? Did they go wide receiver earlier?
Yes, they did. They traded up for Des Fitzpatrick earlier in the fourth round, but
Brevin
no one from
Jordan.
our I would think so. No one from our top five has gone in a while.
we seem to be too high on these guys.
Maybe.
Not
man.
high enough on Ian Book, boys.
Dallas
We
needs
don't.
to take.
Yeah, we need to go
Darius
back and watch
Washington.
the film.
Yeah. The NFL in its infinite wisdom clearly knows more than we do.
Yeah.
Oh no, they don't. Not if they're drafting Ian Book in the fourth round. I get it. He's probably a nice guy. He's intelligent when you get the whiteboard out, but I mean, he's going to hold the fuck out of that clipboard.
Man, are you sure about that, man? Like, I just watching him play.
Oh no. He's good
Football,
at
man.
regurgitating it, but he can't do it.
Oh God, he was so frustrating. Just a waste of talent on that Notre Dame roster. You had like an offensive line filled with NFL guys. You had multiple NFL weapons, 2 tight ends, couple receivers, and like they just could not get over the hump because Ian Book can't like throw a 10-yard out on time. It's just like absolutely ridiculous.
He is the quintessential noodle arm.
It is. How do you draft him in the fourth round, man? Like, if you're going to take a quarterback, draft a dude who can pump the ball down the field. Give me Felipe Franks. Give me Jamie Newman. Like, one of these guys you can at least, like, develop and do something with. Instead, you're going to take Ian freaking Book, who just runs himself. He's like a freaking chicken with his head cut off in the pocket. He just runs around avoiding people, and then he throws the ball into the dirt. Oh, my God, dude.
Ian Book makes Kyle Trask look like a good value in the second since he got taken. in the
Ian
fourth.
Book makes
honestly,
Kyle Trask look like
Relatively
Dan
speaking, yes.
Marino.
Jeez, man.
Ian Book makes Kyle Trask look like Dan Marino.
My God. No, they both suck.
By the way, Pepperidge Farms, sponsor us. There's two of us sitting here eating goldfish.
I haven't eaten a thing today. I'm a big guy. I need sustenance.
Would you like to take a food break? Would you like to go grab some food, Nick?
No, because Baltimore's about to pick. I want to sit here for this.
Don't have anything on the Tennessee front yet.
Yeah, no
And I've not
pick
lost the
tip
manner that I
for
found.
me either.
Just pick 135.
Yep, the pick is
I think
in
it's gonna be
according to
Brevin
NFL
Jordan.
Network.
I'm going to say it's Brevin Jordan.
It
Yeah,
would make
quick-
sense because they don't have a tight end that I know of. It's
Anthony Ferkser.
yeah, exactly.
How many more picks we have in the fourth round, man?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10
Okay.
more fourth round picks, and we have gone for almost 2 hours.
We're
This is
only
so-
doing the first 2 rounds on this stream, and then we will create.
Switching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm not taking any chances that we're going to hit 6 hours and then end.
Yeah. I mean, we can honestly just switch like when that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone is watching, thank you for hanging out with us today. Day 3, we appreciate you.
If you've hung out all 3 days, you guys are the goats. Like,
Yeah, we appreciate you. We are having a great time talking draft. This is day 3. Obviously, there are some players that we haven't watched, but this is the day that I think we all love because this is a ton of fun breaking down. And we have
We
our pick,
still have-
and
what do we
dear
got?
Lord.
Uh-oh.
The Titans select Pitt edge rusher Rashad Weaver with this pick. Rashad Weaver is one of my least favorite players in this draft class. He has injury concerns, and I think he has absolutely zero juice.
He is very juice-free.
Yeah,
He's also
not-
not scheme fit either.
I had him at 143. He doesn't fit the scheme. I had serious effort concerns with him as well.
where did I rank him? 215 for me with a 6th round grade. So.
Yeah, there were talks that he
hey.
could have gone early last night.
So the Cardinals just traded up with Baltimore.
Yep, the Cardinals traded with Baltimore.
So
I'm going to say Brevin Jordan until he's picked, honestly.
Also, if the cat gets in the way, I apologize.
Gentlemen,
he's
if you
currently
excuse me.
off camera, but
I shall return with food.
Do
So talk amongst
go for it,
yourselves.
man. It's 1:30. Go eat.
I'm watching the TDN crew react to the Ian Book pick. It's incredibly entertaining.
Are they reacting live or is this?
Yes,
a
they are
video?
doing the same thing that we are doing, and they are.
No. I mean, like, are they reacting to when the pick is actually
Mhm.
announced? Or
I'm not sure. I'm a little bit busy hosting this stream, but
Okay.
their reaction is incredibly funny.
I'm assuming it's a whole bunch of what the ever loving fuck. But since they're sponsored, they can't say that.
Right.
I am
Shout out to TDN. They made a lot of
Begging.
this year possible.
begging for Darius Washington in Dallas's pick coming up.
Okay. Goddamn. I had a tweet
Got the pick. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one. It is Marco Wilson announced as a safety at this
Okay.
pick. Marco Wilson off the board
Wow.
in the 4th round
Let me tackle
to
this one.
Arizona. Go ahead.
Let me tackle this one. Horrible 2020 film. Decent in 2019, but nothing to write home about. A+ when it comes to throwing shoes. You knew I was going to fit that one in there.
Mhm.
Way better athlete. Tested as a way better athlete than I would have expected from film, which makes me question whether or not he was banged up, which might have caused the poor tape. Listing him as a safety makes a lot of sense. I just don't really see the fit. Like, again, they need an outside corner still. I don't know about this.
I think I liked Marco in the slot over the summer. I did his full summer evaluation, but I did not watch him this year. Tested out of his mind. He's definitely a good athlete on film. I think you see a lot of the things that you want out of a corner. He has the athletic ability. He's got decent enough size. He's got good ball skills. I think you like all that stuff about him. Just seems like a bonehead. Really just
53 on the board in the second lowest corner.
Yeah, just seems like a guy who doesn't really know what he's doing yet. He's pretty raw from a technique standpoint. And then, you got him chucking shoes, costing Florida a chance at the national championship, really. I mean, they might have been in the CFP if he didn't throw that shoe. So
It's interesting. He's the exact opposite of his brother. Quincy Wilson was not a good athlete, but really technical. And Marco Wilson is all athlete, but absolutely zero refinement.
Got the next pick as well. Go ahead,
Wilson.
Austin, if you want to announce it.
Seattle Seahawks have selected Oklahoma defensive back Trey Brown.
Okay.
And
I don't
Dallas
hate
is on
that.
the
He's
clock.
very undersized. He's actually kind of the anti Seahawks corner. He's only like 5'9".
Dallas is on the clock now. Please take Darius.
I don't hate the pick. Where did I have Trey Brown? I had Trey Brown, 24th overall corner in the class, 196 overall. This is probably going to be a slot for them based off of size. Not the best athlete, just a really solid corner that you can stick, like I said, at this point in the slot. Just interesting that they went for a guy that doesn't meet any of their thresholds.
I think Dallas will take Brevin Jordan here just because I know there's been some talk about him in the organization. I would, or Stone Forsythe, but I think they should take Darius Washington.
Yeah, remember when Stone Forsythe was like a sneaky first rounder? Me too, man.
Wait, no, there was no way he was talking about in the first.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, dude, he was getting like top 50, top 40 hype not that long ago. I don't know. That was always weird. I don't know who started peddling that train or what, but I mean, he's not a bad tackle prospect. Don't get me wrong, but that was always insane to me.
It's interesting. So the Cardinals traded up to get Marco Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They have no mid-round picks. Like they're not back to round 7.
Nope. They're done. Oh, Cowboys pick is in. Very interesting. Marshall offensive tackle Josh.
Oh no, another
Ball.
Off-field.
Another
We're just going to take
off-field
everyone
concern.
who sucks as a person.
Dallas is going back to their old ways of drafting everyone and their mother with a red flag. Josh Ball, some pretty bad red flags at Florida State, basically beat the crap out of his girlfriend.
Got kicked off the program.
And was kicked
He
off
got kicked
the
off
program.
at Florida State. Do you know what that takes?
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. So Josh Ball off the clock or off the board here. Mike, did you finish an eval on him?
I did. I had him at 148. And that was, I'll tell you, it wasn't until you posted your rankings. Because here's the thing. I watched a lot of the film. I was really thankful you did a lot of the deep dive research on the off field because I didn't know it existed when I posted it.
Yeah, I had somebody tip me off to that. That's how I found out about it, and it's pretty concerning. I will say though, on film,
what makes it worse is that the size difference because he's 6'8" and 345.
Yeah, on film, I mean he's solid. I think this could have been a guy who went on day 2 without the red flags. I think he's got really good foot speed, good length. I think that he's an interesting developmental tackle and a good developmental tackle class. I obviously would have liked to see Dante Smith go a little bit higher than him, but on film, he's this is probably decent value for him if we're just not talking about red flags, but yeah, those are certainly something to consider. It's hard to get kicked off of Florida State, and he got kicked out of Florida State. So,
Nick,
Austin,
you missed 2 very interesting ones.
Austin, how we doing, my dude?
I mean, can Dallas take a decent human being and can Dallas take a safety? Please?
No and no.
Nick, you're muted. You're muted. You're still muted.
Still muted.
Oh.
They did not.
They announced him as a safety.
They did, and then Dallas did what they did.
The Dallas convicts from Bossman Browning on Twitter.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's some tremendous Dallas slander on the TL right now, guys.
Oh my god!
You weren't supposed to spoil it, Browning. Now Ben's gonna get mad. It's fine. This is fine.
Let's just move on to pick 139.
Let's.
Waiting for
I
the
want to spend
tip.
more time on who is it though? What team?
It
Cincinnati.
is Cincinnati. Yeah, there is a very inconvenient glare on my television screen right over where the pick is, but I can still, if I just move. Oh, and it is in, and it is my guy.
Right
it
after.
Is grand for me, Deontay Smith, offensive tackle, East Carolina, off the board. I will break this one down because he's a brand guy for me. I love what he brings to the table as a developmental tackle. Really, really good athlete, really good length. He's mostly a guy right now. He's a jump setter. He's just getting out of his stance. He's getting his hands on you, and he's bigger and longer than you, and he's going to bully you. And I think that you're going to have to develop his pass sets a little bit, but I really, really like what he brings to the table from an athletic perspective. I think he's got really, really good hand power as well. He's going to hit you hard. He can move guys in the running game. Love what he brings to the table. Really, really big fan of this selection for the Bengals. I just think they just got a better tackle than the Cowboys, one pick after them, in my opinion.
I think they got a better tackle than the one they took last night. Dante Smith, 89th on my board.
Man, Dallas should have taken Deontay Smith.
They should have.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So he played extremely light in 2019 and only played one game in 2020. He weighed in at like 285 playing left tackle for ECU. He bulked up to about 315. He's 6'3", but with a wingspan of about 6'10 or 6'11, just freakish length. And a pretty good athlete. He's just really raw.
Yeah, I mean, I got to watch him live, and he had a bit of a rough day against Quincy Roche, but he did win a couple of reps there, and I think that Smith, I think that was a good battle, and obviously Quincy's still on the board, but he was a guy that some people liked, and I think Smith got the better of him, especially in that first half against Temple. So I really like Smith. He's a Hollywood brand guy for me, all 2021 Hollywood.
Where was he on yours?
Oh, I had him at 89. So. Yeah, I think I had him in the 80s. I really like him, though. I am very, very. Also,
Tyler Force and Devin, big Deontay Smith guys. This is a BCS brand.
Yes. I love that so many of us have the same brand guys. I think it's awesome. He was 76 for me, Deontay Smith. So great value for the Bengals. Really, really like this pick. Significantly better than the one that Dallas just made. So pour one out for all our Dallas guys.
Steelers pick is in. It is Texas A&M linebacker Buddy Johnson.
Didn't watch him.
Didn't watch him.
He's a downfield thumper. That's all I know. He's a thumper, not a great athlete.
So he's definitely a Pittsburgh guy then.
This is from what I gathered from other folks in the media. This was too early.
Way too early.
I don't think I had anyone that had him. Yeah, from what I saw, I preferred their other linebacker who didn't even play this year, and that's Anthony Hines.
I just want to go back real quick to Deontay Smith. Bengals are starting to make amends here. Deontay Smith's probably a couple years away from being really good. Really going to need some development. Probably put on some more weight, some more strength as well.
He's at like 315 now. I think he's got inside-outside flexibility.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they use him. I think probably maybe early in his career they may have him inside before they move him out. But in terms of value, I mean, it's tremendous value. I think I would have thought coming into the draft he'd probably go late round 3, early round 4, and that's about where he went. So definitely like what the Bengals did with that pick. Sorry about the Cowboys once again. Character issues. They have a type.
It's like they're trying to just go after guys with it, and that's.
It's like they misplaced their red flags folder, and they were just like, crap, we're just gonna draft the board.
Nah, I really think they have a pick already, but then Jerry Jones comes in and sees who's on the board still. And he's like, that's our guy.
Yeah, and we were talking about this too. It's like I don't think Ball's film is bad, right? Like this is a decent athlete.
He's a good player. He's just
he has a good film, but his off-field issues are considerably more troubling than Micah Parsons.
Yeah, we have a pick, I believe.
No, I was going to say, tweet from Eric Edholm. Cowboys just burned their entire character folder.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have a problem on my timeline. Titans fans have found my Dylan Raduns breakdowns.
Were you not big on Raduns? Or?
No, I liked Raduns, but Titans fans are just not happy about the pick, I don't think. So they're just like slandering a random video that I posted of him in the Senior Bowl.
Taquan Graham retweeted the Texas defensive tackle retweeted a pick of mine from the Senior Bowl because he got one good rep against Creed Humphrey.
Yeah, he long armed him, right? I remember that rep.
Yeah, he's all over that because Creed Humphrey went in round 2. Well, great Taquan Graham. Like you didn't show up at any point.
The Chiefs literally cut their 2 starting tackles and upgraded their line at like 4 spots. Just absolutely ridiculous offseason, man.
Who is 141?
We are waiting on the Rams because we're ahead. We have the Pittsburgh pick, Buddy Johnson. So the Rams are next, followed by Green Bay getting back on the clock. They just announced Deontay Smith.
No, never mind. It's not going to be Brevin Jordan because they have Tyler Higbee. And no, did they lose Gerald Everett in free agency or am I tripping?
Gerald Everett is on the Seahawks from the Rams, so
I would assume so.
and the pick is in. Okay, Devin, I think you're going to be the one to talk about this. The Rams have selected wide receiver Jacob Harris.
I didn't watch him.
All
yeah,
right.
I think that's a Devin guy.
You know what?
Where's he from?
I would have bet
UCF.
that
Central Florida.
the Rams were going to be one of the teams that I think would have picked him because it seems like they're going at the very particular types of players, like players that have tested freakishly well. And, Robert Rochelle, we talked about probably about 20, 30 minutes ago. Jacob Harris, the same type of guy, had the best RAS score of any tight end, I believe, in this draft class.
He's like a wide receiver / tight end.
He's like a
They
tweener.
announced him as a wide receiver. If
There
that
we go.
matters.
Yeah, so he's probably going to be. I would think. I don't even know where they're going to have.
What
him
are the
in
Rams
the
doing? They still have Reynolds. They still have
Woods.
Van Jefferson, Woods, Jacob Harris, Tutu Atwell.
I don't really
How are they
know.
getting these guys on the field?
I don't know. Unless they go 5 wide every play. I mean, it's. I like the pick, but at the same time, it's like if they're going to use him a receiver, I don't really like that because the receiver room, they're just stashing him away basically. I mean, you already got Woods, like you said, Reynolds, Jefferson didn't play as much as we thought he would, and he's only going to play more, learning the offense. So, I mean, there's going to be too many mouths to feed at some point because you're going to have to use Tutu Atwell. Having him go in the second round, you're going to have to put him on the field at some point. So I don't know what they're doing here. I can't really say. I like the pick, but at the same time, with who they picked prior, I don't know if it's really the Tutu Atwell pick is just bad.
I
Got the
question
Packers
no-
pick
there's no getting
as
around.
well.
Okay.
Sorry, Packers.
The Packers are up. They are taking Ole Miss offensive tackle Royce Newman.
I
Yes,
never got to him.
sir.
I believe
Okay.
this is a brand
Yes.
guy for
Love
Devin.
it.
And,
All right.
and me too.
I want to hear from
love it.
Nick because Nick went away for food, and then we'll hear
Wait,
from
Royce
Devin.
Newman, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's interesting they announced him as a tackle because I don't know how Devin, I don't know how you feel about this, but I definitely see him as a guard at the next level. Solid overall mover. I don't think he personally has the greatest functional strength, but he has a lot of power behind his punches. So there's that. Probably a depth guy. He's a bit of an older guy also, but I don't know whether he starts or he's just depth or whatever. But I think good pick.
Yeah,
Are we
Newman
in
is-
round 5 yet or no? Are we still in round
Nope.
4?
2 picks
We
left
have
in round
2
4.
more picks: the Jets and the Chiefs, and then we are
Okay.
up to round 5.
Yeah, so Royce Newman, I thought he has a lot of snaps at both guard and tackle. 2019, he played at guard. 2020, he played at tackle. He's a really athletic player. I believe he had like a RAS score of like 8.5 or something like that, which is pretty good. Really good mover, really good run blocker. Have some issues with his functional strength and his ability to let players get underneath his pads. But in terms of moving and the movability is there. Really great value for the Packers and provides a depth piece and someone that can, move inside or stay outside the tackle. So a solid pick here for the Packers. Provide more protection up front for whoever the quarterback is going to be for the Packers because we don't know if it's going to be Aaron Rodgers or not. But Jordan Love at least will have
It's gonna be Tim Boyle.
Apparently, Aaron Rodgers is trying to get Brian Gutekunst fired as we
Yeah,
speak.
that report came out. Oh, and the Jets have traded with the Vikings. So the Vikings
Makes
coming
sense.
up here at the back end.
Wow,
of
so they
the
flipped it
4th
now.
round.
I
It
wanted
was the other way a couple
Vikings
days
there.
ago.
Yep. So the Jets trade out. The Vikings trade up. This will be
Vikings trade up?
Minnesota. Yes, Vikings trading up. Jets trading out. This is Minnesota's 3rd pick of the 4th round or 4th pick of the 4th round.
They have a ton of picks.
Yeah, they've made a ton of selections. I can bring it up real quick. I like what they're doing. Just off the top of my head, I think that they've done a nice job. So
Christian Darrisaw, they're getting all my brand guys right now.
yeah, they got one of
They're-
mine too with Surratt. Yeah, this will be their 4th pick of the 4th round.
I'm going to say Davion Nixon with this one.
I
they've
could see it.
taken the running back from Iowa State, Cam
Right.
Bynum, and Janaris Robinson.
Raiders are moving up too. With the
Okay.
Chiefs, it looks like.
Yes.
With the Chiefs.
Well, the
no.
Raiders are gonna pick someone that's a 7th rounder. So
I've liked
Jets-
one of their picks.
Okay, so hold on. The Jets have traded their pick to the Raiders, not the Vikings, per The Athletic and Ian Rappaport. So
So
that
never
is-
mind. It's not going to be Davion Nixon. He wasn't
Trey
a
Smith?
captain.
so
I'm
the
gonna-
Jets
Quincy
trading to
Roche.
the Raiders.
Quincy Roche.
It is Quincy Roche?
No.
No.
This is a guess. Big name school, Philly guy. It's Mayock in charge. Captain.
I think it's
Yeah.
Trey Smith.
Jets
Or
swap
Trey
with
Smith.
Raiders. They got 162 and 200. So the Jets get 162 and 200. The Raiders are going to be making this selection, and the pick is in according to NFL Network. So we
I
should know
can't see
soon.
shit. There's nothing.
We should know soon. I hope this is Quincy. He's a guy that I've talked to a lot, and I think that he's probably thinks that he should have gone higher. And honestly, I agree with him. I think he was a fringe top 100 guy. I really think he's a good character guy. So I would like for this to be him. He's someone that I got a chance to interview.
What if they went up
probably
to
close
pair the
to 20
TC?
times.
What if they
Maurice
went up to-
Moten, who covers the Raiders, is saying he thinks it's going to be Nixon.
I mean, I like Nixon's a brand guy. So
Nixon
I'm
is a
okay
brand
with
guy.
that. Yeah.
Second ranked defensive tackle in the class for me. Best available player on the board.
Yeah, he was my interior. Oh, it is a brand guy, but it is not that brand guy. It is Missouri safety
let's
Tyree
go.
Gillespie off the clock
Yes. That's
to
a good
I
pick.
really
the
love that.
Raiders.
That's a good pick.
I
Who wants
think
to talk?
just about anyone in here could talk. Austin, did you watch him? You haven't gotten a chance to talk
I
in a while.
did watch him, and I loved him. This is a guy who I think was played a lot out of position at Missouri. They tried to run him as a single high safety way too much because he doesn't have the greatest range, not enough to play that. I think he has enough range to play in a two high safety shell, but I think his best usage is if he can come into the box, come downhill, and stop the run. That's what I got out of Gillespie. I think he's a box safety first, but he can do pretty much anything you need him to do. I love Tyree Gillespie.
I think he's a little bit more than a box safety. He has some really good reps against Kyle Pitts, so I think they're going to use him certainly in that division to guard tight ends. They got Noah Fant, you got Travis Kelce already in a division, so I think he's going to be one of those tight end type eraser guys that you throw on him. Throw in one-on-one situations, probably, especially down near the goal line. But he has some tremendous reps against not only Kyle Pitts but other tight ends as well. But I specifically, pick Kyle Pitts as the number 4 overall pick. But yeah, I love this pick for the Raiders. Finally, they're
94th
making
on my board.
Here's an underrated part about this too. Raiders are pairing him with Trayvon Moehrig on the back end.
That's beautiful.
That's
I
a
love it.
very, very nice upgrade. And they added, I know we're lower on Devon Diablo, but he's a guy who can fill a lot of spaces that maybe those guys can't. So a whole revamped safety room for the Raiders.
And
man.
when they go with a 3 safety set, they've now got Jonathan Abram, who I liked, Tyree Gillespie, who I liked, and they've got Trayvon Merrick, who I
mean,
liked.
you can put them in the linebacker role.
Chiefs pick is
theoretically.
Okay.
Abrams and
You want to announce it?
Diablo.
Josh Kando from Florida State.
Oh, I don't like that at all. I don't
For
like
who?
that at all.
The Chiefs.
Josh Kano for the Chiefs.
Don't hate it, but I love Robinson's
no.
film significantly better than Kando.
I agree.
Quintessential Jag for me. No pass rush move. Didn't see a lot of juice with him. Just honestly was an 11th guy that was on the field for me. Bit of a reach. I know it's the Chiefs and they really have no needs, and he'll somehow turn into a stud because it's the Chiefs and that's what they do. I had Kando though at where is he? 266.
That is the last pick of round 4, and Brevin Jordan's still on the board.
Yep,
Brevin-
we're in round 5, boys. We made it. It took us 2 hours to get through round 4. They better start speeding this thing up.
What I tell you, we're on pace for a 9 o'clock end time.
Yeah, well, I got to get out of here at 5. So,
Well, by that point, we can swap you and Harbs out. So
okay, yeah, Harbs might be taking out over for me. I think They should start to speed it up a little
they'll
bit.
speed it up.
And we should.
Thompson and Cyrildine's still here too.
Yes, the injuries
Yes.
I think are the
Trey
injuries are
Smith,
knocking him.
Nasruddin, Ardarius
Nixon-
Washington.
Oh,
Nixon-
we have
okay.
the
Brevin
first
Jordan.
pick of the 5th round. It is Ohio State tight end Luke Farrell. off
That's-
the board to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You got the Ohio
that
State
explains
connection
it.
with Urban
Yeah.
Meyer.
No,
Not
it's
sure.
a bad football player.
Not sure if he coached him or not,
He
but
He did.
Luke Farrell is the first pick of the 5th round.
Terrible.
Brevin Jordan's still here.
Brevin Jordan just got smacked in the face. That's
Yeah,
what happened.
man, I thought I was low on Brevin Jordan. Yikes.
I hope he falls to Dallas's next pick as much as I want.
Okay,
a
Luke
safety.
Farrell.
Fuck it.
He came in at
I thought it was
keep
Luke
in mind,
Farrell,
I
but-
watched 287 players. He came in as my second lowest at the position and 279 overall.
I mean, if you want a tight end 3 that can block, fine.
You don't take that
I mean-
here.
You take it round 7 or UDFA.
God, yeah. I graded him not even just as a UDFA. I graded him as a camp body.
There's several tight ends on the board that are better than him.
God.
I mean, just to put it plainly.
I kind of like his teammate. That doesn't do much for him, but I kind of like the guy who went back to school. I'm blanking on his name.
If you want blocking
Oh, you're
tight
talking
end, I
about
would've gone
Jeremy
Kerry
Rucker.
Angeline from
Yeah,
North
I like
Carolina
Ruckert a
State.
little bit. At least he's an athlete. He can catch.
I would have preferred if they wanted a blocking tight end, go Kerry Angeline from North Carolina State, but unfortunately, Urban's just
Oh.
going to get guys he's coached.
That's the dude that I comped to a lamppost.
Well, Quentin Morris is still on the board.
Quentin Moore,
I mean,
receiving upside.
Yeah. I like
Also,
Quentin Morris. I didn't get to see his film, but
listen, you
Best
want to talk
player
about
on
the
an
most
awful team.
obscure film to find? Bowling Green.
Bowling
is
Green. I
top of
tried
the
really
list.
hard, man. I was messaging
Bowling
people
Green-
who did not want to hear from me. I was like, give me the film. And they were like,
Bowling
dude, I don't have it
Green
either.
was so bad that against Buffalo, their keys to victory was just stay positive.
They're bad. I mean,
They were so bad. Their thing
They're
was
bad.
literally just like basically don't cry.
Well, they had that one quarterback that was there, but he transferred, and then any hope they had of winning games just went. away.
Remember when they showed like the stat graphic of the Bowling Green quarterback, Devin? I think it was the Buffalo game, and it was like he was 3 of 17 or something.
Yeah, he was god awful.
He was Art Sitkowski levels of bad.
Sikowski is better than that.
Yeah, he transferred to Illinois. He might play this year.
So
Yeah.
top players available going in round 5. We got Davion Nixon, Trey Smith, Brevin Jordan,
It's
Kenneth
been that way for a while.
Gainwell.
We got
Kenneth
Hufanga
Gainwell
still
still on
on
the board. That's
mine.
surprising.
Hamza, Quincy Roche, Jamar Johnson, who was getting like second round hype.
I
Late in the
never
process.
bought into that.
We-
Never bought into that.
Devin and I like Indiana, and I had Johnson as like kind of that fringe top 100.
I said
I
fourth,
like
fifth-
Johnson,
I had him
man.
4th, 5th round.
I just thought his coverage ability was nice, but
his tackling is.
He
yeah,
can't
no, his
tackle.
I agree. No, definitely not a great tackler. I agree.
Who's 146 in terms of the team?
The Jets. And
Marvin
the pick is
Wilson.
in, not been tipped yet.
Still on the board. Marvin Wilson's still on the board.
Dude, what if Brevin Jordan goes like undrafted? It's gonna be like Hunter Bryant all over again.
Oh my god!
Oh, bro,
That's what it's gonna be like. I mean, they're kind of similar players too, if you think about it. Like,
Jeez.
oh,
You're
we
not
got it.
wrong.
Jets select Auburn safety Jameen Sherwood with the second pick.
I didn't
in the
get to
5th
James
round.
Sherwood.
big fella.
No.
Big
Yeah, he's a
fella.
hybrid safety linebacker. If my notes are correct, I did not
Yeah.
finish a final eval on him, but he's a guy who's probably going to be like a Will or a Sam, maybe at the next level. Play
You
more
could
linebacker.
use him like
than safety.
like Seattle's using Jamal Adams.
Basically, Jamal Adams'
Yeah.
replacement. Only took
Yeah.
a 5th round pick though.
Yeah. It didn't cost them multiple firsts? That's crazy.
Imagine paying, imagine
I'm
paying
sorry,
multiple
Ben.
first for a safety that can't cover.
I'm sorry, Ben. If you're watching this, I'm sorry.
I mean, look, edge is a valuable position. So, if you want to consider Jamal Adams an edge, that's a good position to draft. Hey, he's a pass rusher, baby.
Oh my god.
Woo. Oh, man, I'm very excited about that
There's-
safety room with Tyree Gillespie and Trayvon Moehrig, man. That's a lot of
That
fun.
may be my favorite pairing of the draft.
Yeah, I'm upset that
Next to Baltimore, getting Bateman and Wallace.
that's also a good one. Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Sammy Watkins gets re-signed after this season. If they
Oh,
have
definitely
Wallace.
not.
No.
At this point, I don't even think he makes it through camp. But
We are
that's
waiting.
just me being a homer.
He's
waiting
one
for
injury away
Houston.
from being
By
a
the-
free agent again.
True.
Waiting for Houston. They are next.
Oh, that's right. Houston's in this draft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's so funny that they drafted Davis Mills with their first pick
Of
last
course
night.
they did.
That's objectively hilarious. Like, oh man,
How about they take an offensive lineman?
Imagine.
That'd be nice.
No, they took Titus Howard in the first round, Devin.
But why? But why?
Yeah, that pick was bad,
So
man.
the Texans. Jeez.
I still think the worst pick of the draft is Nashawn Wright, but Ian Book is close.
No, Ian Book passed that.
It's
I'm
gotta
sorry.
be Ian Book, man.
Remember last year when New Orleans traded back into the draft to get Tommy Stevens?
They
Only the
literally
draft
cut
winner.
him.
Didn't they do that specifically so Carolina couldn't?
Yes.
Or was that
Yes.
just, wow.
Yeah, they really just wanted to snipe the Panthers because they're petty as hell.
No comment. Anyway, some other players I'm surprised are still around. James Wiggins, Derek
Yeah.
Forrest.
I didn't get Forrest, so
I think Forrest is like
I never
literally a
watched him.
perfect backup safety. I just
yeah,
think he fills
I
like
got the
8
sense
spots.
of that. I
Great
never did a
special teamer, too.
full
Yes.
eval on him.
Yeah,
So
good
it's the
special teams guy.
Texans.
Oh, he's off the board. Brevin Jordan
Texans.
to the
Of course.
Texans, tight end Miami here in the
You-
5th round.
Fantastic
Whoever
value.
wants to talk can talk.
I don't think
Mike,
anyone had that type of grade on him at all.
No, I mean, I had a
may
4
have
on him,
hated
and everyone was mad at me. So
Everyone
he
hated
was
him there.
That's
68th
a
on my
good
board.
value. That is a
Wow.
good value.
That is really good.
Mike, you and I.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who's throwing to him next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, you and I talked about this. They needed a tight end
They did. They
because, like, Holly
Yeah,
Waring hasn't done
Darren
anything.
Fells.
Holly
forever.
Waring, Darren Fells, and who was the other one? There's a white guy. No, Jordan Akins, not a white
Yeah.
guy.
Good job, Mike.
Jesus Christ.
It's been
Who's
a
on the clock
long
after this one?
weekend.
Atlanta's on the clock. I think this is a safety.
By the way, we can all
I got
welcome to
feeling.
the top 5 available players. Seth Williams, wide receiver, Auburn.
Hey, Seth.
NFL
Another
does
street
not
win.
like big body receivers outside of Nico Collins. I see.
He's been the only one.
Finally, they're coming to their senses, though.
Cameron McGrone is still on the board, and that was my guy.
Really, I did
I
not
liked him in
like Cameron
2019.
McGrone.
I think that there's a lot that's rough around the edges with McGrone, but
Give me a
And
second. My camera's gone out of focus.
he's also it's a weird kind of physicality because on one rep he'll be extremely physical and be hitting people like crazy, and the next rep he'll be getting carried 10 yards out of bounds by Josh Myers.
Yeah,
That
It's
was my
hit or miss.
concern, just the inconsistency from down to down. He's a great talent,
So-
but he's got to learn how to shed blocks because
I-
that's one thing about this linebacker class.
yeah. Ain't
A lot
no
of them
one
do
wants to
not shed.
engage and shed, man. Ain't the only
They're
one for me
dipping
was Pete
around.
Werner.
Yeah,
I'm serious. That was the only one who wasn't do it, man.
So I
Here we
still have
go.
11 day 2 grades on the board.
Wow. I have
I have a couple.
quite a few, but
Fuck.
I also didn't have very many day 3 grades to begin with. So
Yeah,
Day,
I,
11 day 2. 11 day 2 grades.
I'm trying to be ahead on picks, so I can't count, but I do have
Don't
a
worry.
considerable amount off the top of my head.
I'm
I still have a
shocked our
second
Darius
round grade. That's my
I do
second
too.
round grade.
I do. I have 2 of them still available. I have Trey Smith and Davion Nixon.
Yeah, I have
Comment-
Trey Smith and Nixon too.
Comment from Josh Ball talking to Jeff Kavanaugh. The past is the past, and everybody's moved on. So I don't really have a comment on all that.
Wow.
Are you
what a
sure the
dick
victim has
yeah.
moved on? Are you
Jeez,
serious?
Oh, I have our
Cowboys back
pick.
to back.
I actually don't know. I think maybe they got the school wrong. Falcons
Texas.
select Texas defensive tackle Taquan Graham.
No, he is a Texas guy.
Yeah.
yeah,
they
no,
said
no.
Texas A&M.
They said
Oh,
Texas
okay.
A&M, but I corrected it. So Taquan
so-
Graham.
Did
Early
anyone
for
watch
him.
him? Because the most I know about him is he got 1 good rep against Creed Humphrey, and he retweeted my tweet of it today.
Nope.
I
Go ahead,
did,
Nick.
in a very limited sense. Sort of kind of decent athlete. He's kind of like a weird body type, like 6'3", 290. Probably has more pass rush upside than I think he does as a run defender. This is way too early for him. Like, I honestly
Decent
got-
Senior Bowl. That's all. That's all I
Decent
got.
Senior Bowl, and the fact is, I had him graded as a seventh rounder, as maybe like a possible rotational guy, depth piece. So this is a reach for me. I would have gone Marvin Wilson.
And now
I
my
would've gone
my
Marvin Wilson.
Taquan Graham versus Creed Humphrey tweet is blowing up. Huh.
Oh, Mike, what you and I and Fornos talked about last night. That's true now.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
All right, we are on the clock with Cincinnati, I believe. Yep, Cincinnati, and then we have a Philly pick after
Bengals
that.
pick is in.
Fire it.
Kicker,
No.
Evan McPherson.
Oh my God, yes. Let's get Forness in here to talk about some kickers.
Kicker.
Is this the Florida kicker?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
this is the Florida kicker.
So I don't get
You
paid
love
enough
to
to
see
watch kickers, so I have no comment.
Yeah, fun fact: I actually get paid $0, so I don't even acknowledge kickers as a position.
Same.
Well,
I,
first
I
of
watched
all,
one specialist, and his name is Presley Harvin III. He's a punter. Punter 1, 6 foot, 255.
He's a thick boy.
Damn.
LB1.
Thick old boy.
LP1.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that this kid is really good though.
Yes,
Yes,
I've
he's
heard
got a
he's
nice
the
leg.
best
He's
kicker.
good, but
Yeah.
I mean,
what team is this? Bengals?
The Bengals.
Yes.
Yeah, we
They
drafted
needed a
kickers
kicker.
though.
They
I mean,
needed
he's
a kicker.
probably there round 7.
Can
late
someone
round
check who the
6.
Bengals kicker was for me?
Randy?
Austin Seibert.
There you
that
go.
one.
Yeah.
Why I know that off the top of my head is not important.
No, I'm gonna. We got time to kill. So
Well, I'll go ahead and say funny story. He played at the high school that my college. He played at a high school that was in the same town as my college. So he was at our football field occasionally, like during the summer, kicking field goals on our field. So,
Nice.
but now he's probably out of a job. So,
So the Seahawks
Seibert
drafted
or-
2 old guys and Danny Kelly, who he
I love Danny
he works
Kelly.
for the
He's
Ringer. He goes,
amazing.
Seattle's rookie class will come in right away and give the team a solid veteran presence.
who? Sorry, who was
Sorry, Dad.
their other? Oh no, Trey Brown's 24 as well.
Yep, Trey Brown is also
Oh,
24.
they got Trey Brown.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
yeah.
Who doesn't meet any of their corner metrics?
They traded down for him at least.
Oh, yeah, that's
Pick 150 is Philadelphia,
less
right?
bad.
Yep, the Eagles are on the clock. I'm waiting for a tip.
They're gonna take a safety here.
Fuck it, take our Darius Washington.
They probably will.
who is this?
The
Philly.
Eagles.
James Wiggins. I feel like is their pick.
I'd be cool with that too.
We're gonna get a Dolphins pick here at some point. If they don't pick Kenny Gainwell, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
they have to.
It's
Yeah.
round 5.
I know I'm
for
like the
fuck's
most
sake.
anti-running back guy on the planet, but we're in round 5 now. This is running back territory. we draft
Yeah, we're about to
running
get
back.
we're about to get a run on running back soon.
How many running backs have gone? Like 6, right? Or 7?
7.
7 running backs, man. That's
7.
crazy.
I watched 5 of them.
It's almost as if they don't matter. Crazy.
Gainwell, Hill, Patterson are my 3 highest that I watched.
I think I have someone in between there.
Yeah, watching an Evan
Khalil
McPherson
Herbert.
53-yard field goal attempt.
Khalil Herbert's 4th for me on the board that I have actually
I
watched.
did not get it with Khalil Herbert. I just did not see it. I mean, not that he's bad. Like I don't think he's bad. I just he's
He's a solid rotational running back.
yeah, he's so
know.
average.
This is going a lot smoother than yesterday's stream was. So it's because we have Dante as well to kind of bring some more energy to the bunch. So we appreciate you, Dante, in all of your Hollywood glory.
I appreciate you guys. It is I like hosting. It's fun.
You know who Philly really should take here? Thompson Asiraldine.
Yeah, that would be good too. He
Yeah, they
can
should
play
take
linebacker.
anybody with a pulse in the secondary.
Do you guys
to be
need
honest.
any interior
Mike.
linemen?
Mike.
Am I gonna hit this?
I
Am I gonna hit
am
this?
I am upset. You
Kenneth
freaking
Gainwell.
snipers.
Yes, yes. Pair him with
Oh,
Miles Sanders. You have an electric one.
pain.
Let's fucking
Oh.
go.
That's
My,
pain because he's so
my
Imagine-
dad,
imagine
my
your
dad's
team-
gonna be happy.
Imagine your
about
team
Cheers,
taking
Mike.
a good player.
Imagine your team
Howie
taking a player who's
Roseman!
clean off the field.
Let's go. I love this. Kenneth Gainwell, if I remember correctly, Dante, was your preseason RB1.
that. Yeah, no,
Also
I love
not-
Kenny Gainwell. He's a top 50 player for me. Second round grade.
86 for
I think
me.
he's
I
awesome.
love the value. Let's go.
He's so good. This is
Yeah,
fantastic,
this
and
is
I
great.
hate it as a Cowboys fan.
That's
But that's a fantastic
Harry
pick.
Gainwell and Miles Sanders.
I am
Let's
in,
go.
I am in Spain without the S.
At least we have Jabril Cox to cover him.
He's a
Really
yeah,
good.
here's the thing. They are very good, and they're both really good receiving threats.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, the Eagles know how to get good receiving running backs, if anything.
Yeah, maybe they have a quarterback who can throw him the ball now.
All right. Wow. I didn't see that one coming. I didn't identify running back as a real need for Philadelphia. If it's granted, Howie, for whatever reason, absolutely loves Avonte Maddox.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that might have just been BPA for them. Like, they might have just gotten on the board and we're like, screw it. We're going to take him. Might be the best slot receiver on the team.
He had no business being here. I had him in the top 90 players. So getting him at 150 in the 5th round. I thought he had a chance to maybe be the 4th running back taken. Yeah, and we were just talking about running backs not coming off the board, and then they do.
Here. I think we're about to get a run on running backs.
I think we are.
Dolphins Twitter is in shambles, man.
Oh, I bet.
They can get Tylan Hill.
Jarrett Patterson is who I think the Bengals or the Dolphins could take.
Oh my God, isn't he like 5'3"?
Dude, Jarrett Patterson's Hollywood brand. He's a Hollywood brand guy, man.
I'm about to say he's a brand guy for Dante.
Yeah,
I like Jarrett Patterson. I do.
He's a good dude.
He's small. He's
he's
small.
a great guy. I interviewed him. He's a nice guy. I like him a lot.
Also, he's not afraid to call someone out on Twitter. I love when he would call people out for misspelling his name just by hyping him up.
He is shorter than me.
Him and JC have big Twitter energy.
Dante, you're 5'8", right?
I'm 5'10". Yeah.
I thought you were 5'8". I'm sorry.
No, he's 5'8". I'm like 5'10 and a half, but he is shorter than me in cleats. So because I interviewed him after a football game. So,
back when you
here's my Jarrett Patterson story. I drove 8 hours to Buffalo to watch Temple and cover that game because Temple played Buffalo. Temple had just beaten nationally ranked Maryland the week before, so it was like, Temple, here they come. We're going to be good. Jarrett Patterson went for like 35 carries, 280 yards, and 5 touchdowns. We just got absolutely steamrolled out of the stadium. I was pissed. And then are
there any Temple guys for this draft? Sorry,
no, we went 1-6 this year. We're bad. Before we get to the next pick, because I just saw it, Temple did not allow any players to speak after the game. So I drove 8 hours to Buffalo to watch them get stamped and then got 0 player interviews. So I interviewed Jarrett Patterson instead, and he became a crush. Next pick is in. Bears take offensive lineman Larry Borum.
Big old dude from Missouri, right?
Yes.
Didn't watch him.
How do you spell it?
Borom.
I think he's an offensive tackle. I didn't watch him.
I know there's a few guys on draft Twitter that were raving about him being a potential late day 2, day 3 pick. Haven't watched him myself. I honestly only turned on Missouri film to watch Larry Roundtree and Nick Bolton and Tyree Gillespie as well. But from what I hear, he's a pretty good run blocker. That's all I know.
Yeah, apparently tested fairly well too. He's just pretty good athletic score.
Yeah, I mean he's huge, isn't he? I think he's like 350 or something.
He is a noted big man.
Speaking of big men, no Deontay Brown yet.
No Deontay Brown, and I'm kind of happy about that.
You see, here's the thing with Deontay Brown. His film is bad.
He can't move.
Yeah, he was a brand guy for me over the summer because he's just incredibly fun. And then I did his final eval, and I was like, brother.
Isn't his comp like Blastoise or something?
Yes, he looks like Blastoise. It's incredibly
I believe
funny.
I comped him to just a. I believe I comped him to a rock with a head and knees.
Yeah, you took one of my D tackle comps, a boulder.
I did.
Can I go back to the Gainwell pick real quick?
Go for it.
Yeah,
man.
go.
Dallas now has the 3rd best Missouri running back in that division. Because Tony Pollard is there, Kenneth Gainwell there, and
you mean Memphis? You mean Memphis? Yeah.
Did I say Missouri? I'm dumb.
Yes, but you are right.
My brain was on Borum. But yeah, 3rd best Memphis back in the division.
Devin, I just want to draw attention back to a conversation we had on the podcast once. It was back in August. You said you had Gainwell over my son. And I told you that Chuba Hubbard would go first. And then I also said I was looking for a new co-host because otherwise I was going to reach through the screen and smack you. I tweeted that one out on August 18th. I was right. I didn't agree. I don't agree with it.
You were right. The NFL is wrong, but it's okay.
There it is.
I am inclined to agree. By the way, we're up to 4 Canadian players drafted in the NFL.
Look, I forgot. I wasn't even around, but Josh Palmer going day 2 was beautiful.
It was
that.
good, but it was a bit of a reach.
It was a reach,
about
but
that.
it was beautiful. Justice was served for Josh Palmer because his quarterback situation was awful.
Who's the Broncos' strong safety? Anyone know
Justin
off the top of their head?
Simmons.
Justin Simmons.
Or is he the free? Do they use
I
him
was
as the
thinking he's
free?
I was thinking he
Kareem
was the
Jackson?
free.
Is it
Yeah,
Kareem
Kareem Jackson's
Kareem
the other
Jackson,
one.
you're right.
Yeah.
Is he in the last year of his contract?
Maybe the Broncos
Yes,
take
he
Wiggins.
is.
Yes.
I'm looking at Hamza, not Wiggins.
Oh my God.
Devin.
Never forget that this guy got drafted ahead of Brevin Jordan.
True.
Who's that?
boy.
That is when
That's
Trey
Trey
McKinney was
McKitty.
facing the wrong way.
Yeah. Can they please fire off these picks a little bit quicker?
I know.
God,
right?
this is brutal. Just fire them off.
Jesus, who's on the board now? Sorry, who's on the clock?
The Broncos, 152.
Please, James Wiggins.
It
Caden Stearns.
is. Oh,
Caden
it's Caden
Stearns.
Stearns.
Okay.
I believe that's a brand guy for Austin.
This guy was fantastic his freshman year, and then the effort just plummeted. He has all the
Fangio's gonna be
natural
the guy to
talent
get
in
a
the world.
foot up his ass so that doesn't happen though.
He has all the natural talent in the world. The instincts are really good, but he just doesn't fucking care. And that hurts me because he's so talented. I love the pick here. He was actually graded as a 4th for me just because those instincts are so good.
This is
Denver,
where I thought he'd go.
get some effort into this man, please.
Listen,
I had him
Denver.
going in around this range. I'm fine with that. I like the player.
Denver is betting on physical tools, and I love it. Baron Browning yesterday, the last pick, and now Caden Stearns. That defense is getting pretty good. If they can get Stearns to be more consistent and play just overall better, I mean, that back end is pretty good. Surtain, you add Stearns as well. I got Justin Simmons already. So that's getting real. They had Michael Ojemudia from last year as well. So they got a solid secondary in Denver right now.
I'd like to mention your boy messed up on the live stream. I watched Caden Stearns. I have him in my position rankings, but I've neglected to put him in my big board.
I had that happen the opposite. Malcolm Kuntz was on the big board, but not in the position rankings. So
That happened to me with Sean Wade. I did not I just forgot to rank Sean Wade.
Speaking of Sean Wade, he's still on the board.
He is still on the board. Yeah.
Caden Stearns just went before Ardarius Washington.
Wow. Tyler Browning in shambles.
Yeah,
I mean, NFL does not
don't-
like size.
I don't want to say I'm not surprised, but I just
whoever
size,
picks
man.
Mighty Mouse is good. I mean, Dante
The
comped
size.
him to Ant-Man. I comped him to Mighty Mouse. He's a small superhero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the size is just killer.
He'll
Like
be
him
a
for
starter.
Cleveland here at 153.
Oh God, if Cleveland is one of those brand,
Yeah,
teams.
the Browns and Vikings just get a bunch of brand guys apparently.
Yeah.
The Broncos have gotten a few as well. I know
Yes.
Ben loves Browning. I love Stearns. Everyone loves Quinn Miners.
Yeah.
I was the
The
low
entire
one on
world
him at
loves Quinn
121.
Miners.
I liked Minerts, man. He made the all Hollywood team.
I know he wasn't going to go top 75, but I thought he'd stick somewhere around 3.
I thought he would be a better pick at the beginning of round of day 3.
I need someone to draft David Moore, please.
Oh, it's going to
Oh,
happen.
my
The
God.
Browns pick is in. And you guys are going to like this, and so is Harbaugh. Linebacker
Oh.
from West Virginia University, Tony
Tony
Fields.
Fields.
Let's go! I
What
love
a pick
this
by the Cleveland Browns. I didn't
Hollywood
know that.
brand guy, Tony Fields.
Big brand.
Man,
Came
He
over
got
from
so much better from
Arizona,
Arizona.
spent 3 years as their starting will linebacker, comes into West Virginia last year and he used the mic, and the way that they run that defense, he's pretty much the only soul in the middle of the field. Good sideline to sideline speed, solid tackler. I think he's got decent size. He's not an uber good athlete, but I think he brings a lot to the table with his instincts. I like him in
Bye-bye, Mac
coverage.
Wilson.
I like him in as a ball production player as well. Really, really like Tony Fields, Hollywood brand player, the Browns, man.
Cleveland gets even
I
scarier.
called it. I said that the Browns and Vikings getting all the brand guys. I watched him over the summer and was really impressed. He also has some pass rush upside as well. As
Had him at 131.
He's a really good player.
Perfect spot for him.
Browns killing the draft, man. They're getting a lot of.
They are killing it. I want to see where I rank
Dante and I are
Fields.
levitating right now.
Yeah, I'm a big Tony Fields guy, man. That's a good one. 97 overall for me.
Such a good coverage linebacker, man. One of the best in the class. He's phenomenal. Who's next? Sorry, we had a bit of an awkward silence there.
The Jets are next.
Yeah, this is the pick they got for Leonard Williams.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm too busy tweeting about Hollywood
Tony
brand
Fields.
players.
Ben already wants the Cowboys to cut Josh Ball.
I mean,
Yeah,
in his
we haven't found him
defense, he's got like 11 domestic violence charges. So
Yeah,
I don't know
so-
why
I
you
agree.
draft somebody like that, but
And
I said back in October that having Tony Fields, who was a late transfer to West Virginia, the defense that already had Dante and Darius Stills, made them so much better on defense. They had one
their
of the better
defense was
defenses.
fun as hell, man. They did that 4-2-5 stuff. They had a bunch of guys stunting up front.
Hi,
Jared.
Jared.
Hey.
A bunch of guys stunting up front, man. I like that West Virginia defense. I'm curious if they're going to have some more players jump out of there in the next couple of years. I thought they were
had a
solid.
good defender that unfortunately hit the transfer portal and Tykeem
Yeah,
Smith.
got another pick in. The Jets have selected. Never mind. Or never mind. It is Jets. Michael Carter, but the Duke cornerback. So they get both Michael Carters.
Wait,
Well,
they got
ESPN
the other one?
Yes, the
ESPN
Duke
is
cornerback.
vindicated now because they played the wrong highlight film when Michael Carr, the running back, got
Wait,
selected.
so they played the Duke
Yes.
corner one?
Yes, so
So
Duke
they
corner
tipped-
Michael
I didn't watch
Carter.
this guy,
So they tipped
anyone
a
have
pick
anything on him?
a round later.
That's
apparently.
interesting.
Well,
Maybe they knew
they
something
have-
that we didn't.
Yeah,
they have both
they
Michael
tipped him.
Carters now.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
they
funny.
have both. See, it tripped that why I hesitated on the pick is because I saw it and I was like, they already drafted Michael Carter. What the hell? And then I was like, oh, that's right. There's two. Did anyone do an eval on Michael Carter?
I did not.
Nope.
Is he the one that's been injured? No, that's the
That's
other
Mark
one, right?
Gilbert.
That's Mark
Yeah.
Gilbert, who is Darrell Revis's cousin.
Yeah, I was about to say I could speak on him, but I cannot speak
No,
on.
I did not watch.
Yeah,
I only watched the Duke front seven guys.
I didn't.
yeah,
So
yeah.
who's
I'm
at
surprised
155?
Dean Kadiche went after Rumpf. I thought he'd go higher than Rumpf. I think that's interesting.
Demukajay hasn't been picked yet, has he?
No, he is
Okay.
not.
Brand guy for me.
That
Really
is a
limited
Nick
athlete.
Price brand guy.
Really limited athlete, but I think he's fairly technically sound. Not a
He's
Yeah, I was
very
about to say he's like one of the 5 guys with a pass rush.
I'm
plan
at
in this class.
120. I'm at 120.
I want to point out a few names that I believe are still available. Trey Smith, interior offensive lineman out of Tennessee.
60th overall.
Darius Washington, my guys, my
Before-
safety two from TCU. Those are some pretty good guys still on the board.
So apparently Michael Carter, free safety, since we don't know a lot about him, came in at 5'9", 184, ran a 4.36 40.
Wow. Whoa, that is fast.
Wow.
Yeah. Going over our Darius Washington on small safety. So I think that 40 time is tanking our guy, our Darius Washington right now.
It definitely tanked.
Wait,
Brevin
what did
Jordan, too.
Ardarius run?
Like a 4.6.
Oh yeah, God! If he's not running fast and he's small, could we be talking about? Unfortunately,
He might be a UDFA.
Do you know how sad that would make me?
I'd be sad too, man. That's I like
Because
I
here's the
like him.
thing: we did our
Next
7
pick is
rounds.
in.
We did our
49ers select Western Michigan offensive tackle Jalen Moore.
brand guy. Let's
good.
go.
Mike
All right,
was
Mike.
up loud.
Yeah, give us the lowdown.
So there is a lost episode of the of the Big Shots NFL Draft podcast where we talked about the Niners drafting Jalen Moore in around this range. No one knew about him until the Senior Bowl. He went down to the Senior Bowl and had less Twitter followers than I do, and he was one of the better players on that team. Didn't really miss a lot of reps. He's really raw, but he's super high ceiling.
yeah, I like his
I think he's a pretty safe
experience.
pick too.
Yeah, played a lot of snaps for Western Michigan. He was their starting left tackle for about 3 years. I think he brings a good amount, and the Dolphins are trading their pick. I hate it here. So Jalen Moore has a ton of experience at Western Michigan. I think he brings a decent profile to the table for the 49ers. Probably a guy that I think you want to develop as like a swing tackle, a backup swing tackle. You probably want to develop him as that guy. Pittsburgh traded with the Dolphins, so Pittsburgh moving up here in the 5th round, the Dolphins moving back. Miami just hates me and doesn't want to make a pick today, evidently. And you know what? That's fine.
This is their new swing tackle. This pick right here.
Yes, Pittsburgh is on the clock. They traded with Miami. Dolphins Twitter is continuously in shambles today.
Constant. It seems like a constant thing for them.
Yeah, people freaked out at the Hunter Long pick last night. That was I think it's all right. I'm all right with it. We won't talk about it though.
You guys were able to talk about Chuba Hubbard earlier, correct?
Yes, we were.
I didn't get the chance.
We have covered every single pick in sequence. Jared, watch the screen.
I get that.
But
But
Dante, I am tagging you in this because there is a tweet that I have of Jalen Moore burying one of your least favorite players in this class, and Rashad Weaver.
Oh, there's a lot of people burying Rashad Weaver. It's one of the reasons why he's one of my least favorite players in the class.
This is also the one where your dessert takes center stage as well.
Yeah. Oh, Jared, go ahead. You're talking about Chuba Hubbard?
Yeah. What did you guys think of the
Panthers selected him, right?
Yeah.
I think probably a zone scheme runner. I would say one cut type of guy.
That fits what Carolina kind of has, like schematically in terms of blocking schemes. I think that's what Carolina runs. So it's a scheme fit. He's an athlete that Fitter and Rule like. They've been drafting athletes.
The pick.
I had more than 1 second.
We've got a very good name. The Steelers select Isaiah Loudermilk out of Wisconsin.
My God, yes.
Isaiah,
that pick is an overdraft.
Trading up with the Dolphins, Isaiah Loudermilk, the pick for the Steelers. Nick
is not going to like that pick.
I have never heard of this player.
Massive overdraft. All right, not that I factor age much in anything, but I think he's going to be like a 24, 25-year-old rookie. Very limited. I thought he was very limited, like functionally with athleticism.
Oh my God, the Dolphins got a future pick. We're literally just not going to pick today.
No, you'll trade back up.
I am back. Sorry,
no, we have 2 7s, so
you'll trade back up,
right?
I bet.
And I think we just got another trade. Vikings are trading their pick.
Who got Loudermilk? Steelers.
The Steelers. Vikings are trading their pick. So hold on, I have to go click my TV.
Trade their damn pick. I'll say that right now. You got Darius Washington and Trey Smith available. If you have an opportunity to draft one of those two, you sit and take Trey Smith.
I think the Panthers get Trey Smith. He just seems like a fit.
I would adore Trey Smith here. I would be beyond thrilled if we get Trey Smith.
By the way, I just want to say shout out to Mama H for bringing some delicious food up to me. Mama H is the real MVP.
Is that a gyro?
Yes, I had mini wheats for lunch, so that's basically what my appetite's been today.
I have a Greek souvlaki, which is delicious.
Another comment from Josh Ball. There are certain things that I've done mentally for me to grow as a human and as a man. Better comment than the first one.
Yeah, better than telling that the domestic violence victim has just kind of moved on and stuff.
Yeah. So much for the Dallas Cowboys being America's team, Sorry, Austin. I mean, your team, drafts players that have character or off-field concerns almost every draft. Like, does Jerry Jones not want to pick a clean player for one? CeeDee Lamb was probably their best pick in terms of off-field and character stuff in the last few years. I mean, CeeDee Lamb had literally none.
You're right.
Here's an interesting tidbit. This is the third time the 156th pick has been traded. It started in Dallas, went to Philly, then to the Dolphins, and now to the Steelers.
No one wants 156 apparently.
Apparently, Isaiah Loudermilk was the best that 156 could provide. By the way, Loudermilk gets
Sean Way is on the board.
Gets extra points for having an extra H in his name.
Don't the
Vikings
Steelers
came
need
up.
DB help though?
Hold on, one at
Sean
a time here, people. Let's not unravel in the 5th round. Come on now. We're better than this, Devin.
Jevin, come on,
No,
man.
I'm just messing
Listen.
with you. Go ahead, man.
Listen, I've not been able to talk prospects for like a couple weeks now.
Wait, hold on. I want to cut you off because it's a brand guy for you with the Vikings. Amir Smith-Marset off the board
God.
to the Vikings. Another Devin Jackson brand player going to the Vikings. He's going to have a breakdown on stream.
Jesus.
Amir Smith-Marset to the Vikings here.
That is
There's
a
upfield,
good
but he's
pick,
good.
though.
He's really good.
That's an amazing pick. I mean, he's probably a third, fourth round
Panthers are on the
without
clock.
his DUI. You know, he had a DUI arrest during the season that probably tanked his draft stock, and they said he just wasn't as focused as he needed to be. But great value. I mean, dude can stretch the field, play slot outside, like boundary X. I mean, they're going to get really versatile player that can take the top off of the defense. It's going to leave Justin Jefferson and Thielen more open, you know, in that short to intermediate range. So really good get for the Vikings for sure.
I had him at 162. This is right around where I thought he would go. He's a tall speed guy, 6'2", blazing speed, manufacturer of touches. The problem is he went to Iowa where they just didn't do any of that.
Yeah, Iowa forgot that there's this position called quarterback that exists, and they just are like not interested in having one of those guys with a functional arm. So rough sauce. I had Marset at 121. So this is very good value against my board. I think he's really a sneaky good player. So like that selection.
Return ability too. He returned like 3 or 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns too. So
man, Amir Smith-Marset, man, that's the Vikings, man.
How dare they get Janarius Robinson, Cam Bynum, and Amir Smith-Marset? What?
A lot of brand guys for
this
you.
This is one of my favorite classes.
Am I a sneaky Vikings fan?
You might be a sneaky Vikings fan now.
I mean, your team did draft Ian Book.
Look,
yeah,
all
team
right,
did draft Ian Book.
All right, we don't need to bring that up. All right,
and
we're done. We're done with it.
It's the universe. It's the universe correcting itself for Mike because they drafted Pete Warner in the 3rd round. That's what that was. It's the universe correcting itself for Mike.
All right, enough. I do not want to hear Ian Book's name mentioned anymore.
I want to review the Vikings draft class real quick, just as a whole. I know we just did it a little bit, but this is a team that's drafted Christian Darrisaw, Kellen Mond, Chaz Surratt, Wyatt Davis, Patrick Jones, Kene Nwagu, Cameron Bynum, Janarius Robinson, and Amir Smith-Marset.
So everyone other than who was the 2nd round pick for them again?
Mond is the only one, and then the Iowa State kid.
Mond and the Iowa State kid are the only non-BCS brand guys on that board.
I don't think the Mond pick is horrible. I just
way too early.
He's a very much a project.
The Carolina Panthers have selected Iowa defensive tackle Davion Nixon, our top-rated BPA player. Our last guy.
Idea one, baby.
Davion Nixon.
Okay, so Jared, would you like to give some analysis as to why he's a good fit with Carolina?
This is a guy you can develop over the next year or so. Displayed great flashes and an awesome motor. Like when he was on like a true penetrating presence in the backfield. A surprisingly good athlete for an interior defensive lineman. I believe I was probably one of the higher.
I believe you were.
I was higher on him than anyone else here at Blue Chip Scouting. I had him as IDL 1. I think he was. Let me look at my big board real quick. He was on my final big board, my 30th overall prospect. So I had him in the top 30. I like this pick a lot for Carolina. I really do. Carolina's just having a great draft.
I apologize. We've had tight end Miami going ever since Brevin Jordan was taken off the board. I took the name off. I forgot to take the position. So the ticker's been kind of wonky for a bit. My apologies. Now coming to the top 5 available players, Quincy Roche, edge Miami at 77 overall. I think this is a good landing spot, and I think Phil Snow is going to have a field day with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nixon was a brand guy for me too. I think that if you're looking for a guy who's going to be a one-gap penetrator, I mean, this is one of the better ones in the class. Incredibly quick, really, really good first step, good speed. I like this a lot. Panthers having a really, really nice draft, in my opinion. I'm very happy.
This is a fantastic pick for them. I mean, I had a second-round grade on him.
As did I. Yeah, I think he was a top 50 player for me.
When Marty Hurney is not your general manager, you can actually get good players after day one instead of just hoping your first-round pick can be the guy of the draft.
Oh, man. Chargers took Brendan James, the tackle from Nebraska. He's someone I want for Baltimore.
Wait a minute.
For them. That's really
good. Brandon James. Go ahead, Devin.
I like him a lot. I think he is an underrated tackle in this class because he doesn't have the physical, crazy physical tool.
Brandon James, sorry.
But he's someone that Brandon Thorne, someone I respect a lot for, in terms of offensive lineman evaluations. He likes him a lot. He had him, I think he had a late second, early third round grade.
Which team is this? Sorry.
Chargers.
Okay.
Incredibly good.
So I love this pick. You're pairing Rashawn Slater now with Brendan James. I love the pick. I think this is a great pick for the Chargers in round 5.
Good Senior Bowl.
Yeah, he had a really good Senior Bowl. He's like one of those guys. He played on Nebraska. No one's trying to watch that offense, but he had a play against Northwestern where he got beat on the inside. He spun back to get him back in front of him and prevented a sack. So he's an athletic guy. I like this pick a lot for the Chargers. Really good pick.
Yeah, I had him a little bit lower. I did have him draftable. So, I mean, as long as you're draftable at this point, I don't really I'm not going to pick out too many flaws with picks. And they need more tackle depth. So
Baltimore's on the clock. Lovely.
Ardarius
Washington.
Yeah, I mean, Stone Forsythe's still out there. I'd take him. Marvin Wilson, I'd be over the moon with.
I think Thompson makes sense.
True. Yeah. I mean, they still they kind of like Chuck Clark. He's like I won't say he's a leader of the defense, but he's definitely the guy who calls the shots.
Hey, they cut Earl Thomas for him, so
yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, Holmes will be probably more that dime.
The Baltimore Ravens pick is in.
It is in.
Hold on to everything. The Baltimore Ravens have selected Ohio State cornerback Shaun Wade.
Ooh.
You know what?
Wow.
What did they announce him at corner?
What?
It's fine.
Announced as a corner, I believe. Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Man, how the mighty have fallen. I had him as a top 15 player coming into the season.
As did I. He was my CB1 off of summer scouting, so off of his 2019 film where he played in the slot. I thought he was great, man, in the slot. If the Ravens can get him back there and look, if he plays well as slot corner here in the 5th round at 160, I mean,
there's your slot corner.
Pick. Yeah,
I had him at 122, so this is still really good.
Yeah, it's about where I had him as well. I think I had a 4 on him, mid-4, so
I did.
This is good value.
I'm not going to lie to
Wade.
you. I did not think Cam Bynum was going to get selected before Shaun Wade.
Hey, there's justice in the world, my dude.
That's not something I thought I'd be saying a year later at all.
I have a question because there's a rumor, not necessarily from a credible source, that says next Dallas pick is likely Bohanna, defensive tackle. I don't know who this is.
Oh, he's the big dude from Kentucky.
370 pounds.
Yeah,
from Kentucky.
he literally is like a mountain. He's just like big man. Big man does big man things. That's my scouting report.
Tyler Shelvin look small.
Somebody clip that.
I'll take it. I will take it. If that's what it really is, I will take a big man in the middle of that defensive line.
Somebody clip me saying big man does big man things. I'm going to use that on scouting reports next year.
Now, that's like 20 picks down the road, but if that's the case, I will allow the big man.
Who's on the board? Who's on the clock at 161?
The Buffalo Bills.
Bills are on the
Now,
board.
they're probably going to take an edge here because they just keep taking random edges.
I found the Ravens pick.
Yeah,
we already talked about it, my dude.
I'm behind on everything, man.
You are late to the stream.
Jared, it's on the screen, man.
I'm just.
Nice of you to be watching the stream that you're currently on.
I'm trying to tweet out take.
He tunes us out as soon as a pick comes in. He's like,
He's like, yo, I got
They're
the
not
pick. I'm like,
talking
yeah, I
about me.
talked about it already, man.
I gotta get my takes out. You know.
I know you got to get your takes out.
Yeah.
With Baltimore, I'm kind of curious what they do with Brandon Stevens now. So, you know what I mean?
maybe he's the slot corner or the nickel corner.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking initially.
Do they have more
I would-
corners
if
that are?
if they're going to take him and do that, then they should have swapped picks. Should pick.
Yeah.
I don't think they
Yeah.
thought that Sean Wade would still be here. I think they were basically seeing how late can we push Sean Wade.
Yeah, you know what? This strikes me as a fuck it pick. They were just like,
Yeah.
no, they were just like, Sean Wade went to Ohio State. He had good film once. Fuck it, send it in. Like that. That's what it. That's
Okay, who's going to do that with
that's
Marvin
what
Baltimore?
Also,
Day three
Jimmy
is.
Smith is 33,
That's what day
34?
three is, really.
Yeah, I agree. That is what day 3 is, man. It's just we're firing that pick in. Who cares? Screw it.
It's like,
So I
they're
still
probably
have
like,
one-
oh, you know, they got those guys on Twitter talking about him. Must be good. Let's pick him.
Yeah.
I have 9 day 2 grades left, 1 second round grade, and then 8 thirds.
All right, I think at this point we should talk about who's still left on the board.
We've got
Yeah,
our
round
ticker
5.
at the bottom with Tella Una Ofanga, our Darius Washington, Seth Williams, Quincy Roche, Miami spelled incorrectly on
Did
the
I?
ticker.
Oh shit!
You idiot! No, I'm kidding. Mike's doing a lot of work on the back end, so he gets a pass for spelling Miami incorrectly.
You know what? Here's the thing. Like I said, we had Brevin Jordan go off the board, and I took the name off, but I forgot to take tight end Miami off, so it's just been floating there for a while until I had to update it.
So I have 4 day 2 grades left, 1 second and 3 thirds.
Who's your second?
Ardarius Washington.
Okay, Bills traded the pick with Houston, so Houston moving up, Buffalo moving down. Houston.
I think
will pick
Buffalo
here.
moved down because Amir Smith-Marset got taken. I think that's who their target was here in round 5. So they might. Baz Newsom's still out there, so the Bills could upgrade
They need
with
more
that.
wide receivers, man.
I think Daz going to go undrafted.
I want
Texans
to
need everything, so
Yeah.
I want to point out something on my board.
Go for it.
I was taking a look at my board to see what the Panther who on my board that the Panthers.
Sorry to cut you off, Jared. We got the pick.
Yeah.
Bills offensive
Texans.
Texans are going to take Tommy Doyle.
Oh, that's a
Corey
big
Kinnon is
Kinnon.
in
Miami of Ohio.
pumping right now.
Off the board. Sorry, the tweet said Bills, so I read it incorrectly. But apparently, this is Houston. But we could talk about Tommy Doyle if anyone is.
6'8" Miami of Ohio kid. Corey
Bills did
Kinnon.
not trade it. It is.
Oh,
it is
the
Buffalo.
Bills.
They did not trade it.
Okay.
Dude,
yeah.
Blake Meek just replied to one of my tweets. God damn it! I thought I muted him.
I said I was going to bring up Ian Book, but I just had a Saints fan tell me Ian Book isn't bad.
No, that he can get blocked.
I don't think they watch tape.
No, they don't. So yeah, Tommy Doyle, 6'8", 320, massive human being. Corey Kinnon.
He's probably doing backflips in his
Exactly.
living
He
room right now.
had him as a preseason first round grade.
Corey's actually one who got me on the Tommy Doyle. I will give
Same.
Another trade, I believe. Hopefully, this one is correctly reported. The Jets are trading back, so they will not be making this pick.
I had Doyle at 170. I like the value on this.
And the Jets have traded with the Chiefs, according to the Athletic.
Also, so the Bills got Tommy Doyle, who's 6'8", 6'9", and Spencer Brown, who's 6'9".
Yep.
And they're both really good athletes.
Yep. And we have the Chiefs coming up here. So the Chiefs will make the next pick. The Jets traded away. But Tommy Doyle, 6'8", 320, according to NFL Network, pairing with Spencer Brown, who's 6'9", absolutely outrageously long people.
They got 2 solid tackles for the future for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Also, David Moore hasn't gone yet, and I'm kind of sad.
No, I think he's going to.
When David Moore comes off the board, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna be so excited, dude. I
need to prepare my ears.
I fucking love David Moore.
Yeah, there's a few brand guys that are left for me. David Moore is one of them. Jonathan Cooper is another one that I'm really excited about. Probably goes round 6 or round 7 at this point, but
Man,
James Wiggins, I mean.
Okay, can I just say I just saw the tweet that you were referencing, Dante. What he just said is nonsensical.
Which one?
The Blake
Put on
one.
brand.
Oh yeah, I swear.
If you put him back where he belongs, you didn't mention position whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I swear I muted him.
You won't get that on ESPN or
can I
NFL
finish,
Network. We are talking Twitter
Miles?
beefs.
All right. Who is Kansas City trading up for? I have no idea. I want to say
I
Marvin
want to finish
Wilson.
what I was trying to.
I'm
Say
I'm
earlier.
shocked Marvin Wilson is still here. I thought he would have gone by now.
Yeah, Marvin's film man was just not good this year.
Our guy Nick Faribault tweeted out he's not sure Loudermilk is actually good enough to make the Steelers roster.
He's straight up not. He's straight up not. I will defend that tweet. That he's literally not.
All right, go ahead, Jared.
So, of the current Panthers draft class, 3 players from my top 30 have been drafted by the Panthers. J.C. Horn, my 10th overall prospect. Terrace Marshall Jr., my 18th overall prospect. And Davion Nixon, my 30th overall prospect. So, if they can get, let's see, Darius Washington with this next pick, with the Panthers' next pick, this is an A-plus draft for sure.
Got the next pick. Chiefs select Duke tight end Noah Gray
Okay.
in a trade up with the Jets
Okay.
here in
No,
the 5th
no,
round.
I thought Gray was all right. I thought he was all right.
I hate
Yeah.
this tight end class.
This is about why I thought he'd get drafted.
He had the
I watched
best
him a little bit
catch at the
after
Senior
the
Bowl,
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
for sure. He had that one-hander catch at the Senior Bowl.
That was a nice catch. That was a beautiful catch.
Yeah, I think Gray was all right. I liked his 2019 stuff, and then I just don't think he's got a ton of juice. You know what I mean? It's just like, but
Thought he
no.
was average, like very average. I don't even know if I had him draftable.
Yeah, I think he's gonna end up being like an H-back type
He was
player.
52. He was not. He was a UDFA on my board. I'm okay with it. It's the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna end up being like an H-back. I think they played him at fullback for a while. At the Senior Bowl as well. I got some reps at fullback. But 162 Noah Gray. I am trying to poke my sources about Quincy Roche, and no one's saying anything. So I'm upset. I'm sad. But that's okay.
There's a few guys I'm upset that are still here. I mean, Wiggins is one of them. David Moore. I mean, I'm just surprised they're still here on the board. I mean, I thought they would have been picked by now.
My Thomas Graham takes from back in like December, like November, are not looking good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hello, Anthony. He's wearing his.
I love your shirt.
I love your shirt, Anthony.
Yeah, big Kermit the Frog guy right here. My entire camera roll is just clips of all 22 and Kermit the Frog memes. That's it. It's like 85% of my camera roll.
I'm gonna have to go through my camera roll and delete some of the all 22 clips.
Yeah.
So after today, it's over, man. Well, not completely over, but
Who's
I
watching
still think
Sam Howell after the draft?
No.
No.
I need a month.
No,
No, we're getting a week.
call me in June.
It
I'm
is.
tired.
Sam.
Yeah, we're having our first.
I need-
Oh wait,
I need
I
stuff to do.
almost spoiled our plans on stream. My bad.
Oh, Dante.
We're having. Yeah, I know, right? I'm slipping. You guys have a week. That's what you get. A week.
I have a
I
month.
can,
I'm taking a month because I have FCS players and there's not as many.
Mike,
shut the hell up.
kick yourself from the stream. You're gone. Goodbye.
Bye, Mike.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Producer Mike is out.
Have fun producing without me.
Yeah, no, I know. Are there people watching? Did anyone even hear that?
Jess
I
is
don't
watching
think-
behind me.
We're an hour 3 of the stream.
We
So.
got 3 people watching. They're probably all with blue chip. So
Yeah, and I'm 2 of them. What?
It's fine.
Still nothing on this
I-
Washington
I'm-
pick.
Oh, it's Washington? Okay, so thank you. That helped me figure it. As long as I can get half of the work done before the pick comes in, Washington, what do they still need?
Oh, yeah, Browning's one of them. I think it's Browning, Harbaugh, and Jess are who are watching us.
Jess, we appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out.
Jess is a champ.
We love having supportive life partners.
Imagine. Could not be me.
my plan after the draft is I'm probably just going to do. So my plan is to have like a Panthers draft class review, and then take a break from content for.
Holy crap! Sorry,
a few
side
weeks.
profile of Joe Marino looks like Bam Bam Bigelow. I just noticed that in TDN's stream. They showed him side profile, and all I could think of was he was like
So-
1990s wrestlers.
Interesting tidbit. The Bills apparently did trade with the Texans, but it is for a different pick. It's for 174.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, it's just a different pick.
Pick is in for Washington.
We have a guy that Devin talked about earlier, a guy that Devin and I both like. Cincinnati safety Derek Forrest off the board to Washington at 163.
That's a
I
good
thought
pick,
you were
man.
about to say Darius Washington. I would have been just.
I would have been
good pick.
significantly more excited. I do like Forrest. I think that he's a good backup, man. I think he's going to be really good on special teams, and he can play
His first name DA or DE?
DA. Yeah, Derek. Yeah. I really like him. I think it's a good pick for Washington. Good value, good player.
Yeah, I just wrote up his scouting report about 2 weeks ago. Has really good range on the back end. I think his problems stem with still just learning to play through the ball. I think there's sometimes he gets caught on double moves and going for those short routes and trying to jump those routes. So his instincts are there. He has some good closing speed. I think he still needs to learn a little bit more in terms of technicality of playing safety. So he probably is going to be a rotational guy at first, but special teams, he's going to be a huge asset. Probably he's going to be a gunner. I think he ran like a 4.3 or 4.4, something like that.
Yeah, he's going to start on special teams day one. I agree.
How many picks do we have left in round 5?
What do I look like, a calculator?
I don't know. I don't know if anyone actually knows. That's why.
At least 20,
God.
probably more. I mean,
Yeah.
the fifth
this
round
is
has all the
so
comp
long.
picks still. So We're
Next,
still
the
making
next
our way.
couple rounds are going to be comp.
yeah, I might have to tag out in about an hour and a half for Harbs.
It's
So
yeah, Harbs is going to be here for the
I'm
second half.
Probably going to have to bail out soon because I need to
Okay.
work. I'm procrastinating
Yeah.
homework.
That's not good for college student, Jared.
imagine doing homework.
Imagine not waiting until the last day to do a 6-page paper.
Oh, that's rough. I did all of my final
I
papers
could
and projects a
never-
week early, so I didn't have
Oh,
to do
yeah.
anything this week.
I've
Who's on at
done that
164?
before. Not fun. 164 is Denver.
Denver again.
What are they still? Here's the problem: when you get into
166, I
day
think, is
3,
still fine.
sometimes you forget needs because if they haven't adjusted. What do you got?
What?
Oh, sorry, you looked like you were excited.
I was just like yawning, like fixing my hair.
You literally went like you looked excited as you were yawning too.
Man, you're just trying to yawn in peace, and Mike is like, "Oh, we have some."
Oh, we
Just
got
coming
some
after him.
Breaking news: Nick has yawned. Falcons insider on the Bleacher Report stream just said that Julio Jones will definitely be traded.
Probably should have done that earlier in the draft, don't you
Yeah.
think?
It's a little late for that.
Yeah,
You're saying Julio Jones
Albert-
is definitely getting traded?
Albert Breer says that Ravens see Sean Wade as a slot corner safety hybrid.
Oh, we got a brand guy for me off the board.
do we got?
Broncos are taking safety Jamar Johnson from Indiana
Okay,
with the 164th pick.
This is
The Draft
definite value.
Network's new Draft Networks. That was one of the Draft Networks guys, from what I know. I know they like him a lot.
Yeah, they had him as like a top 5 safety or something like that.
Yeah,
Right.
he was my safety 3, man. I just think that, look, you get him in a cover 2 heavy scheme, you give him a half of the field, and you just let him go to work. Do I want him in the box? No. Do I want him in
Absolutely
man coverage?
Roger
No. Do I like him in deep zones? Yes, and that's where I like my safety. So he's
I had
very
him at
much my
119,
type of
so
safety.
This
So
is good value. 119 on my board, 164.
This is
in
a
the
big
draft.
sad. He might have been my highest rated player who was still left. But I definitely missed on this eval. Yeah, he was 57 for me at a low second. So All right. Well, he's off the board. I really like what the Broncos are doing. Regardless, I think they're having a really, really nice draft.
Their defense, my God.
Yeah.
They said the offense may not do much, but the defense is going to stop everybody.
It might as well.
Not been drafted.
Might as well lean into it, man, because you got Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback. I mean, you got to give up like 14 points a game, you know? Or Drew Lock, who's also bad. So
I would
Don't say that too loudly, though. Broncos fans are going to come after you.
I'll say it as loud as I damn well please. Drew Lock is not good. He was never good. That was a bad draft pick, and it still is.
I had him in the third, and
I think I had a 3 on him too.
We know the NFL reaches on quarterbacks anyway. So.
Mac Jones,
especially big
Mac Jones.
No,
I'm so white.
Drew Lock is better than Mac Jones.
Get out. Quarterbacks. Speaking of big arm quarterbacks, Jamie Newman's still there.
Oh, Devin's gone. Rip.
No, I booted him for a second because he made fun of me for being white.
Pour one out. Pour one out for Mike being white.
I just saw someone tweet Mark Gilbert over Sean Wade is wild, but Mark Gilbert hasn't gone yet.
I think they meant Michael.
I think
Carter.
they meant the other guy. Yeah.
Imagine getting the right prospect.
Yeah, it could not be me.
Imagine name dropping the right prospect. Could not be that guy.
Apparently, Buffalo's going to target a DT with their next pick, whenever that is. Marvin Wilson might be the pick there, wherever it is.
Oh, Carolina's on the clock.
I believe the Colts are on the clock, actually.
No, the pick is in for Indy. Carolina.
Oh, yeah, it is in. Yep.
Hey, Dante, thank you for liking my meme.
Yeah, I just saw it. I'm very behind on the timeline. I've just been tweeting and refreshing for pick tips. So
watch Dallas finally take a safety and it be Hamza.
Oh boy, a lot of safeties. I'm surprised we haven't seen Joshua Bledsoe go as well. I thought the NFL would like him just because he's a prototype box guy. I didn't love him, but I thought
didn't
the
love
NFL
him either.
would.
No, I didn't see the hype with him. I saw he was getting second, third round hype.
I think my top 2 available safeties are really going to slide because Hufanga and Ardarius are both limited athletically.
Yeah, all my Temple people are very confused about Quincy Roche. Pick just came in. Colts take Florida safety Sean Davis.
I didn't watch him.
I did not watch him either.
I think he's an undrafted free agent for me.
I know you had him. So Nick, you were the one that I know had him. So would you like to talk about him?
3 straight safeties.
I mean, I'm just gonna say he can tackle. That's about it.
So he's a box guy.
Yeah, I didn't think he read run lanes very well. I don't really trust him in coverage. Maybe it was Todd Grantham's defense making him look bad. I don't know, but.
Yeah, I mean, that Florida defense, man, was absolutely freaking brutal this year. I mean, they couldn't stop anybody. So, but Sean Davis going off the board here, or Darius Washington, a guy that we all really like, still on the board at safety. A bunch of safeties I think I would have rated higher than Sean Davis. So, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Hufanga still on the board.
Again, Hamza
as well.
Hamza's, injuries with him. Jacoby Stevens, one I'm a little surprised hasn't gone yet.
Panthers pick is in. It is Keith Taylor, Washington cornerback.
Jared, you should like this. You should like this. Taylor's good. I had him in a 4th. He was my last 4th round grade, but he's good. I like him.
Carolina?
Now that with Keith Taylor and J.C. Horn, along with drafting Troy Pride the previous year, along with Stanley Thomas Oliver.
And Dante Jackson.
And they have Dante Jackson and A.J. Boyd.
Contract year for Dante Jackson, keep in mind.
Yes. They have a lot of corners.
Yeah, it's a lot of good young depth. I like that.
He's not afraid to tackle, which is good.
No, he's not.
Where did I have him? Jesus Christ, where did I have him? I know he's on here.
I watched Taylor as well.
152.
I think he's solid, honestly.
This is good value, 152.
He's 145 for me. I had a 4th on him. So, yeah, this is good value. I like Keith Taylor here. This is a good pick. Panthers continue killing it.
Yeah, Panthers having one of the better drafts in the league.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I would say they're up there with Washington, Denver, Chicago. trying to think of some other ones. Some other
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
Chargers. Definitely. Christian Darrisaw is really upset that teammate Khalil Herbert is still on the board.
Because we're thinking of freedom. Not money, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, but
Here's an interesting draft tidbit for Houston. Nick Caserio went into the draft with no picks in the first 2 rounds, made 2 trades, and sacrificed 4 picks this year. The last one with the Bills to get to 174 for 203 and 2012.
Wait, so are they done for the day?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I think that they're
They have 233.
Oh my god. I don't like their draft either.
Huh?
I mean,
The
they're a
Raiders-
dumpster fire. So
The Raiders
Yeah.
drafted the Raiders just drafted Illinois corner Nate Hobbs.
Who?
I like him. He's probably going to move.
Go ahead and
inside
talk, man. I
be
have
a
no idea
slot
who
guy.
this is. Is this the Raiders?
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming he was a captain.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead, Devin.
No, like that is literally the thing. Like Connor Rogers was saying on stream yesterday that every Mike Mayock pick has been a captain at their school.
Makes sense. But yeah, Hobbs, he's a good. I think he's like 5'9", 5'10". Probably moves in the slot. But he had solid tape. You know, he had a day 3 tape. Pretty physical guy. Pretty good cover skills. Wasn't going to blow you away, but I believe he was a 3 or 4 year starter with Illinois. So he has a lot of snaps under his belt. So I think he's probably going to move in the slot and play a slot role for the Raiders.
He tested really well. 5'11", 3/8", 196. Had a 40-inch vert, which is really good. 11-inch broad, also very good. Ran a 4.48 40 and a 6.85 3-cone. So tested quite well lining up here with the Raiders at pick 167. Nate Hobbs, I'm sorry, my guy, but your name sounds completely made up. Like that is just like the most generic. Like
That sounds like one of those Madden generated ones they give you at the
Yes.
beginning
Yeah.
of the season
yep.
before I turn them into something great.
Tweet from NFL Draft Diamonds. Raiders, you just got my guy. Nate Hobbs from Illinois will be a star. Remember this tweet.
All right, everybody bookmark that right now.
I mean, if pick 167 turns into a star.
I will
Yeah.
screenshot
I mean,
that.
if that's the case, I would pray that the Raiders turn some of their players into stars instead of trading them away.
Oh,
in 2
I
years.
believe this is a Devin brand guy for the Vikings again, maybe?
Oh my god.
Central Missouri tight end Zach Davidson. That's you, right?
I just watched him last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
He
like
is
this
off
guy's
the board
agent.
here.
Wow.
His agent bothers me.
I'm a Vikings fan confirmed. You heard it here.
There it is.
He's been
Um,
converted, baby.
Central Missouri.
Listen, he's a definite project. He's like 6'7", like 245, 250. He's fast. He can move with the ball in his hands. Very, very small frame. He's like very thin.
Played
so we
punter,
kinda had to
too.
fill it out. But he's going to be like a H-back type tight end, probably early in his career. He's not someone you want in the trenches. You know, he played at the D2 level for Central Missouri. But man, he's going to be a project. A couple years down the line, you're going to see the best of him. But Vikings, once again, man, they are upgrading their offense big time. I mean, you get Amir Smith-Marset with the last pick. Now you get Zach Davidson. I mean, this is a really good draft for Minnesota.
The only thing I know about Zach Davidson is he's got the NFT thing going, and I've received like 17 emails about it.
What
Yeah,
is
you were
that?
talking about that.
Explain it to me. In
I've had it
plain
explained to me like 14 times, and I still couldn't explain it back to someone.
There you
Is it
have
like
it.
Bitcoin or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is.
All I
either.
know is that if the servers crashed for it, you crash for whatever you bought, it's gone forever.
Well, Vikings have adopted the blue chip scouting brand.
Buy the
Basically,
merch.
we
Buy
might
the
as well-
merch. If you want
we might
to
as well
know
work.
who these guys are that are lighting up your your teams and your fantasy leagues, buy the merch.
Yeah, fun
It
fact
took us
actually.
3.5 hours.
We are the Minnesota Vikings scouting department. Little known fact.
Basically.
We
Pretty
actually
much.
work. We actually work for the team. They use our board for their draft. Clearly,
I mean, they literally got a draft crush for almost everyone in here.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like
on their
one in
payroll.
each round too. Like,
Yeah.
or they
Speaking of another team that continuously uses our board. The Browns are on the clock with the next pick.
Who
They
knows
have
what this
been
could be.
absolutely killing our guys. They really like our draft rankings as well. So
Have they gone interior on the line yet?
Trey Smith could be the pick.
Trey
Maybe.
Smith.
Here's some stuff or an interesting tidbit from Davion Nixon about some of the off-field stuff that has been like kind of whispered about that I guess we've seen, but nothing's like really in fruition. Nixon mentions, and this is from Joe Person of the Athletic for Carolina.
oh, got the
mentions
pick.
the trials and, okay.
It is a safety. It is Georgia safety Richard LeCount.
Okay, good for him.
At
He's not a good athlete.
169.
Was in
It's not
a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, I did not like Richard LeCount, but we're also in the 5th round, so who cares?
At this rate,
Read it if you
Harris
want to.
Ford will get drafted before Ardarius Washington.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
That's going to be interesting if they both go as UDFAs, if they are going to end
I
up
got you, Jared.
there. But Richard LeCount off the board. I honestly
Cleveland,
just
right?
yes, I do not think he's an NFL caliber athlete.
I
Quite
would
frankly.
think, I would have thought they'd go with Jacoby Stevens. He seems like a Cleveland Brown.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised they went with LeCount instead of Stevens, because he's a better athlete. I mean, he tested much better than Richard LeCount. I think he's a better player than LeCount, but
Yep.
I
Higher
don't know.
player on my board.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I know Corey Ken is not going to like that pick for sure.
Yeah. I think that's the first Browns pick that I like legitimately do not like.
Also, the Rams just traded their pick to Houston.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Houston's definitely done after this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mike, you're out of focus a little bit.
I know. I'm going to have to adjust it in a second.
All right.
This run on safeties happening right before Dallas comes back at 180 is making me a little bit nervous, but we're not going to take one anyway, so why does it matter?
Give me 1 second. I'm just going to fix my camera settings. It's been doing that occasionally. There we go.
Apparently Zach Davidson was a punter in
Yes, he
college.
was. He was
Oh,
a
yeah.
tight end / punter. I slipped
Yeah,
that in.
he
and
averaged,
I don't know if anyone heard me.
42 yards per punt as a tight end. So
So it's Central Missouri. Are they FCS or are they D2?
they're D2, I believe. Yep. So the
Points.
Texans traded with the Rams. Texans on the clock now, I believe.
Elijah Molden is going to wear 3.
That's
Ooh.
fire. Inject that
I mean,
straight into
I
my
will-
veins, man.
I will
The
get
Titans
a
put him in Madden and used his college number. It is going to be his pro number. Richard
You'd love to
LeCount
see
with
it.
an RAS of 0.66.
Buddy, I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think he's an NFL caliber athlete. I just really don't. I think he's got good instincts and he's got good ball skills, but like, buddy, you play safety, you got to be able to cover someone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's a fishy
I'm
pick.
trying to see if I can get anything on the Texans pick at 170.
Nope.
Garrett
Oh,
Wallow.
got it. Garrett Wallow, linebacker,
okay.
TCU.
That's a
Like
good
that a lot.
pick.
I like that.
Let me just
Cameron
check
Brown.
my board.
Yeah, Rip Cameron, man.
I do think that it's a reach based off of who's still available. I didn't think he'd be going ahead of guys like Dylan Moses.
I forgot
Garrett
about Dylan Moses.
Yo,
Yeah, he's
I
top
forgot.
100 on my board.
Garrett
where
Waller
is-
felt like a Texan. I'm okay with it.
He really did.
Yeah.
I had him at 227. He was draftable for me. And like I said,
He
at this point,
probably-
if you're draftable, I'm not going to complain.
He probably would have still been there around 6, but I don't hate it.
Yeah,
Duck
I like his old safety background. I think
Harbs
that
likes the
shows
Richard
up.
LeCount pick.
Okay, well, he doesn't watch defensive players, so
Corey's tweet on that was yikes. On the note.
yeah,
That's
no, I
crazy.
agree.
That was apt. That
Yeah,
was apt.
Harbs, if you're listening, my dude, did you watch Richard LeCount? Anyway, yeah, I like Garrett Wallow. I think he's got a nice safety background. It shows up in coverage. I just don't think you're going to get anything that's, crazy upside with him. Oh, we lost producer Mike,
Well,
By Mike.
and none of us have producing duties, so
we're just
have
gonna
to-
be we're just gonna
we'll-
have Garrett Wallow.
yep, Garrett Wallow is the pick for every pick the rest of the draft.
Booted myself.
Oh,
You booted yourself.
Close the wrong tab.
My God.
Good job. We were gonna just leave Garrett Wallow up. For
Yeah,
the
we
next
were just gonna leave it up.
As soon as I hit that tab, I'm like shit. No, I was worried it was gonna crash the stream though, so I'm glad it carried on.
In case anyone cares about the NBA, LaMelo Ball is returning tonight. I just got that notification.
I don't. It's a fake season.
because the Raptors stink.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
The Orlando Raptors.
Tampa. And how are the Pelicans doing, Denver?
Listen, that's not important.
I have
My
Lugo
team
on my
was a
team. I'm glad.
championship contending team, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, when
I'm just
Zion's
out
gone
here.
next year because he's tired of carrying an entire city on his back.
That
Anyways,
won't be
moving on to a real sport in football.
that won't be for another 3 years that he leaves. But go off.
Yeah.
Oh my bad, Kawhi just left.
It's okay. It's okay, Devin. How many
did Norm.
championships? How many championships? How many championships?
It was a fake season.
Guys, we have devolved into NFL Reddit right now. We need to reel it back in.
Anyway, moving on.
Too much meme content.
Yeah.
Come on, Baltimore, do something.
Oh, so
Talk
Baltimore
about,
on 171.
Nothing yet. They're talking about Aaron Rodgers on TV. It's
Oh,
the
boy.
same old. Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Fire it.
At pick
Let's hear it.
171, per Jeff Zrebic, Ravens are selecting Notre Dame defensive end Dalen Hayes.
Oh,
That's
this
I
is a
like
good
that.
pick for them.
I like
Interesting
that.
pick.
I like that. I had a feeling they'd look for him. I like that. Okay, good.
Going to be a better pro than he was at Notre Dame because Notre Dame couldn't use him properly.
Likely.
I had Dalen Hayes sitting at where the 134. This is a good pick. I had a fourth on him.
That's I think. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you want to go? We mentioned it earlier, really earlier in the stream. He whooped on Walker Little.
Yeah. I mean, he's a solid player. I don't think he's got a great ceiling, but I think he can come in and be a rotational guy at a couple different spots. So
Low ceiling, high floor.
yes, I agree.
Had a fourth on him. Great value. Good job,
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Baltimore's had a nice draft too, I think. I didn't love the Jason
These are
Oweh
all
pick,
Ravens
but
picks. He's
yeah,
not
I
Jason
like-
Oweh anymore.
Yeah,
What is he?
He's Odafe Oweh.
Odafe Oweh. That's
Yeah,
an
just-
elite. That's an elite name. Stock up on that. I like that pick now.
Owe.
Odafe Oweh. That's a great name, man.
Also, I do think it's interesting though that we're kind of talking about them that they haven't gone tackle yet.
Yeah.
Who's the incumbent replacement for Brown?
I heard. Granted, a couple people from Ravens Twitter were talking about that maybe Tyree Phillips kind of fills that role next year. I'm not super confident in it because, I mean, with an extra offseason, a proper offseason, maybe he puts it together. I'm not confident. I mean, they've been looking at Alejandro Villanueva. Apparently, they brought in or they worked out Dennis Kelly.
He was with the Titans last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoping Mitchell
Man,
Schwartz.
Dalton is getting some heat for his Josh Ball opinions.
What do you say?
Yeah. So
He's
he
speaking
said
the
that, like,
truth. He's
he
speaking the
is.
truth.
I mean,
people
Yeah,
people
there are
wanna
Cowboys
use that.
fans will be like trying to defend Josh Ball, who
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna try and defend every draft pick, but sometimes it's just not defendable.
that
no.
That's
They're like,
something
well,
to
you don't have a
know
son, so
that's
you don't know
right.
what you would do in that situation. Pretty sure Dalton does. Dalton's a military man, so
I am the biggest believer in second chances there is, and Josh Ball was bad. That was a terrible, terrible decision based on his off the field issues.
No. 49ers pick is in at 172. I do not have a tip though, but it is reported in by NFL Network.
James
Kind of like what
Wood-
the 49ers have done overall. I like Ambry Thomas. I like Aaron Banks. I like Trey Lance. I think those are three good picks. See where they want to go here.
I'm trying to see if I can find anything. Yeah, I love the athleticism of Garrett Wallow a couple picks ago. Converted safety, really athletic, good player. Especially on a team like the Texans where they just need good players.
Still nothing on the 49ers front. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13 picks left in round
Oh,
5.
Jesus. I got to start getting the next stream set up then.
49ers select Oregon cornerback Diamador Lenore.
All right.
Okay.
I was not a big Lenore guy.
Me neither.
I didn't really love him, but we are in the 5th round, so that
I like
lines
the
up.
name, and I like his brother in Dallas. So
Elite name. Very, very good name. Does anyone have any opinions on Lenore?
Thought he was the worst of the defensive backs from Oregon in the class. 215th on the board. Would have preferred Thomas Graham if they're going to go Oregon.
Yeah, I did not like either of them. I don't know. I might not have even watched him. Nope. Didn't finish final eval on him, so he probably would have been a UDFA for me. If I watch a guy and I'm like a game and a half in, I think he's a UDFA, I usually stop. So probably a UDFA grade for Lenore.
Ah, so he's a Niner now. Interesting.
Yes,
you said there was 13 picks left?
yes.
Okay, hang
We're
on.
now 12, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm probably heading out after this round. So,
all right.
I believe I am tagging out with Andrew Harbaugh when he decides to grace us with his presence as host. Our big shot producer, Andrew Harbaugh, set us up with this nice StreamYard.
Did we just lose someone?
No, he's just taking a break in his Dak jersey. Going over to kiss his girlfriend, probably.
Oh, isn't that adorable?
That's adorable. Yeah.
Imagine having a girlfriend.
Imagine having personal connections. Crazy.
Dante, you just sound so lonely.
I'm chilling, man. I got the tape. Anyway, Green Bay.
Get someone who looks at you
On
the
the
same way
clock.
Dante looks at his tape.
Yeah. Green Bay on the clock here. Denominator Lenore just got announced. See if the Packers maybe take Trey Smith or something. I don't know. That'd be nice.
I'm shocked he's still here.
People are literally just taking pictures of Aaron Rodgers at the Kentucky Derby.
Jesus.
Friars, man, one thing I do not like, I just want to point this out. I hate paparazzi, and paparazzi is all over Rodgers right now for sure. Trying to get any sort of scoop right now.
So the next stream is temporarily set up in terms of start time. I figure an hour realistically for 13 picks or 12 picks or whatever it is.
So we have takes from 2 people on USC defenders. Carter Live says, how has Marlon Tuipulotu not been drafted yet?
Also true. How has he not been taken?
The Packers pick is in. It is to Daryl Slayton, the defensive tackle from the University of Florida.
Take everything I said about Tyler Shelvin and copy and paste it.
Yep. Big bodied man. I think I had a 6 on him, so this is relative value. He's a nose tackle. Nick, you look very confused.
And then
Good analysis.
Great analysis. Nick's entire scouting report.
Measurables. Testing.
Tape.
Name. It's a lot of yeah, probably a nose tackle.
Anyway, and then Corey said, did Talanoa Hufanga kill someone?
It must be medicals, man. There must just be medical stuff that we don't know for some of these players.
He is limited athletically, so
yeah, but this limited athletically, dude. We just saw Richard LeCount come off the board. You don't get more athletically limited than Richard LeCount. So
I'm looking at the athletics current big board, and Stone Forsythe is still available. Hamza Nazir-Ladine is still available. Trey Smith. Quincy Roche, Kitty Johnson, Adarius Washington, Shai Smith, Cornell Powell, Seth Williams, Cameron McRone, James Wiggins, your guy, Devin, Khalil Herbert, Marvin Wilson, Daz Newsome.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point now where Temple people are texting me if I know what's wrong with Quincy Roche. So that's where we're at.
I think end of this round or round 6, we get a run on receivers. People are just taking.
Yeah, there's still a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah, like
it's gonna be a lot of late round flyers.
Seth Williams
There
still
are
available
going to be
at
a
wide
lot
receiver.
of good
Surratt,
undrafted free
Felton.
agents. lot of good undrafted free agents.
Jazz
People
Newsome,
we
Shai
like
Smith.
are there's going to be a considerable amount of UDFA's that we thought were draftable, which is going to be surprising.
I just
Justin
hope
Taylor
that,
could be that guy too.
I just hope that since I only watched 95 players, one of them will get drafted, or not, or all of them will get drafted. I don't have any UDFA's that I watched. That's my hope. Not looking great.
I only watched, I think, one UDF guy because I only watched 150 prospects. Sam Mellinger.
Nah,
He's going to be a Cowboy.
he's getting drafted 100% by
Yeah.
the Eagles.
Future Cowboys tight end.
Yes, sir.
Tight end.
A lot of reports think the Cowboys are hoping to take Quentin Bohanna at 179.
Yeah, you had
Buddy.
mentioned that. Man,
Austin,
Austin,
I'm
you gotta watch his film, man.
I'm
he's
going to
fun.
if they take-
He's
if
a
they take
fun fat guy.
Yeah, he's
the league
fun.
needs more fun fat guys.
Yeah,
I
he's like a
approve of
7th
it.
round player, but he's fun.
I didn't even finish his eval, but man,
Me
he was fun to watch.
neither.
He was fun. I watched
I
him in the
approve.
summer. He was fun. You know what's sad, Dante? I finished the evaluation on Jamar Watson, also known as Boogie. There are way too many guys named Boogie in this class. Boogie Watson, but I didn't finish Quentin Bohanna.
Yeah, I didn't
Single
do either
digit-
of them.
Single digit fat guy, man. I should have finished the job.
Yeah, he wore like number 0, right?
4.
He was no.
Chad.
Yes.
Chad.
What?
What?
You just went Chad and then didn't
Yeah, you just
say-
said Chad 3 times.
I don't know who this player is. The Rams have selected Northwestern defensive end Ernest Brown.
Who?
Who?
Is
I'm
it
not gonna
E?
lie to you.
Is it EA or just ER? How do you spell that?
EA.
EA.
What's
So not a single person on this panel can talk about Ernest Brown.
Yeah,
Maybe
and I'm-
let me call up Dane real quick. Maybe he can tell.
All right, let's see.
Hollywood Devin.
Let's see if he's got a RAS score.
God,
He
I'm trying to
does.
see-
It is not good. Yeah, 4.7 RAS, 6'4" and 4.8, 270. He only jumped 31 inches, ran a 5-second 40, and ran a 7.19 3-cone.
What are the Rams doing? What is?
I don't
it?
think they are doing. They just
They bet on upside on most of their picks, but he is the very opposite of that. I don't know, man.
So that's 3 Northwestern guys. There are 3 more that I think, well, that I know of. I think
I know a
one-
receiver with a good name.
Oh, I know which one you're talking
Chuck
about.
something.
Yep. You should have seen his photo last year on ESPN. He had blonde pigtails.
what?
All right.
You got to get Adder Mbebe drafted.
Yeah. All right. Northwestern still has Patty Fisher. Don't think he gets drafted. He's been talked about for about 15 years there. Peyton Ramsey, who's like 27, and Blake Gallagher, who I think is actually their best player still available.
7th round.
Jets picker is in apparently. So
I think. Oh, geez. All right,
The
we're at
Jets
175.
take a good player here.
Oh, I know who it is.
oh my God. I don't know who this person is either. Jason Pinnock, cornerback, Pittsburgh.
I've actually heard a lot of good about him. I heard that he was like, completely a shutdown corner for Pittsburgh.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of him in my entire life.
I don't
So-
remember
Go
what the
off,
statistic
King. You know
was.
who he is. You have the floor.
No, I don't. I've heard of his name. That doesn't mean I've watched him.
I don't. I'm gonna look it up because there was a statistic out there that
Wait a minute. It's the Jets, and it's a corner from Pittsburgh, which means he's obviously the next Darrell Revis.
Okay, well, he tested out of this world. 9.78 RAS score. He's a 6 foot and 4/8, 204, vertical 39 inches, 10-inch broad jump, ran a 4.49 40 and a 6.9 3-cone.
there you go.
Yeah. So, in other words, hashtag real good.
Yeah, so big athletic boys.
I love how I
Past
haven't
two
had to
picks.
update the ticker in like 35 minutes, at least.
Yeah, I think we just we missed on some evaluations here, boys.
think we
that's
did.
just what happened.
I'm starting to think that I'm bad at this.
See,
I know I'm bad at this.
see, that's the key.
Okay.
I have accepted that I am
Okay.
terrible at this.
Hang on. The worst I've ever had I can't remember what specific year. I should probably look this up. But if any of you remember Caleb Brantley, the defensive tackle from Florida.
I do remember that.
So he was the 2017 class. This is the first time I ever put it in like a proper spreadsheet and kept track of everyone I watched. I had him 9th overall, and he went in the 6th round.
Wow, that's rough.
I feel like I remember there being a lot of injury concerns there.
Injury and off-field.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He was Florida, so I shouldn't have been surprised.
Tampa Bay's pick is in, apparently.
Brad Kelly, this is your 3 margaritas deep reminder that Trevor Lawrence's first name is William.
Okay.
William
Who said
Lawrence, baby.
It's so weird.
Bucks take Auburn linebacker KJ Barrett.
I never got around to him, but I think, Devin, you watched him.
I also watched him, but go ahead, Devin.
Probably a good 2-down linebacker. Really aggressive at the point of attack. Can shed blocks at the first and second level. Wasn't great in coverage. He's just one of those 2-down backers that can fill a need that Tampa Bay. I don't think they don't really need to fill the need. I think he's more of a depth piece, probably special teams as well. But he's a solid player. He's just a good football player. I'm not sure if he tested well or not, but he's just going to probably be a rotational developmental guy for the second level of Tampa's defense that's already stacked.
Coming up on about 8 more picks until we begin the 6th round. If you are somehow watching this either live or on YouTube after, we genuinely appreciate you and hanging out with us for almost 4 hours now. I'm going on almost 8 hours of hosting this weekend. It's been a pleasure, boys. Really enjoyed it, but we're 8 picks away from the 6th round.
I think total we're at almost 13 hours of live coverage.
Yeah,
on the channel.
Crazy
Love
stuff,
it.
man. Great job this week for us. We're really excited about next year's plans as well, which Mike may or may not have ruined to the one person watching. So appreciate you keeping
I
your
actually
lips
think at that
sealed.
one point I was the only one because I had it open in another tab. I no longer do.
Yeah,
So these are natural viewers.
Yeah.
What
So,
are our numbers right now?
So a little tweet from Jordan Reed, just a simple tweet, which I like a lot. Panthers have my favorite draft class so far, and I'm liking the love for the draft class. I mean, you look up and down the group, it's incredible.
What's the matter, Austin?
The Patriots just took my guy,
Yep.
Darius?
Go ahead, Austin.
Cameron McGrone to the Patriots at 177.
Ooh,
Such a good pick.
Insert
That's
gif
good.
of LeBron saying it's about damn time.
Yeah, he should not still be here. I was lower on him because I thought his 2019 was a lot better. But I
agree.
I had him at 108.
Yeah, it's good value. He played with a club this year for a little bit, and that
Yeah, I
kind of
think
made
he broke his hand.
Yeah, he did. He broke his hand. It kind of made some of his tackling a little wonky. So I threw out some reps for him, but I think this is great value for him. Some people really loved him. I never got the hype, but this is a good landing spot though. Patriots could use a second level guy. So Austin, you might luck into a good pick here with your guy.
So they've taken Chase Winovich, Josh Uche, and now Cameron McGrone in the last 3 years.
Ooh.
By the way, Josh Uche, fantastic dude to interview down in Mobile last year. Although scared the shit out of me because he's smaller than me, but man, is he intimidating.
Yeah, he's built like a brick house too.
Oh
man.
yeah, like I legit saw him. Funny story. I saw him when I got to the hotel where they were having credentials and everything, and he looked like he was about 3 inches shorter than me, and I thought he was going to measure in at like 5'10", but he came in at like 6'1.5", and I interviewed him the next day, and yeah, he just kind of stares at you, and he's thinking, I could break you in half if I felt like it.
It's a shame that he's probably not going to see any kind of playing time in Pittsburgh, given the fact
Oh, sorry, I forgot to actually put up Cameron.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Green Bay is
I
on the
feel
clock.
like at this point, you don't really. Let's just put up the ones that we really like in terms
Yeah,
of.
well, we like Cameron McGrone. We just thought 2019 was better. He was 108 on my board. Dante, I think you were somewhere around the high 100s.
Yep, he was just outside my top 100. I mean, I think he's solid. He's a good football player. I don't think there's any glaring
on the board?
concerns with him.
Packers are on the board.
Packers are
Yes,
up
sir.
next. We have Packers, Dallas, San Francisco, Kansas City, Atlanta ×2, and then Baltimore to close out the 5th round.
We've seen no players traded, which is kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Packers
Also-
pick is in. Not been tipped, though.
If
I'd
it's
like to
not
mention-
Clinton Bohannon, he'll be the Cowboys guy.
Also, I'd like to.
It is Shamir Jean Charles, the cornerback from Appalachian State.
Oh,
I did not watch him.
Shamar,
I know who he is because my parents watched App State. Or they're from App State. They went to App State, and I'm watching App State games with them forcibly. all the
Well,
time.
if you have any
yeah,
analysis,
if you got
thoughts
anything on him,
I didn't get the chance to watch him, but I know he's.
Oh,
from
I
what
have the
I've seen in
Cowboys
terms of
pick as
production,
well.
He's quite productive.
Oomphed.
Sorry to cut you off, Jared.
fine.
They're rolling
You're
in here. It is Simi Fahiko.
oh my God, they picked Fahoko.
Fahoko, sorry. Stanford
Oh,
wide
that's
receiver
cold.
off the board to
He
Dallas.
Yeah,
cannot
drafted.
catch a cold.
He is drafted, and he's going to Dallas. He's a player that I stopped watching on his eval. So
He is 25 years old. Cannot separate. He's fast, but he can't separate, and then he also can't catch.
Sitting here thinking we're going to get a fat boy in the middle of the defensive line, and we take a receiver without hands. That's about how this draft is going.
People get caught box score scouting him because they mentioned
Isn't
the
he-
UCLA game because he put up like 17 catches and they were all manufactured touches or luck, or he bobbled them.
look, he's a tremendous athlete. I mean, athlete's athlete. I mean, just really, really impressive change of direction, explosiveness, speed. The man cannot catch the football, and he plays wide receiver. It's a big red flag.
There's your tight end of the future.
Yeah. Him and Dalton Schultz, and you guys still got Blake Jarwin?
They do. I would have taken Antonio Nunn if we're talking wide receivers over him.
I forgot.
you just want to say the phrase.
I do. I so do.
I forgot that Nunn was a guy who hasn't been drafted. I ranked him like he might be in my top 100.
He was not for me. He's at 208, but he is in my
Yeah.
top 100 available.
He was 178 on my board.
He was
Patrick
106 for me. Thank God.
Patrick
All right.
Johnson from Tulane is still available.
I did not like him.
I think round 6 or 7 is his landing spot.
Okay, I still have 95 draftable players available.
I was very happy that Cam Stample went off.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
glad
gonna have a
Sample
lot
got
of
drafted
UDFAs, aren't I?
before Johnson.
What'd you
That
say?
was good. Oh,
I said
we
I
got
said
a
I'm gonna have
guy
lot
off
of
our
UDFAs.
ticker off the board. It is Hufanga going to the 49ers.
One
Oh,
pick after
That's
Dallas.
a good fit for him.
Off the board.
That's a
He's
good
someone that we actually can talk about, so please talk. Who do we got here, and what do we like about Hufanga?
He's top.
This is kind of a Jakubowski type player, given that he's in a contract year, and honestly, he's replaceable. I think one of the reasons he fell, there's some injury concerns. There are some durability and just limited athletically. So, I mean, I think I kind of valued him a little too high in hindsight, but man, I actually really like the value on him. As you can see, he's scrolling by. He was 67th on my board.
Cowboys Twitter loves this pick.
Of course they do.
I mean, he's athletic. I mean,
He doesn't have off-field concerns, so I think that's the biggest win there.
There it
he
is.
hasn't beat up any women recently.
Oh, guys, I have the Chiefs pick. You're gonna like this.
Fire it.
They take Cornell Powell.
Yes, I do like that pick.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's
I
go.
like that.
Okay,
Yes.
Dante, would you like to tell our favorite story about
Yeah,
Cornell
all
Powell,
right.
our
So
favorite play?
they're playing Pittsburgh, right? And Cornell Powell, he's like pushing 6 feet tall. He's a short dude, right? He's going up against Pittsburgh. There's a corner across from him. Honestly, it might have been the guy that the
might
Jets
have been
drafted
Pinnock.
for all I know.
I think it was.
This guy who's like definitely taller than Cornell Powell, good like 2 or 3 inches he's got on him. Powell murks him at the line of scrimmage, gets behind him, stacks him, separates. Lawrence throws the ball up. It's a little bit short. Powell goes up to high point, absolutely mosses this pit corner. And then he gets up, he goes to the pit corner, he goes, "You're too small to cover me." He goes, this guy's got like 3 inches on him. And he gets up, he goes, "You're too small. It was just absolutely baller
Late
moment.
breakout, dude,
And
because he was
that
buried at
is
wide out.
Cornell Powell for you guys.
Yeah.
As a Clemson fan, I loved Cornell Powell. He was stuck behind a good group of wide receivers at Clemson. Finally able to showcase his talent because of Justin Ross's injury throughout the season because of that neck injury. Cornell Powell, good route runner, just a really good, solid player all the way around. I'm glad he went here in the 5th round. He is a fun player to watch. I hope he has some sort of success in Kansas City.
I think he's a good depth wide receiver, and honestly, I think he gets on the field in special teams early in his career too.
Oh, for sure. He is a competitor.
I think he's got special teams versatility as well.
Win.
Yeah, I think he'll be a special team core guy probably for them this year. I would assume he'll be a core guy on both
I had
punt
him
and kick.
in the 160s, so this is 163 overall. So this is really good value. Good player. Let me update the ticker so that I can take Hufanga off. That was not the one I thought was going to come off the board. I thought maybe it was going to be Trey Smith.
Yeah, I mean teams just must really not like the film. I think that's where we're at, guys. I think we overestimated the film,
and with Smith, it is more medical because it's blood clots, and that's scary as shit.
Yeah,
so.
But I mean, he was completely healthy this year. You know what I mean? It's not like he missed this past season.
If he got flagged at all for it, or if they're worried that they could come back,
he did. And
that's why Chris Bosh retired.
He did end up on the ground a lot on film, though, so that could be a little concerning for a guy that plays with power as much as he does.
Did you peg that as a balance concern or?
Yeah, I said balance and footwork were two things I pinned them on. So I think probably that combined with the medical, they're probably just waiting to see who's going to pick him. I think he's one of those guys, like, he can be a really good pro, but it's like, you know, do you take a risk on him maybe being out of the league in a couple of years because of his blood clot issues, even though he's been, cleared as far as we know. So who knows?
What's the deal with Stone Forsythe? Was all that hype manufactured by?
Yes.
Yes,
seems like
it was.
it.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, he's like 130 something on my board, so obviously this would be good value. But you know, there's been so many people drafted at this point that I didn't even watch that I think it. You know, this is probably where Stone Forsythe should go. Atlanta's pick is in, according to NFL Network. They're also talking to Bruce Arians for some reason. We are devolving here. Late day 3. We're almost to the 6th round, people. We're almost there.
And you can tell the energy is just so high right now.
Yeah. Look, I'm struggling, man.
We're struggling. At 4 hours, man.
We're at 4 hours. I streamed for 6 hours on Thursday, and I also did 4 hours last night.
We did about 5.5.
Oh man,
yesterday.
I don't know how to say this name. Oh boy.
What do we got?
Notre Dame defensive end.
Oh, Adi Gundaje.
Yes.
Yep, that guy.
Okay.
Yep.
Good guy.
Who picked him? Sorry.
The Falcons.
Oh, I like this fit.
I like this. Yeah. I think he's a natural 4.3 guy. Really high upside. I know Jordan Reed of the Draft Network was kind of raving about him a few months ago around the Senior Bowl time. So, kind of toolsy. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. He's good value here.
I thought he popped a couple times at the Senior Bowl.
He did. That's actually what I first found out about him. I went back and watched the tape. Got him and Logan Deji. Him and Dalen Hayes done at the same time. I think they're both underutilized at Notre Dame. I had him at 154. This is great value. Looking back now, I feel like an idiot for having both Amilcar Rashed and Shaka Toney ahead of him.
That's another name I'm surprised we haven't heard is Shaka Toney.
Amilcar Rashed just sucked in 2020. So
yeah, I did not like Amilcar.
Most ungood.
Atlanta's next pick is in. It is Boise State cornerback Avery Williams.
Oh, did they have back-to-back?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so pick 180.
It is Avery Williams, who is probably the best special teams player in this entire class. Insane kick return ability, punt return ability. He's a gunner on punts and kickoffs. I mean, he literally is just one of the best special teams players to ever
Phil
come
Marino
out.
loves this kid, apparently.
I mean, his film is wildly entertaining. I did not watch him or
I didn't
finish an
either.
evaluation. He's from Boise State, Mike. And
Oh, what
I
the
do
fuck?
think that he is going to get on the field early as a
I
special
apologize.
teamer.
I don't
good
know
pick.
why Notre Dame came to mind. I'm sorry.
So
There we
back-to-back
go.
picks there for the Falcons, man. They got a big draft class. They made a ton of picks in this one.
Yeah, and I've liked their picks. They
Last
had a
pick
lot
of
of
the fifth.
needs. Last pick of the,
Yep.
of the fifth?
Baltimore's final pick this pick is the final pick. Baltimore's here. Words.
Yeah, and they're done for after this. They have no other picks after this.
Okay, so I'm going to send you guys individually the link for the next stream.
Okay, cool.
So we're just hopping out of here.
Yeah, after this one, we're going to hop out. I will tweet out the link. It'll be live in like 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Baltimore.
And the only reason is StreamYard only gives us 6 hours, and
We've got 2 more rounds.
we got 2 more rounds
Yeah,
and 2 hours to go.
I could just see the pain in Dante's eyes right now.
Dante's just like, when the fuck can I get out of here?
I
Oh,
will
okay.
stay if I have to. We got our first fullback off the board. The
Wow.
Ravens
Yeah.
take Michigan fullback Ben Mason, even though
That
they
is a Ravens pick.
I knew it was. As soon as you
I
said
didn't watch
fullback, I'm like, best fullback in the draft. It has to be Ben Mason.
I didn't
Yes.
watch him, so please educate me.
He's a fullback.
He's a fullback.
He's a fullback.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like he hits
Yeah.
people. He didn't really get that many opportunities to catch the ball at Michigan, but he's a fullback. Maybe you get a little Kyle Juszczykian use out of him. I don't
All right,
know.
that's fine with me.
Yeah, decent athlete, I think.
All right.
So what I'm going to do, we are going to hop over to the other stream in a couple of minutes. I am sending out the link for the YouTube show in the stream chat, so that the viewers can see, so that they can just hop right on over and check it out for themselves. Give me 1 second. So for those watching that would like to make the jump, it is now there, and we will be back in a few minutes.